stupid question. Which villain broke Batman's back? 215-263 WMMR is the number. And our first caller in was Brian. So we'll go to him. Hey, Brian, morning.
Morning.
All right, Brian, what villain broke Batman's back, please?
Is it Bane?
It is Bane. You got it, Brian. Hang on. We're going to get you information, and we are going to give you a 4-pack of 3-day tickets to see Jelly Roll. Bane was a huge fan of Jelly Roll.
Absolutely.
And
I love Jelly Roll. They're part of the New World Order.
and many more artists at Tidal Wave Music Festival, August 11th through the 13th on the beach in Atlantic City. And Jelly Roll is performing live on Sunday, the 13th, and tickets are on sale now at TidalWaveFest.com. For complete details, you can text Jelly to 39333.
Text Jelly.
A link to Sarah's recent interview with Jelly Roll's there, and another chance to win a pair of 3-day tickets as well. So we have a lot of stuff to get to, and a lot of stuff that's not very good. It was sad news to see over the weekend that Paul Reubens, of course, the actor known as playing the character Pee Wee Herman, passed away at the age of 70. His death was announced via his official Facebook page on Monday. The announcement read, "Last night we said farewell to Paul Reubens, an iconic American actor, comedian, writer, and producer whose beloved character Pee Wee Herman delighted generations of children and adults with his positivity, whimsy, and belief in the importance of kindness." Now, he himself has a statement that he wrote that was to be released after he passed.
This was wild that he did this, yeah.
And it's sweet. He said, "Please accept my apology for not going public with what I've been facing for the last 6 years." He said, "I've always felt a huge amount of love and respect from my friends, fans, and supporters, and I've loved you all so much and enjoyed making art for you." It's very rare that you hear someone have a post-death announcement like that, and I think it was really sweet of him to do that. You know what I mean?
It gives us sort of a bit of closure to the fan base. It's horrifying on every level and sad, but that's a very graceful way to exit.
Yeah, so obviously, with that statement, so 6 years, he's been fighting cancer. I don't know exactly what kind or if that will ever be revealed or not, but it was a private battle that he wanted to have, and I'm sure some close friends probably knew about it and kept it secret.
I would imagine. Yeah, he was still doing some work, though, which was pretty wild.
Yep. The success of Reubens' 1985 movie Pee-wee's Big Adventure led to Pee-wee's Playhouse series, which aired on CBS on Saturday mornings from 1986 to 1991. We have some clips like, here's the theme.
Pull yourself up a chair. Let the fun begin. It's time to let down your hair.
So that's Cyndi Lauper.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I had no idea.
Yeah.
Been invited to the wacky Pee-wee's Playhouse.
Had no idea that was Cyndi Lauper.
The first time I saw him was in this character was that HBO special,
The stage show.
the stage show.
Yeah.
The first time I remember seeing him in that character was in Cheech and Chong's Next Movie. He plays he plays a guy that works at the he's a clerk at the hotel, and they have an issue with him, and they're going back and forth, and then this crazy road trip happens, and they end up in a comedy club, and he comes walking out on stage as the Pee-wee character. I'm like, this is a weird dude, you know. And so what was the thing you guys saw him in?
So it was the stage show. It had been a very popular stage show with I think it was the Groundlings. Was that a case? Yeah,
Probably, yeah.
The comedy troupe that he was with, which included Phil Hartman and a whole bunch of other people who have now gone on to great careers. But the video was hilarious. It was a little more adult in its focus. But I remember loving it, and then that begot the rest of his career.
Yeah, I did not watch the show, but Case, I know you
I did,
religiously watch it, right?
I was a huge Pee Wee Herman fan.
Yeah.
So, and it's what's weird is the day before he passed away, my best friend was down the shore with me this weekend, and he was with me when we went and saw Pee Wee's Big Adventure for my birthday. And we were just talking about that the day before. But this one hit a little hard. I didn't. Nobody saw this one coming. I was like, man, and it's not.
No clue.
Well, so Pee Wee did. He had that the Netflix movie.
Yeah, Pee-wee's, what was the name of it? It's, wait a second, I got it right here. It's Pee-wee's Big Holiday. And it turns out like Joe Manga, whatever the hell his name is.
Manganiello.
Massive fan. He's in the movie. And there were a ton of celebrities that made cameos in this thing. And it was actually very funny. It's very well done.
Yeah, but like Pee-wee's Big Adventure, it holds up today. It
works.
Well, it works.
Yeah,
because
completely.
Tim Burton as a director, it is a super colorful movie, right? You got Danny Elfman working, doing the composing and stuff. I think it really does hold up. If you've never given it a try, give it a try this time.
To be honest, and this is the case, there would not have been he would not have directed Batman, Tim Burton, had he not. They saw his directing in this and said he'd be suited for Batman.
It was speaking of Batman, it's funny to see Paul Rubens pop up in some small roles, like in the second Batman movie, as the parents of Cobblepot.
Yeah.
And also, if you remember, he's in a really quick moment in the Blues Brothers. In the restaurant, he's the waiter.
Yeah.
And he's only got like one line, I think, in the movie. I'm like, that's Pee Wee Herman. And so, yeah.
Well, in a total 180 role, he was in Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Right.
Yeah, he's Rutger Hauer's familiar.
Yeah.
It's basically his Renfield.
And Mystery Men.
Oh, my
Spleen,
God.
wasn't that the name?
Oh,
The
it's
Spleen.
disgusting.
And also Blow. Do you guys remember him in Blow?
Yeah.
Him and Bobcat Goldthwait are in a scene or two of Blow, where they're essentially just these cokeheads in the 80s in California. But
he's like a gay hairdresser in that one, which is a complete opposite from what Pee Wee was.
Yeah.
Of course, he faced a bit of a setback in his career when he was arrested for indecent exposure at an adult movie theater in Sarasota, Florida, in 1991. He was sentenced to 3 years probation. And in 2004, by the way, he was sentenced to 3 years probation for possessing photographs of minors engaged in sexual conduct. I'd forgotten about that.
Yeah.
Oh.
So,
He was never convicted on any charges, was he? I think so. There was.
I don't know.
There was.
Well, it says sentenced to 3 years for 3 years probation for possessing.
Was that it? Okay. I was wondering if that. So, and was he convicted on the public indecency for the theater incident?
I couldn't tell you exactly what happened. I have a feeling it probably was at the time. Despite the incidents, Nick's looking up the information on those, by the way. He went on to star in movies like we were saying, Batman Returns, Blow, Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Also appeared on television shows such as 30 Rock, Murphy Brown, Gotham, and Reno 911. Many in Hollywood took to social media to pay tribute to the late actor, including Jimmy Kimmel, Tim Burton, Natasha Lyonne, Amy Sedaris, Lorraine Newman, and Cher, amongst a lot of other people.
Yeah, it's pretty wild.
He had lots of fans.
Yeah.
So, but 70 years old and battled cancer for a number of years, and no one knew about it. So sad news there. Well, actually, we have a couple. Let me play a couple other clips while we're at it.
Yeah,
let's have some. Actually, let's have a clip of him in an interview about creating Pee Wee Herman in the first place. Do we have that case?
Yep.
All right, here we go.
I was in an improvisation group in Los Angeles, the Groundlings, and they focused on character work and developing and creating characters. So he came out of an improv. The thing I like about Pee Wee Herman is that he has very little backstory. He's a character that I believe when you see him, you kind of get who he is. You know, like you don't have to really know very much.
He's that typical man-child type of character, like SpongeBob is, you know what I mean?
I love characters like that. If they're done right. If they're not, they're incredibly annoying. But this one was done right.
You know what? I don't think I've ever watched a straight interview with him before. Of out of character.
So I watched, he did like an hour and a half. It was a retrospective of his career in different movies. And I mean, you would think he was giving a TED talk. Completely different.
Straight.
Yeah. But very informative.
Okay. I'd like to dive a little bit deeper into that. Here's a clip from Pee Wee's Big Adventure, a classic one.
You're crazy. I know you are, but what am I? You're a nerd. I know you are, but what am I? You're an idiot. I know you are, but what am I? I know you are, but what am I?
And then, of course, another great line, case down one. Here we go.
You don't want to get mixed up with a guy like me. I'm a loner, Daddy. A rebel.
And then do the laugh montage, if you would, please. Here we go. Okay.
In the Pee Wee's Big Adventure, when he is at the Alamo and the realization that he's been fed a line of garbage, and it eventually overtakes him. His breakdown is hilarious.
And it's just a glimpse into who I am at my core. I went to the Alamo only because Pee Wee Herman went to the I had almost no interest in the history of the Alamo. I just wanted to go where Pee Wee was.
What did you glean from that visit?
That there is no basement in the Alamo.
There's no basement in the Alamo.
In the Alamo, so
when he came out at the MTV musical or movie, whatever it was and he just looked at the audience and he's like, heard any good jokes lately?
It was a great line. It was a great line.
He embraced it.
He embraced it head on, controversy.
Yep, and that was the place to do it too, because at that time the MTV Video Music Awards were huge.
Yeah.
Van Halen came on right after that. He was like the intro to Van Halen.
Oh, that's what it was.
Yeah. So. All right, sad news, and unfortunately, a couple of more deaths to mention too. Angus Cloud, the actor who played Fezco in the hit show Euphoria, passed away. He was 25 years old.
It's very sad.
Family released a statement on Monday sharing that he intensely struggled with the loss of his father, who had died just last week.
Yeah.
And the statement from the family said, "It is with the heaviest heart that we had to say goodbye to an incredible human today. As an artist, a friend, a brother, and a son, Angus was special to all of us in so many ways. The only comfort we have knowing is that Angus is now reunited with his dad, who was his best friend. Angus was open about his battle with mental health, and we hope that his passing can be a reminder to others that they are not alone and should not fight this on their own in silence." I'm assuming he took his own life.
That's what it sounds like.
Yeah.
I've seen 1 or 2 episodes of Euphoria. It seems very intense to me. Do you guys watch it with any regularity?
I watched all of it. I thought it was great. And he has a very pivotal role. In fact, the final episode was really based around him and his family. So it'd be interesting how they address this.
Sad news at 25. And then someone much older passed away. An actress by the name of Inga Swenson died of natural causes. She was on the show Benson. She played the German cook Gretchen Krause.
Yes.
And she was on that show from 1979 to 1986. She and Lowell Harris, her husband of 70 years, shared that he was by her side. Yeah, they were married for 70 years. Around 6 months after her health began to decline. Benson was a spinoff of the sitcom Soap, in which her character, Ingrid, had a multi-episode arc. I'd completely forgotten about that. So she ported over from there as well. Over the course of more than 150 episodes on Benson, the actress became a household name, revered for her comedic timing, and acknowledged with 3 Emmy nominations and a Golden Globe nod as well. So she was 90 years old.
That's a good run.
A nice long life. She had 2 Tony Awards, retired from acting in 1998. Suzanne Summers revealed on Instagram yesterday that her breast cancer has returned. Following her first diagnosis in 2000. The Three's Company actress shared a photo of herself with her husband, Alan Hamill, and expressed gratitude for his support through the difficult process. She said, "As you know, I had breast cancer 2 decades ago, and every now and then it pops up again. And I continue to bat it down. I've used the best alternative and conventional treatments to combat it. This is not new territory for me. I know how to put on my battle gear, and I'm a fighter," she said.
Good for her.
Along with thanking fans for their support, Summers expressed how thankful she is for her husband. She said, "Alan has been by my side every step of the way, and I can't even explain how much he has done for me, if it's even possible. We're even closer than ever," she wrote.
I remember the show they met on. It was a show. He was the host, and they had women. There was their panel of celebrity women, and they would do different topics, and it'd be about what they understood about men and what they didn't like about men. It was kind of a bitch session about men in general, and he was the host, and she was one of the guests one time, and it was clear that they were vibing, as they say.
I did not.
And the
know
rest
that.
is decades ago history.
Okay. Well, hopefully with his support, she's going to get through this. All right, here's another little negative story to pass along to you. Zachary Ty Bryan, the actor best known for his role as the eldest son, Brad Taylor, on Tim Allen's Home Improvement, reportedly has been arrested for domestic violence for the 2nd time. TMZ reported that Bryan was arrested on Friday by police in Eugene, Oregon, for felony assault in violation of the Abuse Prevention Act. The action is used when someone is accused of attacking a person who had previously been granted a restraining order in retaliation to domestic violence. So this
I'm
idiot
conflicted here.
is going after somebody he already has a restraining order against him.
Do I play the Eugene or not?
You can play the Eugene because it's mentioned
Eugene
several times in this
It's a
story.
domestic violence story, so it was a tough one to call.
He previously pleaded guilty in 2021 to 2 felony counts in a domestic violence case in Oregon. He received a sentence of 3 years probation, was required to participate in a batterer intervention program. The 2021 charges stem from an incident in Eugene in which
Eugene,
the then 39-year-old actor assaulted his 27-year-old girlfriend. He was arrested and booked, charged with harassment, coercion, strangulation, interference with making a report, and second counts of menacing and assault in the 4th degree. Those charges were dismissed in return for his 2-count guilty plea. An anonymous police source said they received a call for a reported physical dispute between a male and female at a Eugene residence.
Eugene.
Brian was not at the scene when they arrived. They eventually tracked him down and escorted him to jail, where he remained in custody as of on late Sunday afternoon.
So Jonathan Taylor Thomas is the good son.
Right, exactly. He was engaged to the woman involved in the 2021 domestic violence incident. It is not clear if the same person was involved this time or not. I'm guessing maybe so. But
Dude, when
I
you're
do not
strangling
know.
someone, right?
Yeah.
Strangling?
Yeah. So that dude has got some issues, and he better get them worked out. Toot sweet, or his life is gonna suck from here on out. So, and dude, get it together. Stop it. Quit being an a-hole. All right, here's a local story.
Yeah.
Not Eugene,
Steve
right?
said this to me. Not in Eugene. No, this was in Sea Isle.
Yeah.
Bob Kelly of Fox 29 is recovering after being assaulted during an event at the Jersey Shore on Sunday.
Bob Kelly, nicest guy around.
He was emceeing a party at Orehouse Pub in Sea Isle City when a young man filmed himself pouring beer on Kelly's shoulder and head, according to sources with knowledge of the incident. When Kelly reacted and attempted to swat away the beer, sources say the man filming punched him in the face.
That's flat out assault. Just pouring the beer would be assault, but punching him in the face?
Yep. Kelly was taken to Cape Regional Medical Center, but did not suffer any serious injuries. He's usually off on Mondays during the summer, but sources said that Kelly was expected to be back on Good Day Philadelphia today.
Yeah.
I doubt he'll touch on it, but you never know. Seattle City Police have not released any information about the incident. Sources say the man was apprehended by the pub's bouncers and later arrested, but Seattle City Police did not confirm the arrest. No information about the suspect has been released. So
it looks like he did bring it up on. So he posted on Instagram an hour ago.
Okay.
And he was on with Thomas, and I think that's Karen Hepp. And looks like they kind of brought it up because Bob says in his Instagram post, "Thank you for all the messages, texts, phone calls, and concerns." And he was live from Margate this morning.
Okay. All right. Well, dude,
freaking nicest guy around.
I mean,
don't punch Bob Kelly.
Well, no, listen, this something similar. Remember when somebody peed on Belair's leg? He was at a bar in Avalon. Somebody, it's going to be, you're so funny. Yeah, that is hilarious. You know what I mean? Like, even if it was just pouring a beer on his shoulder and there was no punch involved or whatever.
No, we agree. Yeah, I mean, but again, I don't know. Was this guy bombed? Who was doing it? It sounds like he was, or might have been lit up, and was
or was he just trying to get some kind of
viral thing?
Viral video, so there's loads of a-holes out there.
That happened to Cardi B over the weekend in Vegas.
Cardi B?
She's basically Bob Kelly.
It was the same thing. Somebody threw a drink on her and she chucked her microphone at the person because it's just like a reaction. Somebody throws something at you, you're going to hit back.
Oh, yeah.
And now they might charge her with assault.
Yeah.
There's a defensive, deflective, automatic, thing that happens if somebody's pouring something on you. So, yeah. Well, hopefully Bob's doing okay. Looks like he's doing fine, but it sucks that.
I wonder if Cardi B will reach out.
He had to go through that, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe, well, they have something in common now. So, Oscar-winning actor Judi Dench says that a degenerative eye condition has left her unable to read scripts or see on set.
Oh, man.
Dench, who is 88, said it's hard to learn lines with her conditions. He said, I can't see on a film set anymore, and I can't see to read, so I can't see much. But you just deal with it. Get on. It's difficult for me. If I have any length of a part, I haven't yet found a way because I have so many friends who will teach me the script, but I have a photographic memory. Dench revealed in 2012 that she had been diagnosed with the eye condition called age-related macular degeneration, or AMD. Despite these difficulties, she said that she will try to work as much as she can. Earlier this year, she told the Graham Norton Show that learning lines had become impossible. She said, normally, somebody could just teach you the lines, and goodness knows that's happened before. But now I've just found that I have a photographic memory. Her memory is so impressive that she said she is able to recite the whole of William Shakespeare's Twelfth Night.
Wow.
She tries to live each day to the fullest.
I can't even recite my phone number.
She said, I have an irrational fear of boredom, and that's why I now have this tattoo that says Carpe Diem.
No regrets.
That's what we should live by.
You know what I found out recently? Listened to a couple of interviews. There's a YouTube channel I watch. It's Michael Rosenbaum, I think it is. He used to play Lex Luthor on Smallville, and he was talking to a number of different actors. And apparently, they call it the assist, Preston. They will wear you know how small these hearing aids and transmitters are now.
Yeah.
Discreetly wear it, and they will be fed lines from off, camera.
Okay.
And some opt to do it. Some say it helps improve their performance, especially if they have long, line reads or whatever. But to me, and it was brought up, is that distracting? Are you, to stop yourself from sort of robotically repeating what you're hearing in your ear?
Right.
Is it hard to act that as you're hearing it? But that's the thing. I didn't realize how prevalent it was, but it is apparently.
Had no idea. Interesting. Hey, every year, the Just for Laughs Montreal Festival hosts an award show that honors some of the most prominent names in comedy. And this year, the stand-up comedian of the year is none other than our buddy Bert Kreischer.
Hey!
So he won it. Congratulations with the movie and all that. It's been a big year for him.
It is a huge year for him.
Have you seen the movie, Preston? I watched it.
No, I've not seen it.
I liked it. I enjoyed it.
So how is it? What did you think of his acting?
He's actually really good.
Right?
He's really good. And there are parts where he's really acting.
Yeah.
And it's...
there are like some emotional moments where he
moments.
gets like choked up and stuff, and I'm like, wow.
Like his daughter's pissed at him, and and it's... The script actually beats him up a lot.
So now that I know that you've seen it, I got to talk to you offline about this because there were some moments that I would just laugh out loud like, okay, I did not see that coming moments. Really, really good stuff.
I was watching a video of him yesterday on Instagram. It was him interviewing Rob Lowe, and they were talking about the 1980s and cocaine use and all this stuff and how the ATMs were unbelievable to cocaine users because you could get hookers and drugs at any time of the night now that you had access to that cash. And he was talking about how Charlie Sheen took it to a whole new level. He was the first one to embrace that technology.
Oh, the ATM?
And Kreischer starts laughing so hard that he farted while he was laughing. And in typical Bert reaction, you just can't help but die laughing at how much it cracked up
I gotta
Bert.
hear that.
He's just wonderful. Oh, and also at the Montreal Festival, at the Just for Laughs, Quinta Brunson.
Yes.
Won Comedy Person of the Year. Philly native.
She deserves it.
Isn't that great?
I bet you she will win an Emmy for her SNL appearance.
Oh, yeah?
She was terrific.
Nice.
The one in Traffic?
In Traffic. That alone.
So good.
Hilarious.
So congratulations, our buddy Bert, and maybe our future buddy, Quinta Brunson, as well, at the Just for Laughs Comedy Festival in Montreal.
It's great to watch these people become very successful and then, of course, forget us.
Not Bert.
Not Bert.
Not
No,
Bert. No, Bert's been loyal.
Bert points it out. He's like, who doesn't call you anymore?
Yeah.
He started rattling off some names. He's like, how about me? I still call you.
No,
So,
Bert's loyal.
love that guy. More than anything in the world. All right, so a couple other quick things. According to the Hollywood Reporter, the trailer for the second season of Loki dropped yesterday. Tom Hiddleston, Owen Wilson, Ke Kwan, and Jonathan Majors all star in the second season of the Marvel Studios live-action series.
I love seeing Ke Kwan in the trailer. This is the rebirth of his career. Very excited.
So Majors, who was arrested on domestic violence charges in January, is said to appear in half of the season's episode as Victor Timely, a key antagonist, according to the outlet. The second season of Loki will be available to stream on Disney Plus, and that will be out on October 6th.
May I be candid here, Preston?
Please.
First season, I'm not a big fan.
Okay.
I thought it was too convoluted. His character, they really just sort of strangled the life out of him in that season. I didn't like. I thought it was too jumbled, and I don't know. I'm not a fan of this deal.
They got confusing to me.
I want Loki to be Loki, and he's less Loki and more a victim.
I also feel like I was hoping for more cinematic, like
panache
of all of these shows, and they all come off as TV shows to me.
Well, they do, yeah. And budget-wise, they're splitting a lot of money, and they're all using this thing called the volume, which is this effects wall. And it all looks too fake.
Anybody else watch Secret Invasion?
Yeah, I was kind of disappointed with how it went.
I thought the first half of it was pretty compelling and great, and then it petered out, and I did not enjoy the end of it. Steve, I disagree with you. I really like Loki a lot.
Yeah,
and I liked how it ended, and I think it sort of set up where the Marvel Universe is going. It is confusing. But I think he's terrific. I like Tom Hiddleston a lot.
He's great, and I know a lot of people did. I absolutely did not. I just did not like it.
All right, and then the last bit of info, according to the Hollywood Reporter, Kevin Spacey may be returning to the big screen sooner than expected.
Yeah, we were talking about this.
The House of Cards actor was cast in the thriller Control in 2022, and the film's sales agent told the outlet that they would like to have the film in cinemas in December. This comes after he was cleared of 9 sexual assault charges in London on just last week on the 26th.
And he signed on to play Judi Dench, right?
Yeah.
The Blind Side
she can't see anymore, so yeah. All right, now we're ready for the clips. Nicolas Cage is back in the new thriller Sympathy for the Devil, and in this clip, cinematographer Stephen Halloran talks about Cage's chemistry with co-star Joel Kinnaman. Here we go.
I just remember sitting across from Nick, and he's delivering one of his first monologues to Joel, and I'm just on the receiving end of it on the other side of camera. And it was something special coming through the lens, and I could feel it. And I could see everybody else on set feeling it too. People like stiffened up a little bit.
I don't even know who the hell you are. Sympathy for the Devil is in theaters now.
They got the cinematographer.
Yeah. Matt and I watched it last night. It's really good.
Is
and
it?
It's Nick Cage at his greatest. Yeah.
And then the next clip. The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles return this week in TMNT Mutant Mayhem. And here, director Jeff Rowe talks about casting Jackie Chan as the voice of Splinter.
Before we had cast Jackie Chan, we're like, the action in this needs to be funny and it needs to be like legitimately compelling. And we should do it like a Jackie Chan action choreography because no one's ever been funnier and no one has better timing or rhythm. And then when we were talking about casting Splinter and we got the opportunity, we're like, this would be perfect. His spirit is in the film already.
I don't give a
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem comes to theaters tomorrow, by the way.
Yeah.
All right, opening on a Wednesday. And there you go. That is what I have in the entertainment report for you this morning. Hey, Casey wanted me to remind you of this. It's Tattoos Day.
Whoa.
Your chance to win a Preston and Steve Show themed tattoo. And it is from our friends at Floating World Tattoo and Piercing. It's $350 gift certificate. All you need to do is text the word tattoo to 39333. You'll be in the running for it. That's it. You want to check out their work? Simple. They're on Instagram at Floating World Tattoos. You can go to floatingworldtattoos.com or swing into their location at 1729 South Street in Philadelphia. We will take a break. We'll come back in just a moment. We got lots to get to today, so hang out.
Preston and Steve.
On 93.3 WMMR.
The calorie pear, or Pyrus calorania, commonly called the Bradford pear tree, to a list of noxious weeds, plants that cannot be legally sold or cultivated in the state.
Wow. It adds the list that is populated by the durian and other?
Well, no, it's considered invasive. So, so this is these are the semen trees.
What?
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah. So the popular non-native flowering fruit tree naturalizes, spreading from planted landscapes, crowding out other plants, and disrupting native ecosystems.
So the semen tree is considered an invasive species?
Check that, Nick. Double check and make sure the Bradford pear is the one we're talking about.
If you don't know, this is a plant, a tree, I guess,
It's a
that
tree, yeah.
every year emits a smell that many have said, and I agree, smells like semen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's them.
That's okay. So this is it. So it apparently it crowds out other plants, disrupts native ecosystems. The ban on sale and cultivation will take effect on February 9th, with enforcement phased in over 2 years.
I'm surprised because landscapers will sell a lot of these. They'll use them in office parks and people's backyards and whatever. So this is a moneymaker for a lot of those places. I'm really surprised they came down with a ban.
Well, it's a beautiful tree.
Yeah.
And when it does create that scent, it's got these beautiful white blooms. It's just gorgeous.
It looks gorgeous.
I have 3 of them in my backyard.
I have a weeping vagina in my backyard.
Oh, my goodness.
And it's, well, you know what it smells like, but it's just, it's beautiful.
Okay. Now you got me thinking of Pussy Willows. I wouldn't necessarily categorize this scent as noxious, though. I mean,
it is different.
If you are around a bunch of them, like I have been in proximity to several of them, and it's like overpowering. Now, not noxious to the extent of I can't breathe.
Yeah.
Right.
But definitely like, wow, this is overpowering. So, but it's apparently I guess it's taking up too much space. It's invading the area, and it's not native in the area. So, according to the agricultural secretary, the calorie pear is another non-native plant that was brought to the country for its beauty and rapid growth without regard to its long-term potential harm to our environment and food supply.
I didn't realize it was that sort of situation. Nick, as you rightfully point out, it ends up being used in garden plants.
Oh yeah,
they're
sold a lot.
And
another one that I've heard people complain about because of the smell is the ginkgo tree, and they're really pretty as well. Especially in the fall, they turn like a bright yellow. But people sometimes refer to them as the stinko tree, and I believe like it's only the male of the species that stinks or whatever. But yeah.
We have a butthole bush by our front door, and the flowers are wonderful. But it does.
What does it smell like?
It smells like a butthole.
Is it year round or only in the spring?
No, it's like for 1 week.
Oh,
you know,
you can deal with that.
Is your butthole open?
Don't come over. It's butthole week.
Is your butthole sprouting?
Yes.
Oh my God.
The butthole's open. And the scent
You've got to come by.
It only happens 1 week out of the year when the butthole's
We'll sit
open.
between that and the semen plant.
All right, here you go. Here's some big news.
All right.
Kim Kardashian is making it clear, and I have a few Kim and Kanye stories here.
Oh, yeah.
Clear to Kanye, wants to set healthy boundaries.
Healthy boundaries.
So, in an interview with Hollywood Unlocked that will be released today, West claims that Kardashian's security team wouldn't let him into her house with their daughter North after he picked the kids up from school one day. Now, a source told People that while it's true that West was not allowed inside the house that day, Kim's security team didn't stop him from seeing the kids, picking them up, or dropping them off. The source continued saying he can no longer just walk inside her home without her permission, and Kim has a right to privacy and is trying to set healthy boundaries. So
she's a lawyer, you know.
Those who have gone through divorces, I assume, deal with this particular issue, which is somebody just walking right in.
That has to change.
You've been doing it for years and years and years. However, if you've been married for a long time, and then all of a sudden it stops there, and you have to ring the doorbell, you have to knock, or something like that.
It might be uncomfortable, but that's part of the deal.
Yeah, exactly.
The nature of the relationship has changed, and though you would imagine Kanye would have an easy time adapting to change.
No, right.
He's not, apparently.
Apparently, the need to set these boundaries arose from Kanye making, quote, recent unannounced visits to Kim's home. In the Hollywood Unlocked interview, West is quoted as saying... That's when he stops by? Yeah. Unannounced.
Yo.
Yeah. So West is quoted in the interview as saying, "Don't play with me. Don't play with my children. Ain't no security going to get in between me and my children, and you ain't going to gaslight me." End quote.
Okay. Hey,
don't play with my children. I thought you want people.
Yes, of course. So they grow up
to
healthy.
play. They like to play. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, he goes by Yee now. So wouldn't he announce himself Yee?
Yee.
It echoes around that house because there's
huge.
There's nothing in it.
There's nothing in it.
Yeah.
There's nothing to deaden the sound. We have audio, Preston, if you'd like. He is.
All right, so this is about the song?
Yes.
So Kanye, this is part 2 of the story. Kanye called out Pete Davidson in his new song, The Game, which is called Easy. The track dropped on Friday, and people across all corners of the internet promptly went to work dissecting the lyrics from Kanye's verse.
So here's a question, and this to me is indicative of a kind of person. He is in a relationship with someone else himself.
Yeah.
He's making out publicly with this other person. Why? Why is he going off the deep end about Pete Davidson? She's simply moving on as well. He's moving on. Why is it so bad that she's moving on?
His ego won't allow it.
That has to be it.
Yeah, so there's nobody better than him, and his ego won't allow it. And
it's narcissism.
It is
It's pure
no
narcissism.
doubt.
Yeah.
But did you
And
see that?
is she in their house?
Yes.
So that that's probably where
But they
it
have a
stems from.
multitude of houses, Kathy.
Right.
He has that ranch, and he actually bought a house, I think, diagonally across the street from her to be close to the kids.
Now, is this
But that's
the song?
probably the hard part. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that was his house. That was where he lived too. So the fact now that he's got a knock on the door, which listen, yes, it needs to happen.
Yep.
They're not together anymore, but that's probably why he's having a hard time.
Steve, is this a song that they're listening to and like Madonna's in the thing? It's like there are all these people in a room and it's like him and Madonna and Antonio Brown. Like,
Are you talking about video footage?
There's video
Yeah.
footage of them all listening to a song. And
Right.
what's wild is Madonna's like the grandmom,
Yeah.
and she's acting like the kid in this movie or in this video.
That imagery is troubling. But he specifically mentions Pete Davidson.
Yeah, he mentioned a bunch of things. I'm going to go through some of the lyrics in this song. So he talks about his divorce from Kim, and I'm quoting this. We having the best divorce ever. If we go to court, we go to court together. Matter of fact, pick up your sis. We'll go to courts together. Meaning
Courtney.
You know what he did
Love
there?
it. I haven't heard lyrics this sharp since Poopity Scoop.
All right, co-parenting his kids, he writes, I watched 4 kids for like 5 hours today. I wear these Yeezy boots everywhere, even in the shower today. He rhymed today with today.
Yeah.
And by the way, he did a little drop on his own product line.
Self-promotion. Love it.
I got love for the nannies, but real family is better. The cameras watch the kids. Y'all stop taking the credit. Non-custodial dad, I bought the house next door. What you think the point of really being rich for?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, no, it makes incredible sense. So he doesn't want to besmirch the nanny staff, which he had a relationship with them as well. But he's saying Kim's not being the mother she needs to be because she's with that Pete Davidson.
All right. Then you have grappling with his kid's privilege. And he writes, he spits, when you give them everything, they only want more. Bougie and unruly, y'all need to do some chores. Rich-ass kids, this ain't your mama house. Climb on your brother's shoulders, get that top ramen out.
Okay.
So, all right, he had me at ramen.
He had me at ramen. God save me from that crash just so I can beat Pete Davidson's ass.
That's it.
And my new bitch bad, I know Illuminati mad.
Yeah, man.
How did he drag the Illuminati into it?
I don't know, but he's obviously a big fan of that point in history.
They mad, so he found out about it.
All right, we're looking at the video that Casey was talking about. Yeah, Madonna's over-emoting in this particular video. She's moving around a bit too much. She's making a spectacle of herself.
I'm 60 years old.
Stop
I
it.
got to act like a.
Okay.
And what's the context of this?
Well,
video?
she's made them snickerdoodles because she's grandma.
Oh, all right. That was nice of her.
Is anyone you want cookies?
I would.
Snoop, do you?
That's pretty much the only reason they invited her. Yeah.
They're piping hot and they're great with milk.
All right. Let her in.
All right, last bit
Yo,
of...
who let your grandma in?
Last bit of lyrics are his public romance with Julia Fox, and he wrote, Oh, no, that was it.
That's it.
That's it?
Yeah, that was it. Talking about I know my new bitch bad.
New bitch bad.
I know Illuminati
So
bad.
beautiful.
So there you go.
My
That's
new bitch bad.
the latest on the two.
It's definitely a study in narcissism because she has a relationship, he has a relationship, move on.
Yeah, exactly.
Yee.
you guys didn't know, Kathy had the Rona. She got past it, but there are some lingering effects, and a lot of people have dealt with this lack of taste thing.
Would it be safe to say that it licked her ass?
I think it licked her ass. Now, if you don't know about that, she had texted someone that it kicked her ass and accidentally typed in licked her ass. And this wasn't a close personal friend either. It was more of a casual relationship. And
I love it.
Took it to another level. But so your sense of taste, at what point? Because listen, when you get a cold, when you get the flu, it's standard that happens, but it doesn't linger afterwards. So did this happen at the onset of symptoms, or did this happen later on?
No, so I was like a few days into having COVID, and I had congestion too. So, sometimes, like you said, like if you have congestion, you have a cold or whatever, like, taste won't be there. So that's what I kept telling myself. I was like, no, I think it's that, because there was like a little bit still there. So I'm like, maybe it's just the congestion, like normal, and I'm not really losing my taste. No. And then flash forward, now we're a few weeks in, and my taste is, I would say my taste is like 0 to 10%. I don't know. Maybe today I'll see.
Yeah.
I thought maybe at one point it was coming back. I had yellow mustard. I told you guys this, but I don't know if it was like whatever. I don't know. Whatever.
You don't know if it was like the spices in
Or
the
some-
mustard,
right,
that,
exactly.
as opposed to its actual flavor.
Yeah.
It's like it's nothing you would be able to compare it to in life. I mean, it's such
So
a unique
weird.
thing to have happen.
Yeah.
And so for the most part, people have what they call the long Rona. Still, even they eventually get their taste back, but it can be a while.
I've seen stories of people that have gone like a year without having taste. My grandmother, this was a long time ago, went years a loss of taste.
Is that right? What
and
caused
then
it?
It just came back.
Right.
I don't know.
Over the
We never found
weekend,
out.
somebody had to go to urgent care.
Yeah.
We should probably keep a tally of how often. It doesn't happen that crazy. I guess the last one was me rolling my ankle. It was the last really stupid thing that happened. And then we'll reveal this story.
Yeah, there's a lot of bizarre injuries.
Our
that
new
occur.
digital program director, Rachel Pitts, down the hallway is prone to falling. And so Greg made her a sign.
Oh,
It
my
says
God.
like 10 days since the last incident.
Okay. All
Just
right.
hanging up. So,
Incident report.
yes, we'll need one of
All right.
those.
Well, this one falls to the gentleman to my right. Casey Boy had a moment over the weekend.
I really wish I had a good story for you guys. I do not. The story sucks. But it was a first for a couple of things for me.
Right.
So I cut my finger.
Hold it up there.
With I have a.
No, you have a cast.
I have
on
a
it.
Band-Aid on it. Yeah, I thought about coming in a wheelchair and a neck brace. And what happened?
I'm gonna sue.
Yeah. I cut my finger. I got 2 whole stitches. Two. Yeah.
I know.
All right. So I don't want to prolong the story any longer than it needs to be, but I had a number and a chip on my bicycle that was left over from the Bend to the Shore bike tour.
Okay.
Right? I was getting ready to go out for a bike ride on Saturday afternoon, and I was like, oh, let me cut this number off of my bike. We didn't have any scissors in the house, so I grabbed a box cutter.
The old box cutter.
Old Cobalt box cutter.
Yeah, and that's always, at least that's the flashpoint for a number of finger injuries. The old box cutter.
Now, the mistake I made was last week when I put my number on the bike. I put that little twist tie, whatever those things are called, zip ties.
Zip ties.
I put it on there too tight, and I got the box cutter in there, and I pull it, and I cut the tie. And I pulled it with such force that I hit my hand. I was cutting with my right hand, and my left hand was just kind of dangling, doing nothing.
Yeah.
And I
The
hit
way
it
it does.
And I hit it with such force that I knew that I had done damage. I'm like, God damn it, man! And I immediately ran to the sink, and I washed it off, and I didn't even look at it because I knew I hit it so hard that I was going to need stitches. I knew it. I just knew it.
When they medevaced you out of there.
Yeah. Which, that's expensive, man.
How bad was your bleeding?
It just...
like how many Band-Aids had you been through?
No Band-Aids at that point.
No Band-Aids at that point.
But almost a half of a roll... a half of a ply of...
So time is critical.
Yeah, time is very critical. Half a ply.
You were about to code.
Paper towels. I was about to code. No, listen. It wasn't gushing, but the blood was coming out, and it wasn't stopping.
It sucks. You know what? No, I can't say that. I've never had classic stitches. I've had glue.
Yeah.
Right? When I had my surgery. Does that count? I've never had stitches.
No. So, and I don't count it either because I never had stitches unless I had stitches when I got a vasectomy.
Right.
And then I think I had stitches in my mouth for when I got my
vasectomy.
my wisdom teeth.
You don't count this incident?
Well, no.
He's
Prior to this
Gotcha.
incident,
Gotcha.
I don't count. I never had stitches.
Right.
You know, and so I'm like, I don't even know. And so eventually when I looked at the cut on my finger, I didn't cut straight down. I cut on an angle. So I had a giant flap of skin, you know, just flat. And I'm looking at
if
it.
Kathy was here,
I know.
she'd be turning white.
I know.
Yeah.
But I'm looking at it and I'm like, listen, this is really bad. But I don't
so
know.
cool.
I don't know if it's deep enough to get stitches. But I went to urgent care anyway because I haven't had a tetanus shot in years.
No, that's smart. Smart.
And so my wife is like, when was the last time you had tetanus? And I was like, she's like, has it been 10 years? And
When
I'm
was
like,
the last time you had a vasectomy?
just one time, like 13 years ago or something like that. But I was like, I don't remember ever having a tetanus shot. So
you raise a good point. What is there? What is
5 years?
5 years.
And I found that out at urgent care.
Huh.
And
well, very, very smart of you.
Yeah. So I went there, and I wasn't even going to go. And my wife's like, well, you know. What do you get if you don't get a tetanus shot? I have no idea.
You get a car.
Well, no, I don't know. Like, I don't know what happens if you don't, you know, if you get, is tetanus
Can you end up with lockjaw?
Yes, that was always the thing I heard, lockjaw.
She's like, do you want lockjaw? I'm like, I do not want lockjaw.
I don't think I need it. Apparently, I have it right now.
And I don't know how long it takes in order for lockjaw to come, and I don't know what else happens if you don't get a tetanus shot.
Casey, tell John what he wants. You want a case of brew from Brewery.
I think I have lockjaw.
Yeah.
All right. So it says here in the description, an infection caused by bacteria called Clostridium tetani.
Yeah.
Sounds like a Hawaiian.
What do you win?
Yeah. And so lockjaw is the most common. I wonder if there are any peripheral things that occur.
It says it produces a toxin that causes painful muscle contractions. Another name for tetanus is lockjaw.
Yeah.
It often causes a person's neck and jaw muscles to lock, making it hard to open the mouth or swallow. So,
Hot diggity dog.
yeah, right?
I remember I had to get a tetanus shot when my friend started having babies. I don't know the connection, but tetanus is required to see newborn children.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Interesting.
I just remember getting text messages that were like,
Didn't know that.
"Can I come over?" Yeah. Do you
I
have
had
a
to
tetanus
get anal
shot?
bleaching when my friends adopted a kitten.
All right, so here's the deal. Casey cut his finger. He got 2 whole stitches, by the way. But those count. The other stitches were because of procedures that were being done. This is from an injury. So the point is, Casey never in his life has ever had stitches before. So this is a momentous occasion for this gentleman.
Yeah.
You've joined a club. You've joined a certain club.
You're now in the Stitch Club.
However, Casey has never had a broken bone either.
No,
so he's
I
never-
have.
Oh, I thought.
I've only had broken bones. I've
I thought
broken.
you said you didn't break bones.
I've never had a broken bone.
You've never had a broken bone?
Well, no, I think my incredible dodgeball injury, which is a bent finger, that's not broken. So, no, I've never had a broken bone.
And I have a friend who has never thrown up.
You have a friend who's never vomited.
Never.
I find
vomited.
that
Wow.
extraordinarily
Other
hard to
than
believe. As a baby?
Maybe as a baby spitting up. You know what I mean?
As
they all do.
Yeah.
So from the time where he started having memories, until the present, he has never thrown up.
To the best of his knowledge.
He can never recall ever having vomited. All right, so
His lie
interesting.
makes me want to puke.
I wonder if there's anybody listening who has never vomited in their
Never
lives.
vomited.
215-263-WMMR. So I've had stitches a few times. And one of the things that I found most unsettling and painful about getting the stitches, because each time it happened, was when they have to numb the area.
Oh, that was the worst part.
So they stick a needle directly into the wound.
I have to stand corrected.
And it sucks.
Because I had oral. Do oral stitches count?
If it was a procedure, no.
He's saying just as if from an injury.
From an injury.
Something
Then
that's going to leave a scar.
Right,
you know.
right,
Yeah, now
okay.
you're going to have a scar.
Yeah, man.
Chick stick
Just
scars.
like Indiana Jones.
Chick stick
Yeah.
scars.
Look at this.
But it
Got that from a box cutter.
when they so Carter, my son, we were down at the shore and we were at a friend's house and he was a kid and he was jumping in the pool and he was spinning around while he was doing it. He came around and he knocked his lower on the side of the pool while jumping in. He knocked his lower lip His teeth actually went through below the lip, like in this kind of in between your chin and lip area.
Yeah.
And we had to take him to the hospital and get him stitches. And, obviously he still got the scar there. But when we went, they were numbing up the area, and they used this, a cotton swab that was supposed to numb the area up. And I don't think it numbed it up because he was in pain. But by the time they numb you up to give you stitches, when they begin that sewing thing, you don't feel a damn thing. Like you can sit
feel
there
tugging. That's it.
You feel tugging.
Is that it? Really?
There's no pain at all. Like you cannot feel it. So, but I think what they do is they start with kind of like a topical, and then they do the needle, and then it's dead, and then they can sew it up. But I think Carter, I don't think they ever got it fully numb because while they were doing the stitches, he was screaming his head off.
Wow. In all these years,
hard to watch. And they actually had to bind him. They had to bind him up. They had to put him in
he was flailing?
what they call the papoose.
Yeah.
Because
old was
so
he?
he couldn't move. Carter was probably 6 or 7 or something.
Why
like
didn't
that.
they stop and wait for him
to grow up?
Yeah. All right, you're 18 now. I think you can handle this.
It was Cape May Regional.
Well, I mean, I was at the urgent care in Rio on Rio Grande Avenue, but
You think with all the stitches and that they could have worked out a system that would be similar to like a sewing machine where they could, right? At this point,
it was wild, because the numbing agent, that was the part that hurt, I think, the most.
And you
then
just
I,
felt- you
and,
just
and then
felt
I just
tugging.
felt tugging after that. and that
I'm
wasn't-
actually surprised, commenting off of what Steve was saying earlier, that with something that's only 2-stitch size, why wouldn't they just glue that?
Just
up?
glue it.
You know?
Yeah.
Well, I was wondering the
That's
same thing because
interesting.
it was a flap
Yeah.
as well.
You
know
can
what
glue a
really
flap.
hurts is my arm where I got the tetanus shot on Saturday. It still hurts today. Like it's really sore.
Do you need to be medevaced out?
I think so. I think so. Can you guys get me on a gurney?
There's a helipad right down the street. Still at NBC 10.
What are you here for? My shoulder's sore. Get out of here.
It's interesting, and cases kind of hit a rite of passage with the fact that he now has stitches. Do you feel like you're in like a little club now?
A little bit,
Okay.
yeah. I'm because believe it or not, like the idea of open wounds and stitching kind of like bugs me out a little bit. But now that I'm part of the club,
You're cool.
Listen,
cool.
when I was
Snitches get stitches.
But when I was a kid, like I would take toilet paper and wrap it around my arm and pretend like I had a cast, like I do. And same thing with scars, like take like a marker and draw like scars and things like that.
Dude, I used to get myself black eyes.
I knew a kid
For
who
whatever reason I wanted that.
desperately wanted an arm cast.
Yeah.
Desperately wanted a cast, and eventually got it. Broke his arm. But I'm like, and he was thrilled. He wanted. I guess it was people were signing it in school.
Yeah,
So another kid who had a broken
You get some
broken
attention.
leg, and that was part of it.
Absolutely, yeah.
You get to miss some school.
Yes.
And then they introduce the colors. So you
Yeah.
get like a purple one.
Generally, there's some ice cream involved. Yeah.
I had stitches once. I was maybe 5 or 6 years old, maybe a little older, doing flips on my parents' bed, tumbling. I think I was home alone. I flipped and went right into the corner of their nightstand, and it was like right in my forehead.
How many stitches? And when you're doing something cosmetically on the face at that time, so what did they do?
I don't remember. I was too young, but I don't know. It's fine. And I don't have a scar from it.
Oh, no, there's a deep wound. I can see it.
I do have a tiny scar, though, above my lip. Nick, I was at Camp Taqua, and we were packing up for the weekend. Or packing up to go home, and I had a hairdryer on a shelf, and I decided it was a really good idea to just pull the cord so that it would come down because I'm short and I didn't have a way up. And the hairdryer fell right onto my mouth. I probably should have gone and gotten stitches, but instead I didn't tell anybody. I just sat alone for a couple hours, like
Just go
blotting
home.
it, right?
Now I had stitches on my forehead. I still have a scar here. I was only like 5 or 6 years old.
Point
I think
to
I
it.
was 5. It's right here.
I can't quite see it.
Hang on. No, I don't really see it.
Casey, he wants you to kiss it to make it better.
Can you kiss my boo boo? I was a kid and I was. Thanks, man.
All right, now give him a handy.
My balls are fine.
I was in a department store and I tripped and fell and hit the corner of a display counter and it split open, and that was my first ever experience with stitches.
Is there a different? I assume there's a different protocol when you're dealing with the cosmetic nature of someone's face, right?
I don't know.
Would they
Maybe.
favor glue instead of?
I would hope so.
Right?
Less scarring.
Yeah, my son had when he was younger, he would walk around with his hands in his pockets all the time, and he was walking up the steps with his hands in his pockets, and he tripped and fell and smashed his chin and split it open.
That's what you get for being cool.
Yeah, well, he was like Fonzie. I had to take him to get stitches and press. He cried initially when it happened. We cleaned it out in the sink, and then once we kind of cleaned it out, he didn't shed one other tear. I brought him into the emergency room. He was like 2.5 years old, so cute.
Little trooper.
Seriously, big time trooper. And like I had a hard time watching them put the numbing agent,
Right.
into his chin, but yeah, he took it like a champ.
Nick, when you broke your clavicle, your collarbone, did they do surgery on that?
Yes.
So I'm sure you have a scar from that, right?
The surgery was more painful than the break.
Okay.
So I still it was
that
my
would
left,
count, I would think.
my left clavicle, and so they had to put in a plate. There's a plate and 6 screws. But the surgery sucked. It was awful, and the recovery after that was a giant pain.
I wonder if you're our most injured cast member.
You'd have to be.
Yeah, because you had surgery on your Achilles too, right?
No, that was a cast. I broke my ankle. I fell down a mountain. I broke
Did
my
you break
busted
your
up
orbital?
face. Busted up my face. I bruised my orbital bone. Wait, this isn't about me, guys.
It's about all of us.
I'm just
And
curious.
by the way, Nick was never once medevaced out, but Casey was for his finger.
Yeah.
I broke both my wrists. I broke another bone in my hand. I've had stitches on my
Wait, we're counting them off.
on my brow. I've had stitches on my arm.
Vasectomy.
Vasectomy.
Emergency vasectomy.
Pilonidal cyst lancing.
MRSA.
Anyone else have appendectomy?
Not yet.
I had that, yeah.
Prostate cancer for me.
Way to go. When you get these stitches out, Casey, that part of it is actually kind of a cool feeling.
I'm going to do it myself, by the way.
All right, then.
Yeah. I don't want to have to pay $25. You see.
Oh, you and my dad would get along wonderfully.
Backwoods.
Well, here's the deal. By the way, a couple of weeks ago, I found out that I say "here's the deal" all the time, and so now whenever I say it, I'm like, "God damn it!"
Did
I
the
do
listener
say it all
bring
the
it to
time.
your attention?
No, my wife
Okay,
did.
all right.
God bless her soul.
You know what I hate about you?
When I had my cat fixed, I took her stitches out. I'm like, if the cat let me take her stitches out, I can take my stitches out.
The cat let you?
Yes.
The cat gave you permission.
Since he was licking the cat's ass clean, he figured, why not?
Hey, listen, this is a female cat who the stitches were on her belly. She let me lay her on her back and take stitches out of her belly. Yes.
Do you remember
she
where you
let
buried
me.
her?
Yes.
All right, I'm going to go to some calls. We're going to start, though, with the tetanus thing.
All right, tetanus.
Because Nicole, actually, a couple of people have this comment, but I'll go to Nicole because she was in first. Hi, Nicole, good morning.
Good morning. You guys rock.
Thank you so much. So Marissa had said that she found out that in order to hold, I guess, or be in company with newborns, you need to have you need to be current with your tetanus vaccination.
So it's actually not the tetanus part, but the vaccine has 3 parts to it. It vaccinates you against tetanus, diphtheria, and pertussis. So pertussis is also whooping cough, which is also RSV, and that's like deadly to infants and newborns.
That makes sense. So it's just a package part of the quote-unquote tetanus shot that you get.
So with each pregnancy, like a mother has to get it to vaccinate the child, but like family and friends just need one within 5 years.
That's why the worst gift you can give a newborn is a bag of rusty nails.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just
that's
it's just
included.
stupid. Yeah.
All right, thank you for clarification, Nicole. Appreciate it.
That makes sense then.
All right, we'll see ya. Let me go to, all right, now we got the injury calls coming in. Let me go to Justin. Hi, Justin. Good morning.
Good morning, it.
Good morning, it. Good morning to see you. What's up, bud?
So Saturday afternoon around 2:28 p.m., my wife was trying to slice onions with her new mandolin slicer.
Oh, my God. Those things scare me, man.
What is a mandolin slicer?
Steve, do you remember the old commercial? It makes fabulous julienne fries, slices and dices. It's essentially like a slate that has a razor on it.
Okay.
And you hold the like your onion, you go like that, and it slices.
It's not an instrument.
That's a mandolin. Yeah. Go ahead, Justin.
Yeah, so she decided she was going to use it without the little hand guard that it comes with.
Yeah.
And she was slicing, and all of a sudden she just sliced, and it like went right through the nail and right through like the side of her finger.
Oh, man.
And she like comes running upstairs, there's like blood squirting everywhere. It was terrible.
You know what? So Justin, I don't mind if I cut I cut my chin with a piece of plastic the other day, and that's fine. I don't mind, catching skin or whatever. Okay, I have the injury. It's fine. The one thing I can't stand is if I catch like a razor on my fingernail. I don't know. For some reason, it's that sensation that really it makes me queasy.
Justin, did she need stitches?
See, the weird part is, like, they didn't stitch it. They just kind of, like, put these things called steri strips on it, and they, like, bandaged it up. And they're like, all right, see you later.
Yeah. What? Steri strips?
Yeah, they're like these little adhesive bandages that, like, become, like, fake skin, I think.
Okay.
I've not heard of them.
Interesting.
But I want to get them because they sound
But
cool.
the worst part is I came home later and I found a piece of the finger in the
Oh, man.
How did it taste?
Oh, jeez. All right.
The mandolin, I got it, yeah.
She was cutting onions.
All right. Thank you, Justin. Appreciate it, man.
Those mandolins give you like kitchen confidence, though. You're like, oh, I can cut it one more time. Oh, yeah, maybe one more time. And you get really, really
No, thank
close
you.
to it. Ooh.
I'd rather use a knife. Let me go. All right, we're going to go up in stitch count, okay?
right.
Bit by bit.
Okay.
We'll go next to Mario. Mario, good morning.
That's a Michelin tire, Model X GV, 75R, 14-inch rim.
Wow. Well done.
Very good.
Identical.
Well done, Mario. All right,
Are
what's
you
up, bud?
sure?
How could you be so sure? All right, so listen up. I've been sliced and diced throughout my life. I've had what some have referred to as a rough paper route, as you will.
Right.
I'm in the trade, so I've had nails and all kinds of stuff go through my hands. My hand got bit up by a table saw, and I had about 70 stitches to put my thumb back on. But what I'm calling about was my dog accidentally bit me in my lip. Like, I set the scene for you. It's Friday. I'm bending over the dog, trying to get I think I feel a tick on her. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So she's on the floor next to the arm of the chair. So I'm bending over, feeling her belly, and I'm like, yo, babe, can you get the tweezers so I can, get this thing off? But she realized that something was going on, so she, like, flailed to get up. And in the process, her tooth, like, slid against my lip because I was bent over.
Just a freak accident.
Yeah, it totally was. She wasn't aggressive at all. And next thing you know, so I have this gash in my lip. I go to I have a beard and a full mustache and everything. Go to the bathroom and realize, damn it, I need to go to the hospital. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I get to the hospital, and the guy's like, all right, so I'm guessing that you want the stitches, but you don't want me to shave your stash. I was like, well, if you could help it, please don't. So he gives me this gauze with lidocaine. He goes, oh, yeah, hold this on your lip. So I hold it on my lip, but all of the lidocaine or whatever is on this piece of gauze is running down my mustache onto my bottom lip, which there is not a problem there. So this dude goes to start putting stitches in. I took 4 stitches in my lip and 1 on the inside of my lip with no numbing whatsoever.
No numbing whatsoever. So what did that feel like?
It was sharp. It was sharp. It made me feel like a man. You know what I mean? I'll tell you what.
Meanwhile, your bottom lip is completely numb, and you can't tell the guy.
Exactly. I felt like Bill Cosby in the
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was a terrible situation, and I would suggest that if anybody gets a injury in and around their facial, their lip area, they have a beard, shave it.
Shave it off. Don't risk it.
Thanks, Mario. I think that sounds similar to with Carter and his lip area. I just think that the lidocaine didn't
work
where it was supposed to, and he felt every bit of it, which was horrible to watch your kid going through that. All right, so that was 4 stitches. Let's go next to, oh, my God. They're
fast and furiously.
Yeah. All right.
We got some contenders here.
Yeah, we'll go to Steven. Hi, Steven. Good morning.
You raise me
Hang on. All right. What's up, Steven?
When I was a teenager, I was working at a summer camp up in North Jersey, and they had me working on a log splitter to make firewood.
Yeah.
And I got a little too confident on that machine, and accidentally took off the tip of my left middle finger.
Oh.
And when I went to the hospital, they gave me 15 stitches to put my finger back together.
15 stitches on your finger. So how is it sliced? Was it?
It was more of a it got squished, right?
Ugh.
Because the backboard of the log splitter that keeps the logs from flying off.
Yeah.
My finger got stuck between a log and that. It was more of like a dull rip than it was a slice.
Dude.
Yeah.
That's freaking
So
horrible.
was it? Now I hate it. I hate when people say this, but was it just hanging on? Was it hanging on by skin, and that was it?
It was not hanging on. It was in the log splitter. And when I took my hand away, I thought I just pinched my finger.
Mm-hmm.
But then when I looked at my hand, I saw like a solid inch of my bone.
Oh my God! You were like Wolverine.
Oh my God! I can't even. No. That's when you have lost me all the way. Is when bone is visible.
Yeah.
Forget
You're
it,
on
man.
your own.
Yeah.
It was not fun. Hey guys, have a great flight.
Thank you, Steve. Appreciate it. All right, let's see. Next, we'll go to Mike and see what kind of story he's got. Hi, Mike.
Hey, big brown Guatemalan nipples.
Getting sucked on by all sorts of pipples.
Hi, Mike.
All right, Mike. What's up, buddy?
So I've been ironworking for about 30 years, and one Monday morning I was training an apprentice, showing him how to tack steel. So I said, I'm going to hold this piece of steel, and I need you to tack it on the top and the bottom. And he was a young kid. He was excited to start. And so he took the MIG gun, and he shot the MIG wire through my glove, through my finger, and it arced. And it caused a mini explosion in my hand.
Oh my God!
What? So how did this happen again? So the wire went through your hand, and was it active?
Yes, and it arced, and when it went through my hand, it hit the steel and arced.
Oh.
So, better yet, he pulled it back, and then he shot me again with it.
Come on! You're fired!
So he hit me twice with it.
Oh, my God.
You are so fired!
All right, when it arced, we're talking about an electric shock, Mike?
Yeah, oh yeah, and it was the most painful thing I've ever. I had broken ribs, and it didn't even compare to that.
So what happens? Did you pass out from the pain?
No. So I stepped back, and I was such in shock. I was like walking in circles, going, "Why did you do that?
Why did you do
that?" That's what I kept on saying to him. Why did you do that to me?
I want ice cream.
So I my foreman ran over, and he's like, "Mike, let me look at your hand." And he's like, "Yeah, you're going to have to go to the hospital."
Oh, my God.
Why don't we take a 5-minute break? Not only did he cause an explosion in my hand, the MIG wire broke off inside of it.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to have emergency surgery right away.
Okay.
So I went to work Monday and didn't come home till like Thursday night.
How many stitches did you end up with?
I had 37 stitches on the bottom, and on the top I had 16.
So okay, so you were all Frankensteined up.
Oh, it was like the gnarliest thing. Like the meat was just hanging. I sent Nick pictures.
Oh yeah.
Oh, can't wait.
You can see the meat hanging out of it.
Oh yeah.
I'll forward it to the whole staff.
Mike, question. Did you get full motion and feeling back in your hand after all the surgery and everything?
It took 3 months for me to get feeling back in my fingers.
Wow.
But thank God you got it back.
Yeah.
Especially if that was your pleasuring hand.
And like I said, I wasn't mad. I was just in shock, and the only thing that could come out of my mouth is, "Why would you do that?
Why would you do that? All right, thank you, Mike. Appreciate it. That's hand injuries. There are people that specialize in just the hand alone because it's so complex and so important to what we do.
Yes.
That it can be really, a hand injury can be really detrimental to an individual. All right, so he had like 37 some odd stitches.
Right.
All right, we'll go next to Tim. Hi, Tim. Good morning.
Good morning,
Good morning to see you. What's up, bud?
So I was 10, 11, 12 years old at my grandmother's house, and you can go through the laundry room right into the garage. So I see the garage door open. I look out, and I see the cat walking through the garage. So I go out to get the cat to bring the cat back in. So young, not realizing the cat's in stalking mode. I come up behind the cat and reach down to grab it. And Steve, I'm sure you understand how agile cats are.
Yes.
He sprung backwards and turned around and latched onto my face.
Oh my God.
Didn't even see it coming. Over 100 stitches.
Whoa.
Above my eyebrow, the crease below your eye, like where the bags are, between my eyes and across my nose.
Oh my
100. So cat claws, when they embed, can wreak all sorts of damage. So, but this sounds like the cat was slicing and dicing.
Yeah, he went nuts.
Dear God, and they are the kittens, especially.
Yeah.
Their claws are so
Little
sharp.
razors.
So, how bad is the scarring after that, Tim?
I still have it.
Sure, 100 stitches on your face, most definitely.
Did they ever remove the cat? Or is it still there? It's still there.
It took a couple surgeries to remove the cat.
100.
Wow.
Man, dude. So how are they cool Indiana Jones scars, or are they? What does it look like?
I mean, at this point, I'm 57 now, so at this point, it's kind of grown over. But if I part my eyebrow the right way, you can see the scar all the way through.
Wow,
Tim. So you were a kid at the time?
Yeah.
And how long did the cat remain in the family? And
we kept the cat. I mean,
Okay.
It was an older cat, so it was my grandmother's. But I mean, we understood what happened. It was.
Yeah.
What it was.
We're gonna wait till
freaked
Grandma
the cat
dies.
oh, that's horrible.
It was like he was like the cat was Fredo.
All right, thanks, Tim. Appreciate it, man. We'll see you. By the way, one of my new favorite type of social media videos to watch is like a series of cats. One of them one of them will be startled and freak out, and then next thing, all
of them,
hell breaks loose, and everything in the room gets destroyed from a freaking out cat.
There's a great one, I think, at one of America's Funniest Home Videos. It's just a guy working from home, and he has his Zoom camera on, and the cat jumps up onto the counter, knocks over a pot, and then begins a wave of destruction. That is astonishing.
All right, this looks like the top number of stitches, so we're going to go to Joe. Hi, Joe. Good morning.
Good morning, guys. How are you?
Good. What's up, buddy?
Well, the mandolin experience, that brought up some bad memories, but this is the worst one I've had. I was in 8th grade. I was getting in the shower, and I slipped, and my right knee caught the edge of the tub spout, and my knee opened up like a sieve. It just wound up just spreading wide open. My bones were hanging out.
Oh my God!
It was bad.
And you were naked. You were naked and a child, dude.
Luckily for me, I had my
Look at you always looking at the positives.
I was turning the water on, so luckily for me, I had my tidy whities on.
Okay, thank God.
So I had 147 stitches.
Oh my God! 147 stitches.
And the reason it was so high was the first time I had it, through the surgery, the sutures or stitches weren't closing correctly, so I had to get them taken out and re-put back in.
Oh my God!
So that's why it was so high.
So was it Joe directly on your knee?
It was for the main cut. The main split was directly on my knee. But
Yes.
I guess after that happened, it kind of exploded. And I was about an eighth of an inch away from losing all mobility in my leg. I still have this. I still have the X-ray somewhere at my mother's house, but I cannot find it. But yeah, it took me 6 months to start walking again because I had a cast on my leg.
6 months from slipping. So that's why the like mats or those rubber things at the bottom of a shower are so critical.
140 stitches.
We had one of those. We had one. All I remember after that is my brother carrying me. Luckily, we lived right on a corner from a hospital. He put me in his car. He said, "Nope, no, I'm not putting you in my car because you're bleeding too bad." He actually carried me to the hospital.
Wow.
Yeah, because he didn't want. He'd rather carried me than put me in his
car.
Get it all over his car. Wow, 147 stitches. And all he did was get out of the shower.
I know.
That was it. And oh my God. So what? I'm sorry. What did you catch it on? By the way, Joe.
The very front lip of the tub spout. The little. The water comes out. The tub spout has this little. It's was a freak accident. I don't still to this day. I just got out of the shower.
That's crazy.
In the shower, and it just slipped and went right into the tub spout, and it just opened up like a grenade went off of my knee.
Dude, that's why. What is it? The shower is what in the top three most.
Is it?
Oh, injuries, home injuries,
home injuries.
Yeah. Chad had an interesting situation. Let me go to him. Hey, Chad. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
What's up, buddy?
My father owned butcher shops across the East Coast.
Yep.
And I was cutting meat in the back. Deboning, when you debone, you're not supposed to pull the knife towards you.
Okay.
Well, a lady had to use the restrooms. We didn't have public restrooms in the butcher shop, so my dad let her come around the back. She slipped on a pallet that I was standing on. I stabbed myself in the belly. I spun around, and when I spun around, she grabbed the knife, and it went from about 5 inches above my belly button down into my belly button.
So she basically slit you.
Well, she slipped and
Slit.
when she grabbed, like I said, I was deboning, bringing the knife towards my stomach, which you're not supposed to do. And when she slipped, the first thing she grabbed was my hand, and with the hand that had the knife in it, and it just pulled it down my belly, down into my belly button.
Did you actually split your belly button?
Yeah.
Golly God!
Did it go deep enough to get near your organs?
No, I had 109 stitches. I had most of them were on the inside, almost like Steve said. They stitched on the inside, and then they glued a little, and then it was deep enough where they had to stitch the outside.
Man,
and
you could have died.
When I pulled the knife out, I bled like a stuck pig.
Which was actually on the menu that day.
Stuck pig. That's crazy. How long ago was this, Chad?
20 years.
Wow.
What does it look like now? Is everything pretty much invisible or gone?
No, it's pretty visible. It wasn't a straight cut down. It was more like I don't know. It looked like the wound looks like a zipper.
Wow, and that's a good enough one where you don't need to make up some badass story about how you got those stitches. That's a knife wound, dude.
I just got bitched at by my dad for pulling the knife towards me when you're deboning the meat.
Thanks, Dad.
Yeah.
Well, look, you got a belly button and a vagina.
Yeah.
All right, thanks, Chad. Appreciate it, man.
Have a good day, guys.
Wow,
Jesus.
That's crazy. That's nuts. Man.
So it's you're in that club now.
I think about that when using knives and especially when walking a distance with a big kitchen knife, and I use them daily, about it would just take one little slip, one little fall, one little thing, and could not only hurt you, it could kill you if it went in the wrong spot.
But what happens in some of these cases is that you're doing something that you've done before, and so you get a little cavalier about it, and so that's what happens.
Yeah, I was, and I get nervous when using box cutters in particular, which is where Casey cut himself. I was yesterday cutting up some cardboard to go into the recycling bin just so it would fit. And as I'm doing this, it was kind of a bit of a struggle. I had to really work to cut through it. And I'm like, man, if I just move the wrong way because I was coming downward, I'm like, I slice open my leg,
Cut up an artery.
Yeah.
That's why I'm so mad at myself. I was so dumb. I know better. I know better, but I didn't. I cut the wrong way because I didn't want to scratch my bike.
Yeah. But it was an accident.
It wasn't.
Yeah. But now you're in the Stitches Club.
Yay!
Yay! 2 of them. Two stitches.
Yeah. It was almost 3.
Are you gonna?
Oh, yeah. That would have been better.
Do you think you'll start going and talking to survivors?
They asked me to.
Yeah.
And I think I probably should. I just want to keep the hope.
Keep the hope, yes. Hope springs
Give
eternal.
people hope.
Look at you. You've regained the use of your finger, and you're back to work.
Yeah, how about that?
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Steve, the word hero.
It's thrown around a lot.
It's thrown around a lot, but
Never
sometimes
more appropriately than now.
it really does qualify. So, all right, well, thank you for sharing.
Yeah.
You'll be careful. It's a learning experience.
It is a learning
Yeah.
experience, and hopefully some other people can learn from my mistakes.
And to those who hate hearing about things like this, we apologize, but we definitely had to talk about Casey's story. But that's
Hey, can people sign your finger at the Billy Flop?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Come out on Thursday. Sign Casey's finger.
Sign my Band-Aid.
Sign his Band-Aid. Make sure you get there early so there's enough room.
Space is limited.
For you to sign his Band-Aid. And we'll be at Valley Beach Resort on Thursday for the Preston Steve Belly Flop Championship. All right, we're going to break. We're going to come back in a second. I got some great Bizarre File stories that we will share with you when we return. Stay there.
Preston and Steve on 93.3 WMM.
But anyway, she couldn't taste anything, and then it just came back around one
I
day.
mean, what's weird here, and not to sound too alarming here, but there is something cerebral going on there, which is a little bit scary, don't you think?
So I heard a doctor talk about it and why, and it all stems from the nose and the blood vessels that are in the nose.
The nose.
And again, I just watched a quick video, so hopefully that's accurate. But that's what he was saying, and my sense of smell, I think I have a little bit of it. I would say maybe 25%. If I stick my nose in something, I might be able to identify.
Well, they go hand in hand.
Yeah.
I mean, so your olfactory senses inform your taste to some degree. I don't know what the percentage is.
Hey, if you were going to lick someone's ass, now is the time to do it.
No,
This is the time to do it.
We can give away mixed martial arts tickets.
Yeah. All right, so what we've decided to do, and actually it was Kathy's idea, we're going to do a taste test this morning of some various things and see if she can identify. Now, they have various consistencies to them, so that might be a clue into what you might be tasting. But nonetheless, we want to see if you can identify. And some of these things are very strong flavors. You know, we're not throwing anything.
All right.
You're not going to taste anything effed up. We're not
like
doing
toilet water.
Yeah, we're not doing
But
that.
you wouldn't
It's
know
all
what that tastes
legit.
like anyway.
It's all edible, and
Or
you'll
like,
be fine.
Is there a
foot
chance?
shavings?
Yeah,
None
foot
of
shavings.
that.
No,
Nothing
is there a
gross.
chance that this might, because of the wide variety to her palate, is it possible this might kickstart your taste back up? Possibly.
Listen, I also read a lot about that. People trying to do that using like pepper, and there was another thing where if you like burn an
burnt orange.
peel. Yeah,
Carter told me about it yesterday. He's like, "Ooh, there's this thing," and I saw it, and I was like, "Really?" And he goes, "He goes, hang on." He looks at me, and goes, "Oh, it's not real. Never mind."
Not real.
Yeah, so-
Like people were trying it, but there's no scientific evidence that it works.
All right,
hang on. Let me go to Steve real quick. Steve lost his taste. Hey, Steve, how you doing?
Hey, how you guys doing?
All right, buddy. So, did you have Corona?
Yes, last year.
Okay, and how long has it been since you've been able to taste anything?
Over 400 days.
400 days.
Now, Steve, let me ask you a question because you're not necessarily eating for taste anymore. Have you lost?
I am anger eating.
Yeah,
anger eating.
All right, so have you lost any weight as a result, or nothing's changed?
You know what? Everybody says, "Oh, you must have lost so much weight." I lost some in the beginning. In the beginning, I lost a lot. But I have, as time goes on, I'm just anger eating. I'll buy Reese's cups and I'll be like, damn it, I'm going to taste these Reese's cups. And
Steve,
I don't.
Steve, do you feel, and you're like constantly searching for it, right? Like you constantly, you're like, okay, let me try this. Maybe there'll be a little bit there.
Yeah. And the only thing is I have had twinges of, like if somebody has like a lemon cookie or a lemon cupcake, I might get like the taste of lemon with the first bite, and then everything, and it's gone. Like there's just nothing.
Steve, so this would not affect though your hunger, right? Hunger is.
Oh no, of course not.
Yeah,
of course not.
Yeah,
that's the best part of the whole thing.
Yeah.
You still have to eat. You just have no joy in any of it. I always say it's like Captain Barbossa in Pirates of the Caribbean. They just want to watch Keira Knightley eat because they have no joy.
Right. They can't experience. Well, but look. I mean, statistically, it you should get a return, but there's no guarantee it's going to be anytime soon. But man, my heart goes out to you.
I've tried the other things. Like my wife has been getting me to try this smell therapy where you smell coffee grinds, you smell oranges, you smell.
But they say that takes like years to actually kick in and work because it's supposed to be like based on your memory.
Yeah, it's really weird. And then I eat things because I like pizza. I know what pizza tastes like,
right?
So I eat it. But like now I'm more concerned with like texture. So I'll eat things that like I always want nachos because nachos have crunch, they have sauce, they have But December 9th, 2020 was my my last day.
All right,
Steve,
man.
were you vaccinated?
Yeah, and boosted.
Okay.
Yeah, but that was all after.
I know there's connections to any of this stuff. All right.
Yeah.
Dude, I feel for you. Hang in there. Hopefully it'll come back around.
Preston, what about you, man?
If I
What
lost
about
my
you?
sense of taste,
forget it.
I would be so upset.
It's so weird.
I find so much joy in eating. But I mean, I guess you wouldn't you switch to a healthier eating habit if you don't
like I'm
care?
pretty healthy. You're pretty healthy too. So it's not like you're going crazy.
Right. But like,
so
why
I
eat
eat
ice
very
cream?
healthy. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
The little,
Because of the texture.
little treats.
Yeah, but it's the texture. Like Steve said, you're constantly searching for something. So like, you could sit there and eat healthy, but it's like you like. So for me, melted cheese, that texture.
Does that give you pleasure?
Yes.
Okay.
So
right now, that's like, because I can't taste anything.
Like zero sugar ice cream. And
Yeah,
stuff like
can't you
that,
find something that like is
approximate it?
That approximates the texture and that is not
putty
loaded with.
Case you could.
Yeah.
Those are great putty.
Amy said she did the orange chicken at work.
All right.
Oh, well, if this is the case, then
Let's
we
hear
need
it.
to do this after the contest.
We'll try.
Get an orange.
I would love to go to these calls, but listen, I want to go through this and see if she can identify these things or not. So let's give this a try. We're going to be drinking things, by the way. We're not going to be eating.
Oh my God, she's lost her sense of balance.
She can't stand up. You okay?
Tripped over her own headphones.
I had to move, and I tripped over my headphones.
Okay.
Oh,
So we have all grabbed some things from our cabinets and refrigerators and brought them in. And, oh, yeah, I have the sheet here. Don't look over here.
Yeah, don't look.
She's not wearing her glasses.
No, she's getting blindfolded. She's blind and no taste.
And, Marissa, are we putting the mask on her or no?
We're putting the because
it covers up her nose.
Exactly.
So we have a
But
full.
I do want to try to smell it afterwards if I
mask.
can't taste it.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, we'll figure this out.
This is a legitimate. Should we be wearing goggles and lab coats?
So here's what we'll do. Marissa has put all these in numbered cups, little shot glasses, and Kathy's going to sip it, and we'll just have her guess. And I've got the list here, and then I'll reveal what it is, and we'll see if she gets anywhere near it.
Okay. The password is.
Yeah.
So do you want me to put these goggles on?
Do you want to eliminate the smell as well fully?
I mean, listen, I can sip it. If you hand me, I can sip it without smelling it.
All right.
Because I want to see if my sense of smell is there or not afterwards.
All right, let's leave him off as long as it doesn't tip you off. So, Marissa, give her number one. We'll start with us. We can go in order. This is a good
Marissa, I don't know where you are.
order that we have, and she'll up.
Okay.
She'll up. She'll put it in your hand. Okay.
Oh, man,
Careful.
I can smell it. Do you know where your mouth is?
Shut up. All right, are you guys ready?
Yeah, take a sip.
Don't smell.
And see
I'm
what
not
you
going
think.
to smell.
You can shoot the whole thing.
Don't smell.
Probably don't drink the whole thing. You need to save some room. Okay, so you getting any sensation?
Something. It's like, yeah, it's not water.
Okay, not water.
It's I want to say like a I want to say sauce, but it's not that thick, so
Okay.
it's not a sauce. But that's what I'm getting. Like I would something like a pasta sauce or something.
Pasta sauce. So she's guessing pasta sauce.
Okay. And what is it, Preston?
It's a sauce.
Wait. Let me smell it. Hold on.
Okay.
She just spilled it on her sweater. She just spilled it on the carpet.
Mackle farts.
You picked the wrong one to spill, too.
Yeah, you did. That's going to stain.
All right. Get her sweater quickly. Kathy, take your top off quickly.
I'm sorry.
No. It's not your fault. You're legitimately handicapped.
I have to touch your boob.
Marissa, let me clean her.
By the way, go on YouTube now if you ever wanted to see Marissa feel up Kathy.
Oh, my God, dude. Now go a little slowly.
I almost have it out. There you go.
Oh, my
All right,
God.
thanks.
Preston, can you smell it on that side of the console?
No, not from where I'm sitting now.
Because I absolutely can, and the smell is very distinct.
Can I guess now? 'Cause
Yeah,
I
what
can
is it?
smell Is it hot sauce?
No, it is not. Kathy, that is soy sauce.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so that's way off. Not
Yeah.
even clear.
And by the way, she took a sip. Like most people would go, "Whoa!"
Yeah, it's soy sauce is very strong. It's very, very salty.
All right, wait.
And you could only handle a little bit of that straight, but she shot quite a bit of it. Yes.
All right, I can't see, so I don't want to spill it again. Marissa, where's my water? A little bit. All right, here we go.
Oh my God!
I need a piece of water.
Helen Keller had it
Okay.
together.
Let's go with number two. Don't spill this one either.
You can do it.
There's the microphone is right in front of you, so don't hit it. All right.
Don't tip it or tilt it.
Take a sip of this and see what you think. All right. So, by the way, Kathy's lost her sense of taste. Let's see. We're testing this out on her, and if you're just tuning in, that's what we're doing.
All right.
A little thicker, isn't it?
Thicker and sweet.
Okay.
Oh, so sweet you could determine.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I honestly don't know what it is. I know it's sweet, and by the texture, I'm going to say maybe like you put it. What the hell is it called?
Jig Jill?
The chocolate that you put on ice cream, like a
Hershey's?
Like
Yeah.
a chocolate syrup?
yeah, like a chocolate syrup.
She got it right. Kathy, lucky you that one of the things you can taste is chocolate syrup.
Honestly, if you're going to lose anything, and keep one thing, keep your ability to taste chocolate.
Did the texture help with that?
Yeah, I think. Well, that's why I think I was able to get
Oh,
it.
but you definitely picked up on sweet. And you know why you probably could? Because you just had really, really salty before that.
Right before it.
Okay, let's go with number three and try this one out. A shot of this one. Yep.
Jinx.
All right. We'll sip of this one. Oh, wow.
Oh.
like this one.
Strong reaction from this.
Oh, what the hell is that?
Wow, so a big reaction,
Like it, yeah, it definitely triggered something.
like prom night.
No, like some sort of taste buds in my mouth, but I have no idea.
Just describe. So
What it
so
is.
sweet,
Wow.
savory. What is the reaction?
No, like Vinegar, maybe.
She's right. Yeah.
But here's the thing.
It doesn't taste like vinegar?
No, it's the guess is the way it made me feel.
You probably got a little tangy, sensation like you would on your tongue, like mouth watering a little bit from.
Yeah, absolutely. But here's the thing: I'm smelling it, and I can't smell it either.
It was white wine vinegar.
But I could. Where's that? Is the hot sauce still? I mean, the FUD, the
chocolate sauce.
The FUD.
What about? I think she was going to say fudge.
Like
FUD.
So that I can smell. I can smell the hot sauce, but I can't smell that vinegar.
That's not hot sauce. That's chocolate sauce.
Sorry, chocolate sauce.
That's
Dear
what you would
God.
put on a chocolate FUD sundae.
Let's do the next one. We got to move through these. All right. So number 4, Marissa, if you would please. So she's gotten 2 out of 3 so far.
That's not
But
bad.
it was kind of guessing.
Well,
and not going, yeah, that is this.
You're right. It's a combination of cues that are helping her get to the answer.
All right, Kathy. This is another one.
All right.
This one's kind of thick too.
Pondering.
I don't want any more of it, whatever it is.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds about right.
Does it?
Yeah.
I think so.
You know.
Okay, I have no idea what it is.
Do you ever watch Dr. Pimple Popper? No.
Oh my God! Stop it, Steve! Don't do that to me. Can I smell it?
Yeah.
Try it that
Yeah.
way?
Okay. So you don't have a guess.
Oh, no,
But
I-
smelling it?
No smell.
Nothing?
Nothing.
Okay. It's ranch dressing.
Oh.
Yeah, that's Hidden Valley ranch dressing. The goat of ranch dressing.
Yeah.
And by the way, you guys know my sense of smell and taste. Like
Incredibly acute.
normally, I would have
Yep.
been. I could do this in 2 seconds. All of it.
You were able to discern between water.
Yeah.
Types of
Different
water.
water.
Yeah.
Seriously.
All right, next sample. This is
All
number
right.
5. Go ahead whenever you're ready. And this one this is very identifiable.
Okay, there's a little sweetness to this again.
Okay.
Maybe like I want to say a juice.
A juice.
Like apple juice?
Like apple juice.
She got it right.
Well, you might.
And here's the thing: I'm smelling it too. I can smell the apple juice. I mean, is it safe to say that I can the sweet stuff?
You're
can
picking up
taste
on
a
the
little
sweet
bit.
You're
more
rocking
so
the sweet.
than
Yeah.
anything else. Yes. And you know what? A text came in that says sweet is the last taste to be lost even with aging. Like that's the one that we hang on to the most.
Okay.
Don't know if there's any validity to that or not.
Well,
but
this has nothing to do with aging.
That's
This
why
is
old people
only-
love pudding.
Yeah. All right, here's the next one. This is mystery drink number 6.
Mystery drink number 6.
She's
Oh.
grimacing.
I know this one.
What is it?
I can taste it. Is it pickle juice?
You got it.
Kathy, so that is not sweet, unless it is sweet pickles.
No, I don't know.
And you don't like pickles, do you?
No, I love pickles.
All right,
Oh, well, good for you.
So,
See, we're finding things that you'll be able to eat and
Yeah, yeah.
taste. That's
Kathy,
great.
that's awesome.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah,
chocolate
yeah.
and pickles.
We're curing her. You're pregnant. No, we're Preston. You're legitimately curing her.
We're getting somewhere.
We should
Listen,
set up an institute.
if you've had the taste issue, you should do this type of thing at home as well. You might find 1 or 2 things that stands out.
By the way, Kathy, though you can't see it, I'm wearing protective goggles.
Hey,
I had to take mine off.
you know what? And also the caller that we had earlier, though, Kathy had said that he could taste lemon for a moment.
Yes.
And then as he continued to eat, it would go away. So this is something you'll have to test with.
Why don't you forget the moose?
Oh, for a moment.
For a moment.
I got it.
Yeah, that
with
happened.
pickles.
That happened to my mom. She lost her taste for a really long time, and the same thing. She said it came back. She would eat, and she'd get it at the beginning of the meal, and then by like mid-meal, she couldn't taste anything.
Here's
so
the
eat quickly.
Here's the next one for you. Let's try this. This is number 7. We have 15 of these, by the way.
All right.
To the bizarre file, I would like to acknowledge something which is very exciting. We are thrilled to announce that our radio brother is now joining us in the hallowed halls of the National Radio Hall of Fame. John DeBella is being inducted into the National Radio Hall of Fame. Very exciting stuff. We got in 2021, and it's a huge honor, and John certainly deserves it. He deserved to get in there before we did, for sure.
Yeah, it's kind of a mistake, but that's okay. They're apparently going to put all of his award stuff in the wing that's devoted to us, Preston.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think that's fitting,
I
seeing
think,
that
and
we've
it's an
known
honor.
John for several years.
No, yeah, John has been a legend for forever, and with this, dovetailing with his his retirement
And the Walk of Fame in
and all that
Philadelphia.
stuff.
Yep.
Yeah, but the recognition is finally here.
Yep. So he and I were texting yesterday briefly, and that's awesome. So good for him. I'm sure they'll do the induction ceremonies, in the same place we did in Chicago.
It was really cool. It's one of those things where you're like, really? Oh, it's okay. And then but then when you're there and you're in your tuxedo and you're giving your speech and you're there surrounded by industry peers, people that you've looked up to for quite a while, and they're complimentary to you. It's almost otherworldly.
Yeah, holding that award.
Yeah,
is pretty cool.
It is, and it's by the way, it's probably the heaviest award.
Yeah,
I think we've gotten. Right, we've gotten a few.
Definitely the heaviest I've ever felt. So, congratulations, Sean. I'm very, very proud of you, and we are honored to be in the National Radio Hall of Fame next to you. Our pictures will probably be fairly close
right
to
next to each
It's only
other.
been a couple of years. So.
Yeah.
All right, congrats, John. That's awesome.
Where are our wax figures going? That's the question.
Yeah, that's a good question. All right, let's do the Bizarre File. Here we go.
WMMR presents Preston and Steve's Bizarre File.
Have some interesting stories for you. We'll start with a pretty messed up one. Lake Lanier has claimed yet another life in Georgia, only this time the mode of death is one that seems to be able to be explained because this guy was shocked to his demise. 24-year-old Thomas Milner.
This is crazy.
Was killed on Thursday after he reportedly jumped into the water from his nearby family dock only to start screaming moments later and calling for help. Apparently, he was being electrocuted from within the lake itself. Reports say that the family and friends tried pulling him out, but were unsuccessful. It seems a neighbor had to actually drive over to his location with their own boat, only for someone in that boat to finally jump in and attempt to bring him to shore. That person, who hasn't been identified, reportedly told authorities they started feeling a burning sensation as soon as they got into the water, which they assumed was electricity. According to one local outlet, the diver actually got out of the water briefly, turned off a power box that was adjacent to the dock, and then went back in to get Milner, at which point they were able to pull him out. Unfortunately, it was too late for everyone involved. They tried life-saving measures, but Milner later died at a hospital.
So was the power box, in fact, the cause of that?
That's what they're saying. Yeah.
Okay.
There's no official word why. There's no official word why the water had electric currents in it, but believe it or not, it's something that Lake Lanier officials have actually warned the public about over the years, citing the risk of electric shock drowning. Some say faulty outlets can cause this. Officials have actually told people to swim in Lake Lanier at their own risk as of late, and this body of water has caused upwards of 700 deaths dating back to the 1950s.
Well, F that.
Wow, that's a freak accident.
Usually when you have something like that, the power will shut off if there's some sort of exposure to water.
Yeah. All right, here's another aquatic story for you. A manatee who died in a Florida aquarium this year sustained fatal injuries caused by sex with his brother.
Wow, man.
Hugh, who was 38 years old, died unexpectedly at the Mote Marine Laboratory and Aquarium in Sarasota, which this week shed more light on the animal's passing, saying the injury was most likely the result of sex with his brother, Buffett. Moore insisted that Hughes...
you can't be with the one you love.
Mote insisted that Hughes' handlers never believed that he was in any danger. The aquarium said in a statement on the day of Hughes' passing, Hugh and Buffett engaged in natural yet increased mating behavior observed and documented in manatees, both in managed care and in the wild. This was the first time such heightened mating behavior was witnessed between the two manatees.
And it was so vigorous that one died?
Yeah, in a necropsy performed by the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission, they found that the fatal wound was a 14.5 centimeter long tear in the ventral wall of his colon.
Wow, man.
And that's what happened. The aquarium said that Hugh and Buffett were both observed initiating and mutually seeking interactions from each other throughout the day, and there were no obvious signs of discomfort or distress, such as listing, crunching, or active avoidance that would have triggered a need for intervention.
Yeah, it's tragic, but you're a champ, bro.
Keepers didn't try to physically separate the manatees during sex, fearing that would do more harm. Following the direction of veterinarians, distraction rather than physical separation was chosen because separation has previously caused undue anxiety and negative effects in both manatees. And in an effort to redirect the manatees' attention and decrease undesirable behaviors, animal care staff used positive reinforcement tools such as high-value rewards and enrichment that had previously been successful.
What kind of rewards? Did they mention?
They didn't mention. So I would imagine food of some type. So sex between male manatees, even brothers, is far from uncommon. According to a specialist, they said they're not too meticulous about who their partners are. They just have this kind of sexual urge, and then they'll engage in activity with whomever seems to be in the area. And if that's a female, great. But
so a quick question is, looking at a manatee, where do their genitals present?
But if there aren't enough females around, or there are only males around, they may express that sexual behavior on whatever individual may be in the vicinity.
What do you say?
And as generally solitary beings, manatees don't have a strong sense of familial structure, leading to the encounter between brothers Hugh and Buffett. I did not know
that's wild
that manatees roll like that. Yeah, just whoever's around, they're up for it. Wow.
Don't fight the feeling.
All right, this is a pretty messed up story. A security guard at a nightclub was killed after brutally being beaten by a large mob in Hollywood early Sunday morning. Officers responded to the Dragonfly Hollywood nightclub around 2 a.m. on reports of a group of 10 people attacking one person. The victim was working, and a large group, for unknown reasons, confronted the security guard, causing him to fall into the street, at which point in time the group advanced and kicked and stomped him to death.
And they don't know what caused this to happen?
As of now, no.
That's brutal.
Police are still investigating whether the fight began inside the club and spilled out onto the street, or if it began outside entirely. Video from the scene captured first responders attempting life-saving measures on the security guard, only identified as a male in his 30s, as he was lying on the street.
See, a manatee was seen leaving the scene.
The club was still open and full of patrons at the time of the security guard's death. It was hosting its weekly signature Saturdays event with Detroit rapper T. Grizzly headlining the festivities. No arrests have been made, and no suspect descriptions have been released either.
It's a mob murder.
All right, we need a lighter story.
Yes.
And I love this one. A British Columbia real estate agent has been fined $20,000 after being caught on camera drinking milk straight out of the jug at a home that he was showing.
Aww.
Mike Rose was alone in the home in July last year as he waited for his clients who were interested in buying the property. Rose went into the refrigerator to find water, but instead swigged some milk straight from the container, which he then put back in the refrigerator.
It's horrific.
The consent order, agreed by both the superintendent of the real estate.
By the way, I loved your fleshlight.
And Rose says that the owners of the new home saw him drinking the milk when they reviewed footage from a surveillance camera.
At least use a glass.
And then confronted him about it 2 days later. Rose, who apologized for his actions, was told that he wasn't welcome in the home and that his clients replaced him in their purchase of the property. He says in the order that his behavior was out of character and he was unusually dehydrated at the time because of a new medication, as well as being under considerable stress.
Oh, so he was also high.
Rose, who is now working at a different brokerage, agreed to pay a disciplinary penalty of $20,000 to the authority for conduct unbecoming.
Well, let's see what's in the fridge.
And $2,500 in enforcement expenses as well.
And this is the bedroom, and this is last night's turkey.
Wow. And there you go. That is what I have in the bizarre file.
That's a ballsy maneuver.
It is, big time. All right, let's take a break. Come back in a moment and remind you today's Tattoosday. So if you want to win a Preston and Steve Show themed tattoo, join the collective of people over the years, the hundreds,
yes,
who have a Preston and Steve Show tattoo. Text word tattoo to 39333, and you might win from our friends at Floating World Tattoo and Piercing on South Street. Be back in a moment. Hang out.
Preston and Steve.
I'm not like a huge fan. I think it might be on the sweeter side, but it's not as sweet as that chocolate sauce.
Okay.
Like a pudding?
Pudding. No, it is not a pudding.
Let me smell it. Hold on.
Okay.
What kind of pudding are you drinking?
Puddings.
I smell something, but I can't. I would say pudding again.
No, it is maple syrup.
Which would be something very sweet.
Mrs. Butterworth's.
Not like pudding.
No.
Is it Miss or Mrs.? She married?
I think it's Mrs. Butterworth.
Yeah.
All right. Good.
She's
spoken for.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
Mr. Butterworth is an accountant.
Here's the next one. This is number 8. We're at the pretty much the halfway point now. Let's see if you can identify this. No reaction facially. I thought for sure I would see a facial reaction from this one.
Well, I mean, you should.
I'm going in again.
All right, this
drink
is
all of it.
It's a popular paint remover.
She shouldn't be able to say, I'm going to go again on this. No, I don't think so. Wow.
What do you think?
Wow.
I like it.
Okay.
I don't know.
Don't know.
Can we look?
Preston, so we don't know. Preston has the answers.
All right, she doesn't know, so you can take a sniff and now guess after smelling it. What is it?
Is it lemon?
It is lemon juice. It's
Yeah.
straight up lemon juice. Normally, if one is drinking straight squeezed lemon juice, you'd be puckering up and going,
Kathy, you didn't do any of that.
Not even a win.
So that Preston.
So she got that wrong. She could smell it, but she couldn't taste it.
That raises the question. That reflex.
Yes.
What causes that reflex?
It's a good question.
Well, let me ask. I'm going to show you guys. I'm going to try something. We're going to do a scientific experiment here. I'm going to drink this lemon juice, but I'm going to hold my nose.
Now, we've never met.
We've
right?
never. Well, we have met many times.
All right.
Many times. But I'm going to hold my nose so that way the smell part does it.
That's the way to do it.
It's still sour.
Like you made the face?
But your taste is intact.
Yeah. But I wasn't sure if like any of that stuff was...
Kathy drank it, and there was no puckering, no pursing whatsoever.
Like, even with her drinking that, and I knowing what it is, caused my mouth to salivate a little bit.
Yes.
Because that's what I'm
a little engorged.
Your mouth will do. Well, that's great. All right, so here's... Okay, this will be interesting.
Oh, boy.
This is our only solid of the day.
Oh, God.
All right, Kathy, go ahead.
So wait, do I have to like...
Yeah, just stick your tongue in there.
Yeah.
Stick your tongue in there.
Stick it in.
Stick it deep in there.
Ew. What? I don't like that.
I'll give you a hint. It's not sand.
Yeah, like that. It's gristly.
Yeah.
Move your tongue around.
I have no friggin' idea.
No idea. Smell it.
I feel like it's probably a spice or something, but I have no idea.
But it should be very recognizable by taste, no question. Nothing when you smell it?
I'm trying.
She's not getting it. And she's inhaling deeply.
You would know this in a
It's
heartbeat.
Cinnamon.
Oh,
It's just
God.
straight up cinnamon.
No.
Yeah, nothing. Even after you know, you don't recognize it.
Not that one.
Okay.
The more you know.
If you're tuning in, Kathy lost her taste, and we're testing her on that. Let's do number 10, if you will, please. And we're back to liquids now.
Okay.
Let's have a little sipperoni and see what you get from that.
Is it alcohol?
Like rubbing alcohol, yeah.
No. That's all I
She's
get.
saying
It doesn't
alcohol.
taste anything, but I feel like maybe is
Like
it
vodka?
Like a vodka or something like that.
Do you get a burn from it, or
Yeah, like a little burn.
Down your throat?
Yeah.
Okay, then that's why, because it's alcohol. It's vodka. She can taste that it's alcohol, and I get that, because outside of the taste in your mouth, once it goes down your throat, you get this warmness, this heat.
Right.
So,
Marissa, can I taste that one just to?
Hey, Kath, a question for you then, because I know you like to drink wine and you're pretty particular about your wines. Will you just go buy the cheapest ones possible now?
Well, no, what's funny is, because they'll probably give me a headache.
Yeah.
I was at my brother's house, and, he knows what I like to drink, and he didn't have it. And I go, what is this? He goes, it doesn't matter. Just drink it. You'll be fine.
Thunderbird.
When friends drop by who can't taste anything, give him the cheapest crap you've got in the house. That's why I reach for the Thunderbird.
James Mason approved. All right, here's the next one. This is number 11. You should get something from this.
11!
Let's see.
There's a reaction.
Got a real
scowl. She actually did De Niro there for a second.
Yeah.
You're talking to me?
Whatever it is, I'm not a fan.
Not so much.
Interesting that there are bad tastes that work through.
Nick, it's not a bad taste. It's like that vinegar feeling again. Like if you were-
Okay.
So I have no idea.
That makes sense for this. Do you want to smell it?
Smell
Let me smell it.
You can smell it.
You can smell it.
Do you smell
okay.
something?
Yeah.
Okay.
She's doing De Niro again.
I don't like this. I don't know what it is. I don't like it.
It's Worcestershire sauce.
And you know what? I don't put that on anything. So
Okay. Not even in Bloody Marys? Well, it's already in Bloody Marys.
no,
usually,
I'm
so.
not a Bloody Mary fan.
Okay, all right. So no dice on Worcestershire. We've got 4 more to go.
4 more.
Here is number 12.
You've had a pretty decent degree of success, Kathy. At least your ability.
Well, the vodka one, I'm kind of only half giving to her because she couldn't identify it. You should be able to tell that it was vodka.
All right, a big scowl on this one. We don't. Preston's the only one who knows what this is. Preston and Marissa. So we're guessing along.
This gave the puckering again. I don't know what it is, but again, it's like triggering something in my mouth.
Take a smell. Take a sniff. You don't know. You can't taste it.
Vinegar.
Okay.
Wow.
But it's a very specific kind of vinegar.
The kind that smells like feet.
Okay. It is apple cider vinegar.
It'll cure everything.
There's a shot of that every day, right?
That's what they say.
I should get my taste back after that.
Yes.
Right.
Right. All right, we have 3 more. This is mystery taste number 13. And let's see how you do on this one.
My stomach's going to be great after this.
I know, right? Fortunately, you're just taking little baby sips, so.
You're going to be farting clouds.
All right.
Spending, get a reaction.
Spending some time with this one.
Okay. Not as much as a scowl from the Worcestershire. All right, so she's feeling it.
There's like something in it, some peppers or something.
Would you say Thunderbird?
It was like there was substance to it. There's particles in there.
Particles.
I don't know what it is, but it's making my mouth burn a little bit. It has a little kick to it.
Burn a little bit. All right, so but you don't know.
Can I smell it?
Sure.
Can I?
What do you think? What do you think, Ed?
Can I?
I don't know. I want to say like
good.
Pickled something again.
Pickled something.
It's hot sauce.
Straight up hot sauce.
Yeah, it's
What's the
Mr.
title of it?
Mr. Deck's hot sauce.
This is I'm the marketing director of this company.
Yeah, the name this particular flavor is called Butt Blaster.
Oh, really?
They're out of,
Seriously?
they're out of Newport Beach, California.
I like that.
So
All
it's
right.
very, it's a like a
Powerful.
very hot.
Yeah.
Who brought that?
I did. I'm seriously the marketing director of this company.
Are you really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I brought it in.
Did you come up with the name Butt Blaster?
It was a collaborative effort, so yes.
Who's Mr. Dex?
A college friend, and this is a side project. And this is as far as I've gotten as marketing director.
How do you like the taste?
I love it. I put it on.
Did you put that
I put it on pizza. I put it on eggs.
By the way, this particular heat rating is 2.5 out of 5.
Yeah, it's not that hot.
So not crazy
All right.
hot, but enough to give you some sensation.
Yeah,
All right,
definitely.
2 more. This is another solid. I didn't know we had another solid. This is the only other solid in our list. So do the tongue thing. Stick your tongue in.
Yeah, stick
Do
it in
that
there.
tongue thing.
Stick it in there. Love it. Stick it down in there.
Come on, man.
She's like an inquisitive look.
This I get absolutely nothing.
Really?
Absolutely nothing from
Okay,
this.
so that's a nothing, and you should be able to taste it, smell it, and see if you can come up with something there.
Nothing, huh?
Like a, I don't know. Maybe there's pepper in it. No, because I didn't feel that on my tongue at all.
No. It's garlic powder.
Garlic
You would
powder.
absolutely know,
I'll give you a
right?
piece of gum later.
Yeah.
Thanks.
All right, we have one final taste in our test for you, and let's see how you do with this one.
This one,
Yes.
I also get absolutely nothing. Like it could be water to me.
Okay.
Like it could. That's the consistency.
All right. Take a little bit more. This is the last one. Finish it all off.
Put your tongue in it.
Go ahead.
No, is it going to make my stomach hurt?
No, not at all. Not at all.
Oh, yeah.
Nothing.
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 I get absolutely nothing.
Take a sniff and see if you can tell from that.
Not really. I want to say, is it another alcohol?
Sauvignon Blanc.
Your favorite brand as well. It's Nobilo.
Oh,
wow.
You
I get
poor
nothing.
thing.
Nothing.
That's a shame.
Sucks.
Oh, man.
So, Kath, let me ask you then.
Give me
So,
that bar.
Wait, are we done? Can I take the?
Yeah, that's it.
People will often describe water as not having a taste, but it does have a taste. And so
Kathy can tell those taste
and
differences.
you can tell those taste differences. So water for you, like legit has no taste.
What?
He's saying that a lot of people describe water as having no taste.
Right.
You were able, I think I am as well, slightly able to discern between tap and bottled water.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so it
so
has
you
a
can,
taste.
but
right now,
Oh, yeah.
it has zero taste.
Yeah, probably not. I can't believe I couldn't taste the Nobilo.
Oh, that's a bummer.
that's
So
crazy.
to review, She got correct and guessed correct and wasn't definitive, though, but said, well, is it chocolate syrup? So you kind of knew what it was, but you really didn't say, oh, that's it.
No, none of them I knew 100%.
Yeah, all of these were semi. So chocolate syrup, vinegar, apple juice, so the sweets you could get. And one that you could that I think you got the best was pickle juice.
Yeah, that
And
was,
so maybe if you really want to taste something
put pickles on it.
flavor-wise, you could have pickles. And the other one was vodka. I told the story about a real estate agent. This is in Canada. He is fined $20,000 because at the home he was showing, he was caught on security camera while nobody was there, going into the refrigerator, grabbing the carton of milk, grabbing the jug of milk, a gallon of milk, and drinking right out of it, and then putting the milk back into the refrigerator.
In this day and age, too, with all the home cameras and stuff like that, wouldn't you? I'd be really leery of doing something like that. All the ring stuff and all the,
Yeah.
I mean, you have a real. Listen, I would not have if I had real estate agents coming into my home to sell it. They'd be on camera. I mean, I have cameras all around the house.
Yeah. Would you tell them ahead of time?
Yeah.
I would too.
Yeah, just as a courtesy. I mean, you can see that they're there, but I mean, but the brazen going in. You could have even, if you wanted to, grabbed a glass and then washed it out,
or maybe
but
just went to the sink.
Yeah.
I'm wondering why he didn't go to the sink and get water.
Yeah,
right. Because that's just gross. Tap water is just gross. Let me drink right out of this jug.
100-year-old scotch.
My buddy was, he had work being done on his basement, and I don't know if it was a plumber or what, but he caught the guy pissing in his sump pump.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He walks downstairs, and the dude is taking a piss in his sump pump.
I mean, there is a bathroom there. I'm sure it's okay to use it.
Yeah.
Not okay to use the sump pump.
I would prefer that you pee in my toilet and not my sump pump.
Weren't we talking about something where, and I forget what it was, but if you have people working on your yard or in your yard, or they're doing something, say they're building a swing set for you or whatever.
Right.
You would assume they would ask to come in to use the. You wouldn't want them whizzing in your yard, right?
Yeah, of course, yeah. And when we do have people that come over to do work, I make sure to say, if you guys need to use the bathroom or you need some water or whatever, just let me know.
Yeah. And just drink the milk right out of the jug.
Feel free and have all the milk you want right out of the jug. We have 2% and whole.
Yeah, and actually, I think a lot of times people will, at least in my experience, they will decline the offer. Hey, I got some Gatorade for you, got some water for you. Now, when we were moving, our movers not only didn't decline the offer, they didn't even wait for the offer. They were grabbing stuff out of the fridge and drinking it, and which I was totally fine with. Yeah, no. We had Gatorade and water
for them
in the refrigerator. I don't know who it was necessarily for, but they were working their
I took your birth
asses.
control pills.
Wait a minute. So you didn't tell them that they could have stuff out of your fridge and they went ahead and took it?
Not that I remember.
That's bullcrap.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's like that scene in Poltergeist where they're doing work in the backyard and he's reaching in and taking bacon off the plate and stuff like that. You can't do that.
So what this guy did is kind of gross and certainly inappropriate. Is that a really stiff fine for drinking milk? I mean, $20,000 to me seems kind of ridiculous.
That's what millionaire athletes make or get fined.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, for much worse stuff than drinking milk out of a container. Why did it cost this guy $20,000?
Nick, you haven't tasted this milk. It may be the greatest milk ever.
Well, it's probably because I don't know what would stop the homeowners if they wanted to sue the guy. Because you can raise all kinds of BS.
I don't know. Fire the
fears
guy.
and concerns.
I would fire him, and he wouldn't be my real estate agent. But I wouldn't necessarily fine the dude $20,000 for drinking milk.
I got gonorrhea because of that real estate agent.
Right.
That's your excuse.
If anybody has any similar stories or you yourself have done something like this, call 215-263-WMMR.
Let me ask a hypothetical here. So you're a real estate agent and there's a big plate of French fries or whatever. So,
cookies. Let's say cookies. Why would there be a plate of fries?
Would you take a cookie?
Would I if nobody was home?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Don't mind if I do.
Don't mind if I do.
Don't mind if I do.
You know?
Yeah. And listen,
It's just drinking the milk out of the directly out of the container, I think, is the violation here. And I agree with Nick. At 20,000 is a little steep for that.
outside of workers
Yeah.
being in your home, even if we were having someone that we know who is just going to, like maybe house sit or keep an eye on things or
Right.
whatever, I am fully under the assumption that my stuff is going to be gone through.
Right.
That they're going to take a peek here and there. Because I'd probably do it. You know what I mean? So I
You
just assume so.
Everyone gets a little bit nosy. I can't say that if there was not a big plate of whether French fries or cookies, I might not just grab one.
Yeah.
Well,
you know?
Similar to that, Preston, I think this may have been you guys, before you guys even came to MMR. I was dog sitting for Ken Cepetto, who used to work here at the radio station. I think I was there for like a full weekend while they were away. I realized when I got to work on Monday morning that I left my laundry in the dryer. And like by the end of the day, I had to give the key back to him. Like my weekend was over.
Had the offer been given to you to do your laundry there?
Not really. I feel like this isn't too violating, but when I went to go back during lunchtime to get it,
He was wearing your bra.
he was there with like Chuck and a couple people from the radio station.
Oh,
they were
man.
like hanging out at the house having lunch.
So how
I
did you
had to
broach
like it was very weird. I just like walked in, put my head down, literally like filled up my laundry basket, had to walk through the kitchen where they all were with like my thongs hanging out.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, thanks. Please hire me again to do this.
Yeah, I think that's okay.
It's I feel like it was fine, but
it's a little
leaving it
embarrassing.
there.
Sure.
The debate of whether do I go back right now or do I say something? Ugh.
Here's a text from somebody that says I caught a contractor blowing lines while working in my basement. Meaning they were doing coke, lines of cocaine.
Doing coke?
Well, yeah, you want the job done quickly, right?
That's right, yeah.
Wow.
Be done in a few minutes. I'll get this done in a few minutes.
I've never had anything like this happen to me personally.
Well, except for the movers stealing all your stuff, but that's different.
That's different. That's just theft.
They stole my weed.
Did they?
Yes, they did.
Sons of bitches.
They went through your boxes and found it?
Well, the box that it was in was missing when they returned everything. It was like a small container.
It's great for keeping your weed.
You put your weed in that, and yeah, that was gone. I'm sure they lifted it.
Do you think they rode your Sibian?
No.
Okay.
Please. Let's not get
Wipe
gross.
that off.
Yeah, you may
wipe
want
that off.
You may want to disinfect that.
They are for sharing.
When I was a kid, my neighbors, I would babysit for them, and they had a working slot machine.
Oh,
yeah. And so they said I could play it, and but one time I was playing it, and I realized that they left it open. They had it open,
so the coins were accessible.
Yeah. So why play when you can just take? So I took probably like $30, $40 worth of quarters.
Wonder where their credit cards are.
Did you tell them that you won?
No, I just took it. I was a kid, man.
Why don't you just take the whole machine?
Yeah.
Listen, we do things that you regret when you think you're alone. But I think in this day and age, with all of the proliferation of security cameras and mommy cameras and and babysitter cams and all that stuff, I'd be really leery.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
Yeah.
And there are loads of
It's made it
stories
hard to rob people.
of people getting busted with not only, obvious cameras, but, like nanny cams and things like that. That, yeah, you should assume that somebody can probably see you, whatever you're doing.
Do you have internal cameras or just external? Okay.
Just external, yeah.
Yeah, so the only reason I got the cameras is because we have so many cats that if one gets a urinary tract infection and starts peeing someplace, I won't have to take 4,000 cats to the vet. Subsequently, I've left them up because security-wise, they are kind of convenient. You know?
Yeah. Here's a text that says, I got caught trying on shoes while babysitting one time.
Oh, my God.
Trying on other people's clothing.
Yeah. Especially if you're like babysitting for a really rich person that has really nice clothes and jewelry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mr. Jackson, what kind of condoms are these? They feel great.
Yeah. Let's see. Here's one that says, I was a former Philly police officer here and was holding a crime scene. Had to pee very bad.
Oh, man.
Couldn't get relief from another officer, so I used the toilet in the house while I was holding the crime scene. for, and then
I think that's
for
it, yeah.
stealing someone's. No, never mind.
He was holding that crime scene for that person, so he had to go pretty bad.
Well,
and
that's got to be okay.
It was an active crime scene.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, the thing to do is to always, at least, if you're going to go over and you're going to be in the house or for a little bit of time, you ask. But if you're in a house where someone was murdered or whatever, and if you're a police officer and you have to pee, I think it's What's
the protocol if you're looking at an open house and you have to go to the bathroom? Like, that's fine, right?
I would absolutely.
I think a closet will get it done.
Okay.
I just took a huge dump in your. What is it? I Love You Man, right? Isn't that?
Yeah.
He's showing houses and people are coming and stealing food and.
Yeah, they're just coming in for the. Well, that's what Jason Segel. He's not there to buy a house.
He's like, I'm not here to buy it. I just come for the food.
Yeah.
And he thanks him for his honesty. But I would think using the bathroom, that's not unless you're going over to Kathy's house.
Yeah.
That's not any kind of a violation. I mean, come on.
You always you would ask if you can, though, right? If there's someone to ask, you ask.
Yeah. And if nobody's around, I still think it would be okay to use it.
Just piss on the carpet.
Let me go to, I have Sherry, who's on the phone. Hey, Sherry, good morning.
Hi, how you doing?
Good. What's up, Sherry?
Well, I work for a painting company, and we had a paint crew working on the exterior of a house, and they were foreigners, and the guy took a dump.
The guy took a dump in the backyard?
Yes. And he left his wiping material there with it, and the customer's dog found it, rolled in it, chewed up the material.
Oh, my God.
The guys tried to deny it, and then the customer also had him on video.
There you go.
God, yep.
Full on busted.
The dog probably mentioned that.
Yeah. Did any idea how that played out?
The customer got pretty much everything for free.
There you go.
Yeah. I think if you take a dump in someone's backyard, leave the wiping material there, and then the dog rolls around in your dump, you should at least get a bit of a discount.
Yeah, I would think so.
And on top of it, the guy had 2 teenage daughters. Thank God they weren't home because it could have turned into something a lot worse.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
But everything was on recording. Everything was videotaped. So
there you go. Again, there's a lot of cameras out there. So the next time you're working at someone's house and you want to take a dump in their hedges, you may want to reconsider.
Hey, going to the drinking from the container thing is a little bit of a different approach on this.
Taking a dump in the container.
How do you feel about someone who is not your spouse or one of your kids? Like if they have like a beverage or something like that, and they go, "Oh man, it's really good. Here, try a sip of this."
Yeah.
Would that gross you out at all?
No.
To try that?
No. Well,
Depends on who it is. It
was
also
one of
depends-
us.
It depends on how much is left in said container.
Right.
If it is 3/4 of the way full, yeah, I'm fine with that. But if it's like anything then less than half full, and there's a considerable amount of backwash in there.
What if they're
then
going to
maybe
spit
not.
it out of their mouths into yours? A la bird.
I won't do
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
No.
So, like from a container or even a cup, if someone says,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or like a soda can or something like that. Here, you want some of this?
Yeah.
Or
What about you? I feel like you would have no
I'm
issues.
totally cool with it. In fact, I forgot where I was. Maybe it was Kyle when we
You
were.
and I, Preston, I was just about to bring it up.
What was it? Was
We
it?
shared a straw.
Where were we?
We were right here. We had some drinks out in the Acme Lounge. Somebody had dropped them off for us to
Sounds
taste.
rather romantic.
And I tasted because I get a little weirded out sharing straws.
Right.
That's weird. Like I'll drink out of a cup, but it's the straw. And I wanted you to try it, so I handed it to you, and you sipped out of my straw.
And you were okay with that?
I was okay.
Oh, no,
with
she
it.
vomited.
Yeah.
Ran around the corner, puked. All right, let me go to Eric. Eric, good morning, bud.
Hey, good morning. So I was in my mid to late teens, and I was dating a girl that she lived like next door to my grandmother at the time, and she was babysitting for a family that lived like 2 houses down from my grandmother. And I would go over there and hang out while she was babysitting, and we hung out down in the basement sometimes. She went upstairs. So I walked behind the bar, and I noticed an ashtray had like a couple roaches in it. Now, yes, I was in my mid-teens. I was in high school. Yes, I was smoking pot at the time.
Right.
I stumbled across their stash, and I stole about a half ounce of it.
Okay.
And like,
Well, a half ounce. How much was the stash?
dude, the bag was, as I remember it, it was probably like a pound.
Oh, my God. Yeah, they're not going to miss
But
half ounce.
it wasn't completely full. It was probably like halfway full.
What if you were stealing from like a cartel? Sounds like a lot.
Well,
Jeez.
Well, I wasn't because I'm still alive.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Did you ask to go over there every time your girlfriend babysat?
Yeah. She
Yes.
said, come on over. But, they moved it, obviously. I was never able to find it again. I wonder why.
Whose house was it that she was babysitting?
It was for a family that lived a couple houses up from my grandmother's house at the time.
All right.
And
Maybe that was your grandmother's stash. She kept it over there.
My grandmother is a little old Italian lady. She jarred everything. I don't think there was.
She puts it in a mason jar. Wow, that's wild, man.
Thanks, Eric. Appreciate it.
Yeah, man.
See you,
Have
man.
a good day.
You too. I wonder how embarrassing it would be for this guy who drank out of their milk jug to find out that you're busted. And at that point, fess up, or if you don't know about the video, you know what I mean?
I think didn't you have another story in the bizarre file where I think it was a real estate agent as well who actually took a piss on a couch? Do you remember that story?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Right?
Like right on the couch,
Right
or
on the
something
couch.
ridiculous like that, where it would be like no way to cover it up whatsoever.
Right.
And what the hell were you thinking when you did
at that point, I'd say, enjoy the milk.
Yeah. Agreed. I will go next to Yori. Hey, Yori, morning.
Good morning, Gadzooks.
Gadzooks, Yori, what's up?
All right, well, when I was a kid, I was invited to my first ever play date, and I wasn't taught proper etiquette about snacking. So I basically was invited once and only once to this person's house because I basically ate all the crust off of their Linville Orchards pie.
Just the crust?
I was just like, what did I do wrong? And my friend was like, you ate our pie. And I was like, oh, that wasn't for us. I just didn't understand. I was a kid. Plus, I was, a big snacker as a kid. I was kind of.
Well, they wouldn't invite you. I mean, so you get corrected, and then maybe you invite you over again, but you were never invited back to the house?
Nope. I guess I rubbed the mom the wrong way because I guess I was too much of a heathen.
Oh, my God.
You know what? I'll tell you this. What happens, and sometimes people come over and they're a little, you're a kid, but if somebody's overly familiar when they come to your house, like someone who comes in and opens up your refrigerator, have you ever had someone do that? Where
Well, yeah, my mom used to have a daycare, so it was fairly common for the kids to just grab what they wanted if they came back from school.
Well, that makes sense.
So for us, it was just normal. Yeah. And I mean, I also used to sneak food in the house too.
Well, that's all standard.
Yeah, but at that age, you just didn't, it just didn't click at that point. I do have another story though. I used to clean houses with my aunt, and we would burst out into show tunes when there was no one in the house.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, that's at least a little bit more.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, and then I made out with her.
Yeah. Thank you, Yori. Appreciate
another
it.
thing.
Yeah, great day, guys.
You too. All right. So, did you say if someone just walk into the kitchen and open up her refrigerator?
Right, like it's like the Jerry Seinfeld thing.
Right.
I would not
Kramer,
be down with that.
No, me either. There's a minor violation there.
Down the shore, it's kind of like whatever. Like if you come over to my house down there, you can go through whatever you want. Go through the pantry, go through, but up here, it's for some reason different rules. I don't know.
Is it the salt air? It's intoxicating?
Well, all right, so the D'Amicos come over quite a bit when we're down the shore, and they just walk in, and, and I just walk into their house. It's not like, they just walk in my house. No, I walk in their house, they walk in mine, I go in their fridge, they go in mine. Like it's,
Gonna grab a few minutes on your Sibian.
Yeah. Don't worry, I'll wash it off.
No, I don't know. I think you should be the one you can say, okay, you give the invite. By the way, my house is your house. Feel free to go in the refrigerator, whatever you want. Use the Sibian.
Yeah, use the Sibian. No, just knock yourself out.
Just clean it off.
No, I agree. And vacation homes are kind of that way, I think, as well. It's a little easier. But your standard residence.
Right.
Forget it. I'm going to go next to Joe. Good morning to you, Joe.
Hello?
Yeah, you're on the air, Joe.
Oh, hey, nothing but hair.
Nothing but hair.
Okay.
What?
That's my wife's favorite new saying now. We toss things into the trash ever since you tossed those dildos in with during door hole.
During Pornhole.
Oh,
Nothing but hair.
Dude, that is
oh my
a
God.
wild
Joe,
callback.
I would not have gotten that.
That's hilarious.
I love it.
Nothing but hair.
We had hair around the hole. That's good.
Wow.
Oh, my God.
I did contracting for many, many years in the high-dollar area in Hockessin, so you guys know what I'm talking about.
Right.
And we did work for a bunch of doctor and nurse team, and we did a whole bunch of building on their house and so forth. But my boss, he used to go right through their cabinets at lunchtime and everything. If he got hungry, he'd make a sandwich out of the refrigerator. And
Oh, my God.
Did you ever ask him? Or I mean,
it was your boss doing this?
Oh yeah, I was like, oh man, are you kidding me? And so forth, and I wouldn't do it. I always came prepared. So
yeah, that's here. Why not? Hell, use the Sibian if you want.
Well, even to that point, we used to take care of the lawn. We used to do the everything, the shoveling of the winter and so forth.
Yeah.
And they went away for 2 weeks to India. And they were due back on Sunday. And so, I was dating this young lady, and I went to Acme and grabbed a bunch of lobster tails, and we ended up having dinner on the grill right there on their porch.
Oh, my God, Joe.
Dude, Joe.
Slipped into their pool, and we were in their hot tub in their pool and so forth, and we got caught at 11 o'clock that night by the wife coming home early. We were skinny dipping in the pool.
Oh, my God. Well, there you go.
Help yourself to some lobster.
Yeah.
I had the grill clean. The deck was clean. She never knew we cooked dinner there.
Wow.
But you're skinny dipping in the pool.
Did you end up getting in trouble at all?
Well, on Monday, when I picked up the boss to go to work, we're driving to work and everything, and he asked, why are you so quiet? I said, well, Mrs. Bose came home early. What do you mean?
And were you fired?
No, actually, I just wasn't allowed on that property.
That job. Yeah.
I mean, this is the boss who
Yeah, I'm
was
making
making
sandwiches.
sandwiches.
Yeah.
So when the woman found you guys, Joe, how irate was she?
She was. She came through the house, and we had turned the lights on in the carport. And there's we built from a 2-car garage to a 5-car garage and put a nanny's pad up in the top, so that they could sleep up there and everything, a full kitchen and everything. We turned the lights on in there to illuminate where we were in the pool without turning all the lights on.
So was she upset?
So when she came through the middle of the house, she was looking around at the lights and everything, and I heard somebody open up the sliding glass door, and I go, hello, from down in the pool, and she goes, who's there? And I said, Joe. She goes, Joe who? Tim?
Joe Mama.
Joe? Oh, hi, Joe. She comes walking up, and my girlfriend, now wife, climbed in behind me, and, I just kind of put my hands in front of me and said, hi.
Oh, my God.
Would you like a
At
third?
that moment and everything, she goes, oh, I said, well, it was a hot night. You're back early. She goes, yeah. Okay.
Why does
Sounds
it smell
like
like
she was pretty chill about it.
That doesn't sound like a problem at all.
She was to me, but apparently she reamed out my 2 bosses.
Okay. All right. Excellent. All right. Thank you, Joe. That's a great story.
Story, man.
Wow.
Hey, by the way, at that same place, I did what Casey did, or the other one, where he cut his finger.
Yeah.
I was trimming a cabinet down in the doing the carpentry, cutting a little corner and everything, and a utility knife, and I jammed it right into my hand because I did it wrong. I ended up having to get 3 stitches.
Ooh.
They broke 2 needles putting the stitches in.
Hey, Joe, did you and your boss ever do show tunes when you were alone in the house?
Not that boss.
All right. Thanks, Joe. Appreciate it, bud. Here's a text that says, I had a friend that used to remodel people's kitchens and bathrooms. He had a folder on his phone of himself naked in people's houses posing on their furniture and countertops.
Isn't that the nightmare?
Yeah.
That is the classic nightmare. Okay. And because at a certain point, you're trusting them,
Yeah.
I'm just going to straight up say, I have cameras all over the house, so please just behave yourselves.
Yeah. We'll go next to Carl. Hey, Carl, good morning.
Hey, sorry to bother you guys at work.
It's okay.
Carl, good to see you.
What's up, bud?
Yeah, so when we moved into our house, we needed the carpet redone, and we were looking around, and my buddy recommended this guy Tony Ruggs, and he was
Tony Ruggs.
Tony Ruggs.
And so
What do you need done
it
over
was
there?
It was Tony Ruggs and his brother Danny Ruggs, and they would come over. And,
Where the
He
Ruggs?
tried to tell me where the carpet came from, and I didn't want to know. But he would, we would give him coffee every morning and whatnot. And, the one guy forgot his cigarettes, and my wife and I have a pack of secret smokes or whatever. So I just offered him, a cigarette, until we could get a pack the next day. Well, he just started helping himself to the smokes. And then, about 10 o'clock would roll around every day, and he would go in my beer fridge and just start helping himself to beer.
Dude, no.
I was fine with it because they were doing a great job.
Yeah,
and because the guy's name was Tony Ruggs.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but they did a great job. I can't complain. But yeah,
Let me ask you, is that Sibian up for
10
grabs?
Oh my!
10 o'clock every day they would
Grabbing your beer, yeah. No,
Right.
that's
That's a violation.
Yeah, maybe you let Tony Ruggs do that.
All right, thanks, Carl. Appreciate it, man. Let me see. I will go to. Let's go to Rich on line 2. Rich, morning, sir.
Hey, good morning. You guys rock.
Rich, what's going on, buddy?
Hey, so in high school, I had a girlfriend who was a nanny for one of the teachers that was a high school teacher, a science teacher.
Right.
She went away on a vacation and said, hey, you guys can stay at the house, whatever. Help yourself to some drinks if you want. Just stay at the house. We were over there. We had a few people over. My girlfriend at the time was telling me that the teacher was telling her that she made this little, spicy photo album for her husband. And about 5 minutes later, I run upstairs and I'm looking through the husband's drawers.
Oh my God.
I find it in the sock drawer and I'm looking at it. She has full spread eagle pictures.
Oh my God.
And it was just awesome.
It was just awesome. It was just awesome.
Look at the teacher the same again.
How old were you at the time?
I was a senior in high school.
And she was telling you guys that she had these pictures?
Exactly. That's weird, man.
She was telling my girlfriend about it. I guess they had a pretty cool relationship, and it was more along the lines of, hey, maybe you should do this for your boyfriend for Valentine's Day.
She wanted you guys to find them.
That's what it sounds like.
She wanted you guys to find them.
Dear Penthouse Forum.
Yeah. Totally.
It was yeah. I never looked at that teacher the same again.
Why would you? All spread eagle.
How old are you now, Rich?
I'm 38 now.
And you're still hanging on to that thought, right?
Oh, so yeah.
It's in the spank bank.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right next to drinking milk out of the carton.
Oh my God.
That would be crazy. Yes, Preston.
That's great, Rich.
When he
Thank
said
you.
that and that information just happened to float on out.
Oh, yeah.
That's what that was about.
You guys are going to be home alone in the house? Yeah, well, I have these sexy pictures.
I just wouldn't go anywhere near my husband's sock drawer.
Right. Wow. Well, pretty ballsy of this real estate agent to go into the fridge and listen, if you're going to grab something out of the fridge, whatever, but drinking out of the jar.
Right.
I mean, I will do that from time to time at home. I have my own, nobody else in the house drinks 2%. It's just
Right.
me. Everybody else drinks
You
whole
just
milk.
drink out of the
So I drink right out of I like drinking out of the milk jug.
Okay.
There's something about that I like for whatever reason. And it is mine.
Do the common things, like if you're going to do that, don't screw off the cap by putting it in your butt and twisting.
Don't do it that way.
Don't do it that way.
You don't do.
It's not fair to everybody
It's
else.
not fair to the other people.
All right, well, anyhow, thank you for the calls. We do appreciate that. We do have to take a break and come back in a moment. We do want to recap a little bit of this past Friday with Wrexham in
Amazing.
town and our conversation with Rob McElhenney while he was hanging out with the team and a few other things as well. Don't forget, we have a Tattoos Day. Text word tattoo to 39333. Chance for you to win that $350 gift certificate from Folding World Tattoo and Piercing for your Preston and Steve Show themed tattoo. Be back in a moment.
Preston and Steve
on 93.3.
You were able to identify really 4, and that's it.
Marissa, was the I'll just say it, the honey that was that usable? By the way, I just grabbed these things out of the
Oh, you know what? I just stopped at 15. We brought so many
no problem.
things, so.
It
You wanna
has.
see if you can smell it?
The
yet?
honey has a taste to it.
Is that like a spice
There's
habanero or
there's
something?
another taste, and I'd be curious if she'd be able to taste. Don't show her the label if you can avoid
Oh,
it.
what? Like it's
It's
Flavored honey?
It's got another fruit in it,
Oh,
and
right,
I'd be
okay.
curious if with the sweet stuff you could do it. All right.
I won't look. I guess I can.
You can look at it.
Oh,
Yeah.
geez,
All
sorry.
right. Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Rub it on your sweater.
Stick your tongue in it. Yeah, it's going to be kind of hard.
Oh,
Did you get it?
No.
Nothing.
Can you taste the sweet of the honey?
A little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, I can taste the sweet of the honey.
Nothing else.
No.
Because it's blueberry honey.
Blueberry honey. Okay.
No, and I'm having even the smell with this one is a little tough.
All right. Wow. Well, that sucks, man. Hopefully this is going to be quick.
Just
acting
400
and-
days.
And yeah.
I know that poor guy.
I know.
I really hope it doesn't.
He said he was rage eating, just eating out of anger. Even though he can't taste it, he's still going to eat something that he knows his body likes.
I'll tell you what, though, I'm not. I mean, I'm still eating meals because yes, you still get hungry,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
I'm not really snacking because what's the point? Like, I don't feel like anything because I know I'm not going to be able to taste it.
Yeah, a lot of times snacking is just you want some flavor.
What about
You
so
know?
hot drinks or things like that, like coffee? Nothing.
Not really. I mean, I
Because
know
people have
it's
said coffee is a big insider.
well, and you know what, Steve? When it first happened, I was not leaving the house, obviously,
Right.
so I wasn't going to get my coffee. I could make it
Yeah.
at the house, but I was kind of skipping it because
Right.
I couldn't taste it, and I was getting the headache.
Do you think
And
you're
I'm
trying?
like, oh my god, wait, that's like the caffeine headache. You need it.
Do you think you're going to try that orange thing?
Listen, I'll try anything. Let's.
Might as well, right? I mean,
Try
if it
it.
doesn't work, it doesn't work.
Yeah.
And if for some reason it does, then you're good to go. Okay. All right, this has been the Kathy Romano Taste Test. And,
we cured her.
The Flyers lost in an overtime shootout against the New York Islanders last night in South Philly. The team stretched the shootout to 9 rounds, but the Flyers extended their losing streak to 9 games.
Is that?
Oliver Wahlstrom scored in the 9th round of the tiebreaker to lift the Islanders to a 4-3 win, keeping the Flyers winless in January.
Casey was looking for the Ferris Bueller clip of 9 times. But we don't have it. It would have been perfect to play it twice this morning during sports. Our buddy Jerry Blabbert, the Geeter, will be joining us. He's got his first show at the Kimmel Center Cultural Campus in years now. Because of COVID, these haven't been happening. So he's going to be super fired up, even more fired up than he usually is. And there's a lot of classics that are on board, including freaking Frankie Valli.
Frankie Valli.
Frankie Avalon. Freaking Frankie Avalon.
Freaking little Anthony, the Chai Lights.
Well, I guess so. Yeah, who else is that? The
Darlene
Chi-Lights?
Love.
Darlene Love,
Frickin'
yeah.
the Vogues.
That's cool. Gary U.S. Bond, so he's pulling out all the oldies and goodies.
Press, you know how many times we've had Jerry Blavat on our show?
Probably 6 or 7.
No.
9 times.
Really?
Yep.
9 times. 9 times.
Thank you,
kidding. I'm glad you got that. Very few times. There are very few moments that we can actually use a clip like that, and today we can use it.
I mean, I can't believe the Flyers went 9 entire rounds last night without scoring. I mean, 9. That they didn't score a goal last night.
9 times.
Right.
All right, so didn't they have a stretch earlier this season where they lost 9 in a row as well?
Well, they've lost 9
Or is
in a
it
row.
10?
Now they've lost 9 before.
9 times.
Before they lost
9 times.
Yeah. And then last night, 9 entire rounds of the shootout. Wow. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Times.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
But the good news is the Sixers have won 9 of their last 11 games.
9 times.
Yeah.
9 times.
9 times. All right, well, maybe we'll celebrate that the entire day today.
It's a beautiful thing.
Hopefully we don't get to...
I love it! We're going to pray that doesn't happen. Listen, we can't let a Friday go by without talking about some food stories. I want to make sure that we do that now.
It's time for the Friday edition of The Connoisseur, the most popular version of The Connoisseur.
It'll be a quick one.
It'll be a quick one.
Today is National Pie Day.
Sunday.
Oh, is it Sunday?
Yes, I just wanted to send that to you so that you were armed with that knowledge.
Okay.
And we all like pies, don't we?
I love pie.
Yeah.
Well, why
I don't have pie enough.
No, but why don't they do Pie Day on Pie Day?
314.
Yeah.
Good question.
Yeah, that's it. That's when that should be. You're
You
right.
guys prefer pie or cake? Like if you had to choose.
Well, it depends on which kind of pie and which kind of cake.
All right, so if you're saying, and I understand the parameters in the most general terms.
Yes.
With the accumulated vast array of pies and the accumulated vast arrays of cakes, I'm going to have to go with cake with the acknowledgement that I adore pie.
If you took my favorite cake and my favorite pie and put them in front of me, I would go with the cake.
I'd go with the pie.
Would you?
If it was my favorite pie and my favorite cake, well, it depends.
See?
I mean, there's,
what's your favorite pie?
Remove a la mode.
The first thing that pops in is a great apple pie. Just a well-made apple pie. You just can't beat it. But like a coconut cream pie is freaking
God, we have
fantastic.
such different taste palates. Oh my God, Nick, I would.
Yeah, you hate hot fruit.
I would go 100% cake. That's the main reason. Is most of them, a lot of them, have some sort of warm fruit in it.
So for me, the pies, like if you're talking apple pie, blueberry pie, I love. I'm not a big fan of cherry pie. But Boston cream pie.
What about key lime pie? That's my.
I love key lime pie, and I don't know, and I love lemon meringue pie.
Okay,
let me throw this at you.
Uh huh.
Pies are made with more love than cake.
Yo,
I think that's
how can you say that?
What a horrible thing to say.
Nope, I know
It's made with disgusting hot fruit. You call that love?
To me, it just seems
I
like
think
pies are
no.
just kinda chucked in there.
It's more difficult to make a pie.
I think
than I believe than a wonderful cake.
I think there's more love in a pie than there is in a cake.
disagree. You know, listen,
especially if you pleasure yourself.
If it's all homemade, maybe, but willy-nilly. Are you kidding me?
Willy-nilly.
You just chuck stuff in a pie crust that's already been pre-made or whatever.
Yeah, that's what an amateur says. Yes,
You would say that.
That's what a Marxist says.
If you can do cake mix, and that's kind of a cheap way for a cake too. But Steve, watching like the Great British Baking Show, which I've referenced
my God,
far too many times, when they make a cake on there and it's like a cake made with love, I think like if it's a chocolate cake and it's a cake made with love, I'm gonna err on the side of cake over my favorite pie.
Cakes are decorated with love. Pies are made with
pies
love.
to get it. Here's the deal. Now listen, since you've all acknowledged that I'm the expert on this issue.
We have.
We have.
For the purpose of this,
this argument, I am an expert.
Preston has a legitimate point to the actual making of the apples, the syrup, the whole substance, the meticulous nature of it.
Mm-hmm.
You're more likely to accidentally make a good cake than you are to accidentally make a good pie.
I don't know.
But
well put.
But I still believe,
acknowledges
right?
Steve Morrison.
And since you've all acknowledged that I am the expert,
Right.
Well, then why don't you get birthday pie on your birthdays? Because it's not made with love, and cakes are made with love. This is love you. Here's a cake because I love you.
I don't believe it's bereft of love. For example, my mother used to make me my favorite devil's food cake with she'd have the different layers joined by grape jelly and which helped. Was very thin, little bit of grape jelly.
Okay,
and then she'd make the homemade chocolate frosting.
Yeah,
and to me,
love
probably one of
cake.
the greatest cakes I've ever had in my life. If I compare the greatest cake experience against the greatest, now mind you, my pie experiences have been incredibly rewarding. But I had a Nutella cake one time. That was so good, and it's like they talk about the luster cocaine, like and all that, chasing the dragon. Yeah. I feel that I've been doing that now. I haven't been able to replicate that taste in a cake.
Okay, team cake here. What about a lava cake and all the oozing chocolate? I mean, come on.
As far as I'm concerned, Kathy,
nobody said anything about lava.
I don't care. The lava. No one can ever down talk lava, even if it's the kind that's wiping out villages.
Right. I have a new
because it's associated with the chocolate lava, and I love that.
I have a new controversy to throw into this.
All right.
Cheesecake. Is that cake or actually a kind of pie?
All right. If here's what I'm going to tell you.
It's absolute garbage.
It's got a crust. Shut your hole.
Cheesecake is garbage.
Cheesecake is, Preston?
There's a whole restaurant chain named after it.
Cheesecake is extraordinary. I would say this. You have more of a case to say it's a pie because you're not, what you're eating is not cake.
Right.
So you have to have a cake element to it. Give me a classic cheesecake. Give me with a little bit of chocolate in it too. I'm thrilled.
By the way, I love this text I got. It says you don't put cake on a windowsill like a pie. Therefore, pies are more love. That is from Amy in
you're
Millville.
just leaving a pie out there for the freaking bears to eat.
Don't put that pie over there. The bears will get it.
Bears are going to get it. Or the squirrels.
I don't know. There's cake shops. Are there pie shops?
Yes. Yes.
Really? Where?
Mm, they're called bakeries, and they sell both. How about that?
Do they?
So we have
do they
bed and breakfast right up the street. So it's that is a well.
Do they have pies?
They do have pies.
Oh, they
I'm just saying, man. When you're celebrating the life of somebody, you give them a cake and you don't give them a pie. Clearly, cake is love. Pie.
So let me ask you.
Pie.
Let me
Don't
ask
get
you.
Don't get me wrong.
You don't bring them a cake.
What about
you bring the grieving a pie?
No, you.
What
don't. You
about
bring
a large
hoagie
cookie? The large cookie. What does that cost? Is it a cookie?
It's a cookie.
Or is it a cookie cake?
It's a cookie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a little surprised at your distaste for cheesecakes because
me too. Because I'm fat and I got big time sweet tooth.
And
you just do you have the feeling that I have, Nick, that he has not had the right cheesecake
I think
yet?
that's probably
I
true.
think we need to set up this the same way like with Grindr. We need to hook you up with the right cheesecake.
No, he's got to go
and
to
let you guys
Kriebel's.
spend the night together.
Kriebel's.
Oh, Kriebel's. Yeah.
Yes.
So, or they should come here.
Yeah.
They're
Make it easy for us.
I
Yeah.
will say,
cheesecake
though,
is unbelievable.
I love a cheesecake crust.
Okay.
So if I had if you're at a wedding, right?
It's not.
You're at a wedding and you're.
It's not a classic pie crust though.
It's not. No, it's graham cracker
crust.
So
Right.
if
Lots of
you're
butter
at a
in it.
wedding and the meal is done and then they bring you a cheesecake and that's all you can have for dessert, I will eat the crust. No problem.
Crust eater.
Preston, here you go. So we're going to go to Bread and Beck's Bakery. We'll say that they are they would be experts in this.
They're
right?
an exceptional
on
bakery.
on their menu, Preston. They have cheesecakes listed with the pies and tarts.
So there you
That's
go.
it. That's
Yeah.
it. That's
Okay.
it.
Yep. Okay.
Should we put up like a Twitter poll?
I bet you Marissa already has.
Yeah. Why did I even bother bringing that up? It was already done.
Marissa actually had it up before we started talking
well, she
about
did
it.
the cheesecake
Oh,
question.
okay. That's good as well.
All right, yeah, but I'm also curious as to whether or not people prefer cake to pie.
You'll get cake. Cake. I listen. I'm just sticking up for pie.
It's okay.
You'll probably get cake because cake is universally known for celebrations.
I think. But I hear you on the. I mean, some of the greatest experiences of my life have been with a pie.
Yeah.
I think there's more love in a pie. I think that it takes more to make a great pie.
Cake is a worldly known good dessert.
Yeah.
Yes, and I'm not talking about decorating.
Do you know what I also love too?
What?
The very interesting offshoot, the bundt cake.
Oh man,
Bundt cakes are
nothing.
fantastic.
Bundt cake is just,
Nothing bundt cake. Sweet mother of God.
Mm-hmm.
They should really send us stuff.
She's so sweet, Kim.
So should Kriebel's and Bread and Beck's.
So, nothing.
I'll go in and
I'm on a diet. Why have we? I don't need this stuff. Right
here's
now.
the deal, Kathy.
I'm on my January diet.
I order so many things when I go in there. Like we'll have people over or whatever. When we're having people over, and you get so much that they're like look at you like. You're really going to eat all this?
Well, Steve, and they have the little ones,
the little
right?
mini buns.
They're-
No, but I got to get the big. Also,
Well,
the
so,
big version.
okay, so they have the little ones, right? And I've ordered them a number of times, and they're
Yeah.
absolutely delicious.
Like 5 dozen.
And you know how sometimes when if you go bigger, it doesn't taste the same, blah blah
Yeah.
whatever. We just had one for a birthday cake,
Like the big bundt.
one. It was just
Guess what?
delicious.
It's exactly the same.
It's so good.
I'm going to a text, and I quote, "She's my cherry pie. She's not my cherry cake."
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
There
We've
you
got
go.
a point.
That was a song by Warrant, Cherry Cake.
Right. No, cherry pie. It was by Warren, starring famous model Bobby Brown was in the video,
Yes.
too.
Also from Who's Married to Whitney Houston.
Hang on, I'm going to go to Christopher. It was a different Bobby Brown. Hi, Christopher. You're on the air. Good morning.
Oh my God, this is insane. This is my first time ever on the radio.
Wow. Welcome, sir.
Oh, my
Welcome.
God, this
And
is
what
crazy.
did you want to share with us, sir?
So there is someone on the show asked if there was an exclusive pie shop.
Yes.
In Ambler, Pennsylvania, there is a restaurant called Pie and Plate.
Wow.
And they are an exclusive pie restaurant.
Okay.
I
And
love that idea.
Good to know.
Have you been and do you recommend it?
Oh my God, I highly recommend it. They
All
have
right.
some of the best chocolate chess pie and key lime pie.
Hell yeah.
So not only do they have sweet pies, but they have savory pies like quiche and pot pies.
I'm down with that too. What is the name of it again? Pie and Plate.
Yeah, it's right on Main Street in Ambler.
Oh,
All
I
right.
make a good quiche.
Thank you, Christopher. Do they make, are there savory cakes? I guess so.
Like
meatloaf.
Like meatloaf and crab cakes.
Yeah, just put an icing on it.
Crab cakes. There you go.
Juliana. Hi, Juliana. Good morning.
Hello. How are you?
Wonderful. What's up, Juliana? You wanted to mention something.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys noticed this, but we had some weather come through the area on Friday night.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and even down the shore it happened. So I got a text message from our buddy Cowper, who's not sick. But he said, hey, I need a favor. We were out.
Dearest Casey, reason for this correspondence is sick.
He says, we were out on the boat for a night in Venice. It's a huge night in Ocean City.
Yeah.
It's a giant, light up boat parade that happens in the bay. He says, we got hit by that crazy storm on the bay, and these people let us dock at their house, and they were so amazing. They let us drink and hang until the storm passed, and they were actually huge Preston Steve listeners. So he said, can you give a shout out to Tinkerbell and the whole crew for me? They're lifesavers. She was dressed like Tinkerbell, hence that's why they call her Tinkerbell. But he just wanted to give them a huge thank you and shout out.
Do we have their actual names?
No.
Oh.
I even used their Sibian.
Where was this?
This is in Ocean City.
Ocean City, okay.
Yeah,
It's a big thing, and that's
I remember
cool.
hearing about it. I just forgot which town it was in.
Do you know who didn't Kate Flannery?
Kate
Wasn't
Flannery
she
was the
honorary.
She was the MC or the Grand Marshal or whatever that one time.
I've
Grand
never
Poobah.
been, and I always went to Ocean City. I've never done nights in Venice. I know Greg Monahan is a huge night in Venice guy.
Yeah, it's fun. All the boats have themes, and then there's like Fang was on there from the Union. I think Jim Gardner may have been the honorary person this year.
Was he
I may
dressed as
also be making
Tinkerbell?
that out, but it's also
Tinkerbell was Jim Gardner?
That's
And
crazy.
Cowper didn't even know
It's
it.
amazing.
That's crazy.
But when you make it all the way to the end, there's like this tight turn you have to make. So all these people gather at like this one little dock towards the end and watch people try to do one loop and not have to make a K turn to get out.
Okay.
All right, so he was sailing.
That's cool. Well,
Sailing.
That's
Takes me away to where I want to be.
That's great that he stumbled upon some listeners and fans of the show.
That is very cool.
That helped
Yeah,
him
it's
out,
awesome.
which is wonderful. So, yeah, man, the weather did come through on Friday. We, meaning me and Steve and Nick and Connor, we went to the Philadelphia Union game. It's Union 2 against Wrexham. And we got to hang out with Rob McElhenney, who came in, and we sat down, did an interview with him, with a video interview as well. We got the whole thing on camera. And we had a great time. It was so much fun. And listen, I have to point out, and I've said it before, of all the Philadelphia professional sports team, the Union has the best food.
Oh, yeah.
Period. If you happen to be getting lucky enough to be in a suite and it's being catered, by far the best food I've
And we
ever had.
met the chef.
In a suite.
Chef came in.
Yes.
Yeah, and it was super thankful because you'd been talking up the food. I'm like, it's, okay, we'll see what it's like. It really was extraordinary.
Fillets and scallops and ribs and
Chicken fingers.
cheesesteak. Well, chicken fingers, yes, absolutely.
Ravioli.
Stuff for
I
the
love the
kids
chicken
too.
fingers.
Ooh, ravioli?
Lobster ravioli.
Yeah.
I mean, it was top notch.
We often have access to cool things with our job. It's definitely one of the perks. But a catered suite on a hot and steamy and disgusting night on Friday might have been one of the best perks we've ever gotten. 'Cause we were so lucky.
It was amazing. And by
so
the way,
privileged to be in there.
Nick, the temperature difference.
Oh my God.
It was 40 degrees.
It had to be 40 degrees between what was outside. So you go up to that area where the suites are, and they were really kind to take care of us. And we walked into that room, and it was like we were walking into a meat locker. It was actually freezing.
When Rob came in, he comes walking, he's like, oh my God.
Thank God.
He's like, this is amazing.
Well, there's doors to open up that you can go outside and watch the game and get access to the stadium and whatever. And it was nice sitting out there. But every time anybody went out there, it was like, shut the damn door.
Yeah.
It's nice in the suite.
This makes sense. I mean, you were essentially in the owner's suite.
It wasn't the owner's suite.
No.
You were with the owner of the Wrexham.
Well, yeah, with the owner of the enemy for the night.
Right.
Yeah.
But it was great. Rob was in a great mood. He was really happy that this had finally come together because they stumbled across it or had some stumbling blocks a couple of years ago, and the whole thing came together. Packed crowd. It was the stadium filled out, and it was
amazing.
A lot of people were there for a good time, and it ended up being that. But there was a big weather delay.
Well, there was one thing and I asked you guys because I had to go back to met our cat, I should say. But anyway, I'm leaving early to go do that. But I hung out and watched a bit of the game, and it was great. But as I'm going across the parking lot to my car, I hear the announcement come over the system that it was so hot that they were alerting everyone in the stadium they were going to take a minute break in the play so they could take a breather.
Yeah, so the players could stop for a moment, hydrate, and pause.
I never heard of that before.
Yeah,
No, I never heard of
They
it.
full on did. It was that gnarly.
Yeah.
Yeah, and right before, I think it was right before halftime or whatever, Steve, you see the photo up on the big screen. We got this warning, and everybody left everybody left the field, and then they asked everyone that was in seats to find and seek cover.
Yeah, because there was a front on the way.
Yeah.
And I didn't remember, leading up to it, I didn't remember seeing a potential for rain in the forecast. And
No.
So I pulled up my app and I look at the front and I'm like, oh my God, this gigantic red blob was headed our way. And I'm like, all right, that's it for us.
Yeah.
Check, please. We're out of here.
All right.
So Rochelle and I took off, and it was roughly around halftime anyway. Which I'm glad we did because the area that we had parked in was actually on grass.
Oh, geez.
And if you get a lot of heavy rain,
You'd be effed.
You can get stuck.
Yeah, I was in that same spot. I got out well in advance of that, but it was driving back and just caught the end of it when it blew open. But it was, leaving the stadium, I noticed in the distance, I was seeing flashes of lightning. That does not look good.
We saw the spidery kind of lightning, shooting out all over the place while we were driving home. But
yeah, I stayed, and the reason that I stayed, and I was chatting with your wife, Preston, as she was going, because I didn't want to have to fight, 15,000 other people leaving the stadium at the same time and trying to get on 95 or the bridge or whatever. That delay lasted and lasted and lasted, and there were a bunch of people that were running out onto the field and trying to entertain the crowd. There were people like half streaking across the field. One dude took his shirt off, and security got him. And another guy, another guy ran out onto the field and had the entire field to himself and a soccer ball. And decided to take a shot, and he missed.
Oh, do you know what I thought was wild, Nick? Prior to the game, the match, they had the sprinklers running right up to the last second.
yeah, they were. I guess they needed to keep that field.
Yeah.
So they're keeping an eye on the actual grass so that it continues to grow. It's so hot and dry.
Nick, did they end up calling the game, or
No.
did they
No,
came
they started
back?
back up again. And then there was a point where Rob McElhenney came out and he was signing autographs and taking pictures during the delay. And so people were sort of gathered underneath where his suite was. And Rob was, man of the people and saying hi to everybody.
By the way, so when they did say they put that message up that said everybody needs to shelter, if you're in a seat outdoors, you need to get into the concourse
or you will die.
We went down and it was that I realized that is the densest crowd that I've been around in years. I haven't been inside a place that was that packed in a while because everybody had to go in there.
Yeah.
And so we're working our way through the crowd to try to get to the exit. And we're just kind of going with the flow of the people. Literally, people touching me, front, back, sides, everything. Nowhere to go. And I hear this guy coming up behind me. Excuse me. And he's trying to weasel his way through the crowd. And I'm like, dude, we're all moving together.
Yeah.
We're all heading in the same direction. We're all going to get there.
Where do you have to go?
And there's nowhere to go. And I just kind of, I didn't let him
Should have
pass.
elbowed him in the face.
Yeah.
Good. Stand your ground.
Yeah, I just kept, he wasn't he didn't call me out or anything like that, but I'm just like, dude, there's nowhere you can go. So anyhow, we ended up making it out.
It's also, there's not as much under coverage area in Subaru Park.
Right.
Like the link is, 360 degrees almost all around. You can be in there, but on Subaru, it's really just the sides.
Yeah. There are a lot of open areas. You're right.
Yeah, and the link had Luke Combs on Friday night, and so
my wife was there.
Oh, geez.
So she was, and her Kelly, who works here as well. So they were seeing the show, and they whenever they have a concert where they have all that stuff going on and all that electronic equipment up on stage, they I believe they postponed it. I don't know if they started up the concert again. I assume they did. But at the time they figured the weather was going to be really foreboding, they just left.
Well, Godsmack and Stained were playing at the FM Center. Stained got to play their set.
Yep.
And then they were delaying Godsmack, and then they just had to cancel it because they have curfews.
Yeah.
Over there for how long union workers can work and things like that.
I mean, it's a hard 11, right?
They had to call. What's that?
It's hard 11.
I'm not sure if
right?
it's 11, but there is a specific time where it's like no way they can't do it anymore. So people, I'm sure, were pissed off, but hopefully understanding. But Sully released an announcement saying that they're going to reschedule. They're going to come back. They're going to make good on it. I don't know what the exact story is.
They'll
on that,
pair
but
up with Luke Combs.
I have it coming up in music news a little bit later on. But
There's a funny video that came out from the link of two girls almost fighting in like the little VIP section, Casey, in like the 200 level, where
Okay.
those nice little suite area are. Or what is that? The suite level?
Yeah.
Whatever it is. Two girls just start going at it. And you could tell they'd just been drinking all day long. Somebody said something. Somebody jumped in. And lots of people. But like nobody really jumped in. It was just the two girls' friends. I was a
no,
little
you
mad.
can't use my Sibian.
Well, no, because I saw a footage of another one, and not to go down this path, but some a-hole guy was clocking chicks. Yeah, because I guess
clocking chicks.
Yeah, so his girlfriend was fighting, and I guess was being handled by a couple of different girls, and her boyfriend came in and she started throwing punches.
Okay,
and thank God people were there to film it and not step in and perhaps help.
That's the norm now. You don't do anything; you just record it.
Right.
That happens all the time. One of the funny things, Preston, from our experience over at Subaru Park was Rob said, and at first I thought he was joking when he said it. He said there were 75 McElhennys.
What?
Yeah.
In attendance.
Yes, they were having a big family gathering.
Yeah.
So
we saw Katie and Helena, his mom.
Yep.
That was really cool. I hadn't seen his mom in a long time. And I texted her over the weekend, and she just says the nicest things about you guys. She's just so sweet. And she photobombed us, which was hilarious.
So funny. Yeah. We have a few clips of us talking to Rob. If you want, we can play that. He talked about, we started off immediately talking about the heat because we were all sweating our asses off when we got started. So this is what Rob had to say about that.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Subaru Park, Preston and Steve Show, and Rob McElhenney.
Hi.
Good to see you, man.
That's so good to be here.
Welcome back home.
Thank you.
It's lovely, isn't it? The weather is just lovely. You came on the hottest day of the year so far, the most sickeningly humid day.
Yeah.
But
that's part for it's something that is so. People don't believe how humid Philadelphia can get. They think it's the Northeast. No, it's a hellscape when it gets up ahead of steam. So, but that doesn't matter because this is an event delayed. We are so excited that it's finally happening.
So happy to be here, and even when I sit through weather like this, I try to be as grateful as possible because I think about what it was like here in 1776 when they were sitting in that building and they were forming this country, and it felt exactly like this.
And all those ruffles and stuff and the wigs.
And they got through it.
I'm embarrassed that I took that thing. Right?
That's what I want. That's what I want people to take away from this. Feel shame for complaining about the heat.
Exactly.
Casey, I got to ask Rob about your experience with Ryan Reynolds 20 some odd years ago, and I said I shared the story with him, and he said, "Listen, I don't know if Ryan will remember that, but I wouldn't be surprised if he does."
Oh,
and
kidding.
It's just like you get the impression from Rob McElhenney that Ryan Reynolds is everything you would want him to be, just the nicest, sweetest guy.
Yeah. And he also said that, about Paul Rudd, because I had mentioned the fact that when they won the championship, when Wrexham did, there's video of Ryan and Rob hugging each other. And I go, yeah, Paul Rudd took that video.
Yeah.
Right? And he's like, yeah, and he was just going on about how Paul, while he knows him fairly well, but not super duper close, he's the guy you want him
Paul
to be.
Rudd.
Paul Rudd. He's just like, you just can't get any better than that. So talking about supporting both Wrexham and the Union, here's what Rob had to say about that.
Well, the first time this was going to happen, and we asked you, and it's called a friendly, but you made it clear that victory was still paramount in your mind. Is that holding true?
Yes. I am a Union supporter in every way, by the way, but a Philadelphia Union soccer team supporter. And I was there actually at the MLS Cup Championship this year, in my full Union gear. And the Union social team was happy to post that picture this morning, which I thought was a wonderful shot across the bow.
That's great.
Yes, it was a great move, very savvy. So I'm a Union supporter, and we're not in the same league. So you can be a Union supporter and a Wrexham supporter. But today, for 90 minutes, it's going to be war. And then as soon as the game's over, I'll be a Union fan again.
Yeah. Yep. And by the way, I left and I never did a follow-up. Who won the game?
It was a 1-1 draw.
No kidding.
Yeah, so they both scored in the first half. Union scored on a free kick, which was really exciting.
Yeah.
And it was a great shot.
I was in the bathroom, I remember.
Yeah. I know. Yeah, you heard the noise and the dupe, and then you come back and
I heard
what
the song.
happened?"
I'm like,
yeah.
I was taking a piss.
So I stuck around for the beginning of the second half, and then left midway through the second half, just to try to beat some of the traffic. But by the time I left, I don't know, maybe a quarter of the stadium was still sticking around. Most of the people had left at that point.
All right, and then Nick had asked about Caitlin, Rob's wife, obviously rubbing sunscreen on the team.
Yes.
Here we go.
You guys got to go to Vegas together, and I saw your lovely wife applying sunblock to some of the players. Was that really difficult for her? Did she have a hard time?
Yeah, I think that was rough. I think that was rough. It was funny too because we got so many comments, and it's weird because we do look at ourselves as kind of like peers of these young men, but we could be their parents very easily, mathematically very true. And so when Caitlin was looking around, she was, because we have two boys, one 13, one 11, that she's not looking at them as like sex symbols, even though they're all young, beautiful men. She's looking at them as a mom, like these guys are Welsh and English, and they're not wearing sunblock in Vegas. They're gonna burn. Yeah. I gotta get some sunscreen on them.
Yeah.
By the way, we asked Rob about Paul Mullen, who is probably the star, the biggest player, best player on Wrexham AFC, and he suffered a collapsed lung last week. He was in the hospital for a few days, so he was not able to fly. He wasn't able to be in Philly over the weekend for the match, and apparently Paul's going to be moving in with Caitlin and Rob this week.
Until he gets good enough, right?
Until they can fly back to Wales.
Literally going to stay at their house, live there for a while. That's a cool owner that does something like that. Rather than getting them a place to stay, they didn't want to be lonely.
You forget anything like that, that's your ribs, your lung, you air travel's out of the question.
Yeah. Couple more clips. Rob talking about being a different kind of owner of a professional sports team.
So you got in last night. You're in and out pretty quick this time around, right?
Well, unfortunately, yes. I was planning to stay here for a few days, but unfortunately, one of our star players, Paul Mullen, got injured in the game.
How is he?
He's okay. He's got broken ribs and
He's in the hospital
and a punctured lung.
Yeah.
Whoa! So he can't fly.
Yeah.
Now he's from Liverpool. He's been to the U.S. a few times, but he doesn't have family here, so he has to stay in Southern California. So I'm gonna immediately after the game tomorrow, I'm gonna fly back, and then he's gonna come stay with Caitlin and I for a few days or a few weeks, depending on how long it takes, and then we'll go back
to Liverpool.
Well, I'm gonna get you a map. I'm gonna get you a map. We'll talk about how we're gonna get back.
Rib injuries. My wife just had a situation. They're very pernicious. So yeah, whatever it takes to get him 100%, you need to get that done.
Yeah. So and that includes just not being able to fly for a while. So we just didn't want him to be alone. So we're gonna go back for that, and then head back to the UK.
That's awesome. The player is staying crashing at your place.
Yes.
That's badass. Nice. No, I mean, how many owners do that? Come stay over for a little while.
Not a lot, I'm sure.
Is this being captured for Welcome to Wrexham?
No. Although maybe there were some
Welcome to
video
Chester.
crews there on Friday night with Rob. I didn't see any cameras though.
Okay.
Just ours.
Yep. All right. And then one last thing, we're talking about getting the league and the sport some exposure in the United States.
So with all these friendlies that are happening around the country, Wrexham has played, I think, 4 games already, or is this the fourth game?
This is the fourth game.
Okay. And a bunch of the other teams were in, the European leagues, the English leagues. This is essentially kind of get the game in our areas and get people to feel what it's really all about. That's what this is mainly about.
Yeah, so these are called friendlies, and the whole point of it is to just spread the word. And there's so many Americans that we're finding that want to watch a Wrexham game but haven't had a chance to get over to Wales yet or to the UK. And so this gives them an opportunity to come to the games.
What are the guys' reactions to the U.S. so far, the fandom and all that?
They love it. They can't believe the reception that they've been getting. I mean, to go to a stadium to play Manchester United and to see that 50% of the people seem to be there in support of Wrexham, I think was a pretty profound experience for them.
Nice.
There was a strong Wrexham presence there, and people, who, whether they be from the show, obviously we got a lot of love, which is great to see people, and the Sons of Ben they just keep stuff going.
Yeah.
I mean, it's insane, the commitment. So, what a great time. But clearly Wrexham was well represented there.
So, real quick question, because you had said Europe and then England. Is England in Europe? Or did they
Yes.
secede?
Yes.
Okay, so they just don't go by the euro. I thought I wasn't sure if for some reason England was its own entity. I know it's in the
now it's not
continent of Europe. Okay,
right. They had Brexit and they left.
Okay.
The
I mean, it's an
European Union.
island, but when you go to on a European vacation, you can certainly go to England.
And then you have to
I've
travel
always-
with Chevy Chase.
I've always considered it a part of that continent, even though it's an island. You know what I mean?
A lot of people consider it part of Japan, but they're wrong.
Okay, but they're
very
wrong.
Yeah,
Those people are wrong.
Where did Wrexham play all their friendlies in the States?
Tokyo.
They did
What?
Carolina, San Diego, maybe one in LA. I think they did LA Galaxy 2, just like they did Union 2. So yeah, they were sort of all I think 4 matches and then heading back to Wales.
Yeah, Men in Blazers had posted a pretty cool just recap of all the soccer, football things that happened in the U.S. And 50,000 people in North Carolina for Wrexham versus Chelsea.
And Men in Blazers
Yeah.
are they're sort of the group. So you said like Barstool basically for soccer
Yeah, they're
exclusively.
like the go-to source for
Right.
everything soccer
Okay.
around the U.S. Yeah, and you guys they were in the suite with you guys,
Yep.
correct?
Mm-hmm.
Very cool. And like not rang the bell, but bang the drum,
the drum.
at the
Yep.
beginning of the game.
Beat the duck.
They beat the duck,
Oh,
which is a
we
new
should
thing
start
they're doing
that.
at the Union games
Yeah,
now.
they bring out an actual living duck.
Yeah, and you beat it to death.
Slam it with shovels.
As the crowd yells.
You eat it though, right? So it's not all.
No,
Yeah,
no,
it doesn't go
okay.
to waste.
You just kick it into the river. It's been rightfully called brutal.
Here's a text that says, Rob McElhenney was the absolute nicest when he came out and talked to all of us. We stayed to the final tick of the clock. Seemed like most Wrexham supporters were singing and chanting, except for the small child who was telling us to shut up, LOL. Nice. So somebody texts in, Casey says, England is not in the EU anymore, but is still in Europe.
Okay.
If that.
They were going to have it moved. They had the ships in place to pull it.
Yeah.
But then they couldn't find another spot on the map that appealed to them.
That it would fit, right?
Yeah.
Casey, you want to see a fun Venn diagram? Look at the Venn diagram of England versus Great Britain versus United Kingdom. It like all of these things interweave, and like Ireland is a part of Great Britain, but not a part of the United Kingdom. It's
Okay.
fun and confusing.
The only reason I was asking is you guys all know that Travis Scott dropped a new album on Friday, and there is a lyric in one of the songs that talks about London and Europe, and I was like, is London Europe or is it England? I'm like, this guy's an idiot.
There you go.
Well, while we're correcting facts from the day, I found out that Luke Combs went on at 11:20 p.m. on
All right.
Friday, and there was
That's way
another
too late.
rain delay, and it was 10:20 p.m. on Saturday. It's from our friend Nicole down the.
I don't
all
like
the way
that. Yeah. I mean, I would cut out. No matter how much of a fan I was, I wouldn't wait around until 11:20 to have the concert start.
Well, especially when you just have to sit, wait, and not knowing when it might restart.
Getting hit by lightning.
That's kind of tough, yeah. All right.
And like $12 beers.
Yeah.
Or $16 beers.
At least.
At least.
Right.
Oof.
All right. Well, anyhow, a couple of things took place over the weekend.
Yeah, a lot of fun.
We do need to take a break, and we're going to do that thing now. Don't forget, we have a Preston and Steve Show themed tattoo. Text word tattoo to 39333. We'll see if you win it from Floating World Tattoo and Piercing before the show is up. We'll get to the B file when we return. Stay with us.
We're owned by a great gal named Molly, and it's called Nomadic Pies.
Nomadic
Pies. Nomadic Pies.
We have the website up on our screen here, Juliana, and it looks pretty impressive.
Her crusts are the bomb, and all of her ingredients are local.
Okay.
I love
So
that.
all of her fruit, all of her meat, and if you ever get a chance, you got to try her pie. They're really, really good.
I'll say this, and it's been echoed a number of times, and you brought it up, and Preston, you agree. A great crust is a very elusive thing in the world of piedom.
If you stumble across a great one, you're lucky.
Man, this is a great name
Marry
for,
that crust.
for a pie shop. This is in Boyertown. It's called Semper Pie.
Oh,
I love that.
Yeah.
That's great. Is it like veteran owned, maybe?
I'm not sure, but it's
Semper Pie.
That's
yeah,
great.
it's on Reading Avenue in Boyertown.
I love it. Okay. So, yes, there are pie shops. In fact, for Pie Day, there are specials that you can get. And, Steve, there's none in our area that were really
Rat
mentioned on
bastards.
this. But Red Robin has
the Mountain High Mud Pie on National Pie Day. And
Red Robin's good.
Let me see.
They
What
have
kind of
great
deal
burgers.
is it? I don't know what kind of deal you get there, but
Yeah, and it just mention the Preston and Steve show. They'll give you 2 pies, and you bring one of them to us.
No, don't do that.
That's accurate.
Don't do that.
I mean,
Don't-
try it.
Don't do that.
I mean, you could
All right, I was just trying.
I like Steve's idea.
They also have Red Robin also offers unlimited refills on sides when purchasing burger, sandwich, or entree. Unlimited refills on the bottomless root beer float.
Bottomless root beer float.
And even bottomless entree. The Mac It Yours is swirly twirly pasta. What? Okay.
So if
that sounds like porn.
All right, so if you had
How much for a swirly?
A swirly twirly.
Swirlies are blowies, right?
No, the toilet. is
Well,
a swirly.
no, there's 2 different kinds of swirlies.
There
One
is?
is the one where your face gets shoved into a toilet and you flush the toilet, and then another swirly. Because my friend was a cab driver and the chick didn't have money and offered him a swirly for a ride.
I think she was just a crack whore.
She might have been a crack
A
whore.
swirly. So she offered to shove his face into a toilet?
We also did where you would lick your, spit on your finger and stick
That's
it
a
somewhere
wet willy.
in their ear. That's a
That's
wet
a wet
willy.
willy.
That's a wet willy.
Used best when it's your pinky finger. Also, you can use pinkies for stinky pinkies.
Jesus Christ.
Can you stop that?
Yeah.
What's
we
better?
Were talking about cake and
pie
burgers.
or finger
Use your
blasting?
head.
We're talking about hot fruit. Kathy
hot
doesn't
fruit,
even
come
like
on
that.
What's better, apple pie or finger blasting?
Yeah. What if you had a pie shop?
I mean, come on,
and-
really? Is that really a debate?
It's already up on the website.
Yes.
What if you had a what? Oh.
A pie shop and the mascot was a rabbit and you called it hair pie. Would that work? Would you go to a place like that?
H-A-R-E.
Yeah.
Actually, that's
And
kind
then
of
put
a
it
funny
in,
idea.
in parentheses underneath, like vagina.
Yeah, like pubes.
Get it?
Wow. Okay.
All
so-
I know is I really desperately want either a good cake or a good pie, and I thank all the businesses that have offered to drive them over to us.
Let me go to Pam here real quick. I didn't see what she had to say here at the end. Hi, Pam. You're on the air. Good morning.
What's up, bitches?
Yo, bitch. What's your story?
So I called in because there is a place, and it's not in the area, but if you have a chance to go in Savannah, Georgia, called Pie Society.
Pie Society.
British pie.
Huh.
So they're meat pies, meat and potatoes, but they're baked in a pie similar to, chicken pot pie.
Pie pies,
they also
yeah.
make fruit pies, but everything is a pie. The pastries are awesome.
Pam, this looks like it might be like a franchise, is it?
I only know of the one in Savannah,
All right.
but I do know that they have a website, and if you guys want to try one, you can go online and purchase one. Most of them you have to bake in the oven. They come to you already pre-made and frozen so that when you bake them when you want, and they give you directions. I highly recommend them. The other thing I want to say to you is that my nephew, for all the times that I had sleepovers with my nieces and nephews, he always wanted pumpkin pie. The kids were asked what you
I
wanted.
love pumpkin pie.
I made the pie or the cake or pie that they wanted, and he was the only one that wanted pie, and I was happy to make him pumpkin pie. I even made him one to take home.
What was
I think it's a personal preference.
What was the cake that the Tom Cruise cake?
Thank you, Pam.
Sorry, Tom Cruise pie or whatever that thing that we attempted to order prior to the
That was
holidays.
a cake.
Yeah.
It's a cake.
Yeah.
Is that so? I know Marissa
Okay,
hunted it
coconuts on
down.
it.
They hand cooked them, hand baked them, and but prior to the holidays, they were absolutely unattainable.
Yeah.
Marissa's got her fingy up.
Oh, hang on.
Her swirly finger.
Steve, we just got a message from Goldbelly that the white chocolate coconut bundt cake from Doan's is now available.
So I will gladly purchase so we can taste on the
Like
air.
$150.
I will do it, and I will
Steve's doing
hand that receipt to Bill Weston.
It's for the show.
All right. Anyhow, Sunday is National Pie Day. Should you be a pie person or not?
It does incite the passions, doesn't it? It's what we love.
All right, that's all we're going to have time for for Connoisseur this
I think
morning.
we solved a lot of issues.
Did we? Well, we do have a poll that's up, and is cheesecake a pie or a cake? And then do we have another one, pie versus cake? Okay, so you can vote. Now, I expect cake to win, but I believe that pie has more love.
Throw out pie versus finger blast.
It's what I believe. All right, Connoisseur outro music
Yeah, I'm
as
stuck
we.
here.
What?
The screen got stuck.
It's frozen.
Yeah.
Oh.
Thank you.
I mean, just go out on that. I think that's it.
All right, thank you very much, Kathy. Some really great things about this next guest and the story. We were in here yesterday. We were watching the video. Marissa goes, "You got to see this," or was it you that showed?
No,
it
it
to
was
me?
Marissa.
Marissa's coming.
Yep.
You got to see this. She goes, "She's from Philly," and she plays the clip. And we're going to have her on in just a second. A reporter in West Virginia at a TV station doing a live report gets hit by a car.
And not like a little tap. Like she got
Boom.
hit and knocked to the ground.
Gets right back up again and continues the report. And I told Casey I felt like totally big timing yesterday because we're sitting here watching this, and I go, that's great. Get her on. Get her on tomorrow. And of course, Marissa took care and made it happen. I'm going to play the clip here for you. This is clip number 1 of this happening.
And now we're starting to experience, unfortunately, in freeze thaw, we see this, water main breaks.
Got hit by a car, but I'm okay. I just got hit by a car, but I'm okay, Tim.
That's the first for you on TV, Tori.
Woo! We're all good. I'm okay. I actually got hit by a car in college, too, just like that.
Wow.
I am so glad I'm okay.
You sure you're okay, Tori?
We're good, Tim. Man,
sure you're
you
okay?
are so sweet, and you are okay. It is all good.
Oh, my God.
Is that the woman that hit her?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
And I was, when she said I got hit by a car in college one time, I was like, oh my God.
It's okay. I get hit by vehicles often.
And then one last part to play here. All right, here we go.
You know, it's my last week on the job, and I think this would happen.
So you were bumped
specifically
in,
to me, Tim.
were you bumped down low, Tori, or were you hit up high? I couldn't really tell from the looking.
Oh, do you know if I was bumped down low or up high, sir?
I just saw you disappear
I don't even
out of the
know.
screen.
I don't even know, Tim. My whole life just flashed before my eyes.
Oh, my God.
The pride of Plymouth White Marsh. Please welcome Tori Yorgi.
Yeah.
Thank
you.
Hi, Tori. Oh my God.
Oh, my God. Are you okay?
Yeah, I am okay. I am good. I'm just a little sore. Thank you for asking, but I'm totally okay.
So what happened was it wasn't a head-on. It was more of like a side swipe, but a fairly vigorous side swipe, correct?
Yeah. You know, I thought about it afterwards, and I was really grateful for the way that she had hit me.
Yeah.
Because she pushed me forward. And, you know, I don't know, that could have went a lot of wrong ways. So I was just kind of, she I guess she must have hit me with the headlight and, you know, tossed me essentially. But it was all good. There was a patch of snow there, and I think that might have helped break my fall. I'm not really sure because I kind of, you know, blanked out a little. But, you know, it's all good. Yeah, we just got back up and kept going with it.
Okay, so what day did this happen? Was this on Wednesday?
This was on Wednesday night, at 11.
Wednesday night. So then it hits the social media craze on Thursday.
Yes.
Today, you were on the Today Show this morning.
Oh, yeah.
And so I would imagine yesterday was an absolute whirlwind for you, right?
Oh, yeah, it was for sure. There was I've never had so many text messages, emails, calls. It was crazy. And everyone wishing me well. It was so nice. I feel like, I definitely need to go through all them and thank everybody because I really appreciate it. But, you know, fortunately, I was good. I was at an apartment complex. I was off the roadway just right at the entrance of where you would drive up the hill or down the hill. And, you know, this is West Virginia, so it was a pretty steep hill.
Right.
But she was coming out of the complex. So luckily, you know, she was going slow enough, you know, that it wasn't too bad.
Now,
It wasn't too bad.
I think what happened, what people instantly connected to is that you had just been sideswiped. You're saying to her, you're so sweet, and you were concerned about her, and people immediately heard you. You didn't jump up and go, "You crazy bitch! What did you do?" You took a more sober approach to the whole thing, and that's I think what people connected to. You were clearly concerned about her.
Bizarre file. So let's go ahead.
WMMR presents Preston and Steve's Bizarre File.
All right, it's brought to you this morning by Monster Mania Con. You can see the biggest names in horror this weekend at Monster Mania Con 55 at the Doubletree in Cherry Hill. Tickets are available online at monstermania.net. A bandit. Now, I have two stories that have something in common here. Let's see if you can catch it. Yes,
and we have to guess what it is.
A bandaged woman smirked during her mugshot despite having her ear chomped off in a wild brawl at a house party. Dixie Stiles, who is 18, and Macy Reagan, who is 23, were both arrested over a fight that broke out over stolen vape pens.
You're just
Deputies were called to the area over a brawl between several men at a party thrown by unsupervised minors. Both women were at the shindig.
So they're beating the crap out of each other over a vape pen?
Yeah. Sometime after midnight, Reagan attempted to leave and was confronted by Stiles, who accused her of stealing alcohol and vape pens. Reagan then allegedly pulled out a 9mm handgun, but Stiles managed to knock the firearm away.
Wow.
And a fight ensued. During the brawl, Reagan allegedly bit off the top of Stiles' ear.
Ooh.
Deputy said the torn piece was unable to be reattached. Actually, I saw both of the mugshots. They're both pretty cute. Actually.
Really?
I was very surprised.
I was expecting big battle axes.
Stiles appeared. Her ear was bitten off. Ear. All right. So Stiles appeared to smirk during a mugshot that featured a bandage wrapped around her head. Reagan sported a black eye in her booking image as well. Both women suffered multiple bruises and lacerations. Stiles was charged with battery, while Reagan faced a charge of felony battery causing bodily harm because she bit the girl's ear off.
They already have a TLC show, Preston.
Police said an investigation of the fight is ongoing and did not provide further details about the women.
You're right. We're looking at them.
Yeah,
they're like younger and
cute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The hell?
And one of them's an ear biter. All right, now, a woman has been arrested after she allegedly bit off part of her father's ear during a dispute inside a Utah home. Wow.
It's family.
And, well, besides these being young people here, Rebecca Nelson's 42 years old. She was booked on multiple charges related to suspicion of aggravated assault on Friday. According to a probable cause statement, Nelson entered the home and allegedly attacked her father, resulting in injuries. Her father suffered a laceration to his ear, claiming that Nelson bit him and tore off a chunk of the skin.
I bet you can't bite my ear off.
He also reported... Well, I didn't know it was a dare.
All right, I'll take that bet, old man.
He also reported that she strangled him with both hands.
Bet you can't strangle me with both hands.
Upon arrival, the father stated that his daughter...
Bet you can't kick me in the nuts.
...entered the residence and immediately made a threat to kill him. She then proceeded to forcefully bite his ear, resulting in the removal of a chunk of skin from the ear. Apparently, the police said that it was a large enough chunk that the victim was holding the chunk of skin in his hand.
Hold my chunk.
When they arrived. Wow.
That's horrific.
A Chinese farmer who had recently relocated from his rural home to an urban apartment building in Sichuan province shocked his new neighbors when he started raising 7 calves on his balcony.
He was raising cattle on his balcony.
Yes, in an apartment complex.
Amazing.
Hundreds of people were shocked to find that a new neighbor had started raising cattle on his small 5th-floor apartment balcony. The man had recently relocated from a village and had
growing corn in his bathroom.
Brought 7 bovine calves weighing between, it says, 10 and 20 kilograms. That's awfully small, right? Yeah. With him to raise his pets. Annoyed by the constant mooing and foul smell of the young bovines, many of the residents called the authorities, and the animals were forcefully removed on the first day in their new home.
I'd like to see what these things look like. Yeah. That seems pretty small.
Videos of the calves have been doing the rounds. The Chinese version of TikTok, and while most reactions have been humor, some users pointed out that many of the residents of this particular apartment complex spent their whole lives in rural settings, so growing vegetables and raising animals is all that they know. As for the farmer who brought his cows with him to the big city, local news outlets report that he has put property management and security guards, they've been on high alert as he has repeatedly attempted to sneak the cattle back into his 5th-floor apartment.
Yeah. I love that story. Cows in the city.
There's a species of cows or subbreed, I guess, Steve, called mini cattle. And they are popular as pets. They have...
You have to milk them with tweezers.
Well, you can milk them. You can, get meat from them as well.
Really?
They're really cute.
Yeah, they're more cost-effective for farmers because they use less land.
I have never seen these things.
Wow.
That is wild.
All right, pretty messed up story. At least 10 people have been killed, including 3 children, in a blast at a fireworks warehouse and a market in southern Thailand on Saturday. The explosion in Sungai Kolok on the Malaysian border seriously injured at least 115 people, is thought to have been caused by construction work. Residents described hearing a huge explosion around 9 o'clock. The force shook buildings, shattered windows, collapsed roofs, sending a massive plume of smoke into the air. The explosion has also destroyed a large part of the town And the market has been brought under control, and a preliminary investigation indicates a technical error in steel welding.
Oh, man.
During construction work on the building was responsible. Accidents involving fireworks in Southeast Asia, which are not commonly used in the region to commemorate big events, are not unusual. One in a factory in Indonesia 6 years ago killed 49 people. Another 5 days ago killed 1 woman and injured 10 more in northern Thailand. So it happens from time
How'd
to
you
time.
not be a nervous wreck working in one of those factories?
Yeah, no kidding. All right, with this one, it's funny, but it freaked people out a little bit. But some amusement park riders near New York City say that they were traumatized when a ride going backwards wouldn't stop.
Oh, my God.
The rush of excitement on the Music Express ride at Playland Park in Rye quickly turned to panic and fear on Sunday night when the ride would not stop. Screams of joy became calls for help as the ride, which is designed to go backward, wound up doing so for at least 3 to 4 minutes longer than it should have, according to the park's general manager, Jeff Davis. Video shows traumatized kids gasping for their mom when they finally got off. Davis said that the unwanted thrill was due to an electrical malfunction. He said the ride operators activated an emergency stop button, and when that didn't work, they called maintenance for help. Davis also said the ride was inspected earlier that morning and ran through the day without any problems until the incident happened around 8:30 p.m.
Okay, we're looking at it, and it's one of those ground rides. Yeah. But it is going at a decent rate of speed.
Yeah, and it just wouldn't stop. So you stay on that thing for long enough, it's going to freak you out. Davis said that he was not aware of any reported injuries. He said that the ride will remain closed until the park and the ride manufacturer come up with a fix for that. And there you go.
Make it go forward.
That is what I have in the bizarre file for you this morning. All right, we're going to take a break. We're going to get back in a moment. We'll have some giveaways via the lesson question. We'll get to the trash and music news on top of that, too. Back in a moment. Stay with us.
That talks back to you? Well, don't forget.
She didn't mean to do it, and I could tell as soon as she got out of the car, her face, her voice was super distraught, and I was like, you know what? I haven't hit anybody, but I've definitely been in a situation where I, was like, oh, I can't believe I just did that. So I didn't want to make it any worse on her, and and now I feel even worse because it's like everywhere. So she's just kind of, probably having to see it more and more. But she was really a nice person and genuinely didn't mean it. So I just figured, let me just reassure her, let her know I'm good. Everything's fine. We're good.
When Marissa told me you were from our area, I was almost expecting you to go, it's okay, I'm from Philly.
Yeah. No, yeah.
Oh, I was going to say, we got to hear about the college thing. All right. What's that story?
I know. It's funny. I don't know why that was like the first words to come out of my mouth. I really don't know. It was one of those things, just shock,
Yeah.
But basically in college, I went to Penn State University, and I was walking home from the library one night, true story, and I was walking past an alleyway, and the guy just rolled a stop. And he wasn't going, not maybe like 10 miles an hour, if that, just gave me a little push. Mm-hmm. And he got out all concerned. I was like, dude, it's good. Just keep going. We're good. And I just kept walking. And then, so I think in my head, I was trying to just reassure her, this has happened. It's fine.
I get hit all the time. Yeah.
It wasn't that bad at the time. I just was like, let me just let her know. That's the only thing I could think of as to why I said it.
It's just funny because it'd be akin to someone saying, oh, it's okay, I get hit by lightning all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, but so what happened with her? Why did she hit you?
I don't know. I was standing in, like I said, at the end of that apartment complex. I was up against the corner, and I was actually on the opposite side as to where the cars typically turn out like that. I think she just cut it real good. And I don't know, maybe the emergency crews, because there was a water main break and the whole road was not closed, but down to one lane, and they were doing slow the workers out there with their slow and stop signs.
Right.
So maybe she got a little, distracted with that, or, just it could have been a lot of different things. I definitely know I will not be doing a live shot in that area, in that spot ever again, though.
Well,
I've learned from this. It's all good. I don't need to get hit by another car.
Yeah, it's clearly, and this is a common thing. They send you do the live shot from a location where a water main break or whatever, and it happens constantly. But I mean, we've had stories here. We had the Fox 29 reporter Steve Keeley just got blasted by a snowplow, and that became a viral sensation. The truth of the matter is, you guys are out doing this stuff. Are we good there? Yeah, you guys are out and doing this stuff. And it's always a risk when you're standing roadside or by something that might distract a driver. So do they, when you're one of these kind of reporters that's going out to this sort of thing, do they give you a little instruction on how to maintain your safety while you're out there?
Yeah, they definitely do. And, we do have safety gear if needed, but I wasn't on the road.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I didn't think, I just had so many indicators that I'm in a safe spot. Even the water guys were like, yeah, just park up there. You won't be in our way. You'll be good. And I was like, okay, great. This is going to work out so good. And but the thing is there is a lot of journalists out there now taking this incident and they're, kind of advocating for journalism safety. And I totally understand. I think it's a conversation that should be had. However, in that moment, I did not feel in danger.
Right.
Had I felt in danger, I would have left, and my boss would have never second guessed it. She's first to tell me, just head out if you're not feeling safe.
Cool.
But, it's just one of those freak accidents. But yeah, they do teach us to be safe and stuff. I don't know. It was just a crazy incident. And I really don't know how she hit me. My car was parked like 15 feet away from me, look up a little bit. But I thought that was going to be safe because people typically just go around it.
Yeah.
So they'll kind of, go around you too. If
Sure.
you're close enough to it. Just didn't work out in my favor, man.
Yeah. Well, Tori, so you talk about people advocating for your safety, and that's one of the things that started happening last night. Is people were commenting, journalists all over the country and maybe even the world have been talking about, because there have been cost cutting measures that TV stations are implementing, where normally you'd be out there with a photog, and so now you're out there by yourself. So people are saying that if you had a photog with you, he or she could have warned you that somebody was on the way,
right.
Somebody was coming, and so there has been that sort of viral aspect of it all. Is your contemporaries are advocating for you and other people like you.
Absolutely. Yeah, and we could do the what ifs all day about it. The thing is, when you are in these size markets, they're smaller, not as many people, so smaller, mid-size. Even the larger markets, though, I've noticed lately, they're having one woman, one man bands. And the thing is I signed up for this. I knew what I was getting into. This wasn't my first rodeo on a live shot by myself. So the issue, I understand advocating for the safety. I am all for it. And again, think a conversation should be had. However, in this situation, I didn't feel in danger. I was just like, all right, I'm just going to do a quick live shot. And then, a car hit me. But I mean,
it's a water main break. Yeah.
It happens.
Yeah.
So Tori, listen, I know you're going to Pittsburgh next in your career, and oftentimes as you move up the chain in broadcasting, you'll hear from directors and producers to lose that Philly accent. Please never ever lose your Philly accent.
We can hear it.
It's so endearing.
You know what? I know it's because I'm comfortable with you guys, so that's why I'm talking the way I normally would talk. But yeah, on TV they do tell me you can't have an accent, so I do try and clean it up, but. In that incident, I was like, there is no way. I do try and put a filter on it and try, and I practice my speech. And, but yeah, it's always going to be there. It's just one of those things. And I appreciate that so much because, it is home for me.
Yeah.
So, just part of me.
By the way, if you're just tuning in, it's Tori Yorgi. She went viral yesterday, works as a reporter in West Virginia and was hit by a car during a live report. And her last week of work, by the way.
Oh, my gosh.
I mean, like, this happens on the last week. Somebody had texted in and says your aunt owns a restaurant in the area.
Yeah,
so why not go ahead
my
and give
aunt.
that a plug?
Oh yeah, I would love to. It's the best restaurant in the whole world. My Aunt Peggy. It's on Flint Hill Road and King of Prussia. It's called Gateway Cafe. Yeah, she was. They actually a few years back when I was interning at Fox 29, they went out there, Bob Kelly, and so yeah, Gateway Cafe, Flint Hill Road. Yeah, they have amazing food. I think they are relocating soon, but of course we'll keep up with that. But yeah, no, that's too funny.
Maybe they'll name a dish after you, like pedestrian or head on or something like that.
Yeah. My uncle was saying yesterday, last night, he's like, "We need you to sign a picture. We'll just frame it."
Just you being launched.
That's too much.
Well,
Too much. But yeah, I am a Plymouth White Marsh graduate. I'm very proud of my high school.
Nice.
And, Montgomery County was where
When did you graduate?
I'm proud of my roots.
When did you graduate from PW?
I graduated from PW. Yep, in 2013.
24 artists there. We're getting ready for that in September. I hate to say this, but September will be. I know it's the first day of October, but September will be here before you know it.
Yes,
we'll be going.
True.
Oh my God, the Barbecue is this weekend.
Stop making August go so fast.
I know, but you know what? We'll get you those tickets now for Barbecue, and you'll be happy that September comes along. You know, yeah. So you can go to WMMR.com, get all the information there, and join us because we will be there and guaranteed we'll be having a good time. All right, so let me see here. Let's ask a lesson question. See if you've been paying attention this morning. The program we're going to give away as a prize 4-pack of tickets for the Pennsylvania Renaissance Fair, August 19th through October 29th in Manheim, Pennsylvania. And the question I have for you is if you come to our belly flop contest Thursday night at Valley Forge Casino, you're invited to sign Casey's what? 215-263-WMMR. If you heard that, it wasn't that long ago, 8 o'clock-ish hour. If you come to the belly flop contest on Thursday night, you're invited to sign Casey's what? 215-263-WMMR. Call if you know the answer.
The trash business is a gold mine. 93.3 WMMR with Preston and Steve's Hollywood Trash.
Brought to you this morning by Sports and Social. Cheer on the Fightins, just steps away from the stadium at Sports and Social in Live Casino and Hotel Philly. Watch the game on a 52-foot big screen with Budweiser, cocktail specials, giveaways, memorabilia, and more. What's going on this morning, Steve?
Well, in the world of Barbie, they're mourning the death of Bill Cunningham, who was the voice of the original famous Ken doll in the 1960s. Cunningham often said he was born to play the role because he had no genitals or anus.
Wow.
Hey!
Kendall Jenner, this is an incredible story, Preston, broke a heel while dancing vigorously at a Chris Stapleton concert over the weekend. Jenner was immediately medevaced off the site and delivered to the emergency room at Balenciaga.
Wow. Oh, my God.
And finally, Britney Spears will not be seeing her two sons before they move to Hawaii. However, Britney says once the boys get settled in, she plans on driving out there to see them. That's a highlight.
All righty, we are searching for someone who has an answer to this question. If you come to our belly flop contest on Thursday night, you're invited to sign Casey's what? And our first caller in is Jason. So let's talk to him. Hey, Jason, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning to see you. All right, Jason, what can you sign at the belly flop contest on Casey?
We're going to sign his Band-Aid.
His Band-Aid. You're correct, buddy. Hang on. You just got yourself a family 4-pack of tickets with meal vouchers. No, that's incorrect. You have a 4-pack of tickets to the Pennsylvania Renaissance Fair, not the meal vouchers.
No,
August
you don't get those.
19th through October 29th in Manheim, PA, and you can get ready to live the excitement and adventure of jousting nights and royal delights. Buy advance tickets at parenfair.com.
Now, Preston and Steve's Music News on 93.3 WMMR.
All right, we'll start with this. The official Nickelback documentary, Hate to Love Nickelback, will get its world premiere in September at the Toronto International Film Festival.
That's a great name.
Yeah, the film explores how one of the most successful acts in music history is known as one of the most hated bands. Lead singer and guitarist Chad Kroeger says that the band pokes fun at the online memes, and he recalls a funny conversation he had with Brian Johnson of AC/DC. He said that at dinner one night, Johnson told him that he was in good company because he said when Back in Black came out, AC/DC was then considered to be the most hated band on the planet. I don't remember AC/DC
I don't remember
being
that.
hated.
I think he was telling that to make him feel good.
That album came out. We
were completely hated.
Fantastic.
No, you weren't.
The new documentary is a culmination of 6 years of filming, by the way. So that is coming out, the Toronto Film Festival. Van Halen's David Lee Roth has posted another interpretive dance clip. I haven't seen it yet.
I've heard about it. I have not seen it
I
either.
saw the other one last week, but in this one, he swings a sword to the beat of Queen's We Will Rock You. The black and white video is a reminder that the 68-year-old has still got some moves.
And is off his meds.
Recently, he posted one wearing overalls while dancing to Jamiroquai's 1999 hit Canned Heat. And he titled that one Vote for Pedro while he was dancing in that. But we were watching that one last week. Back to the story we mentioned a little while ago. Godsmack were ready to rock the Freedom Mortgage Pavilion in Camden on Friday night, but Mother Nature wasn't having it. The show was part of their tour with Stained, who managed to fit their set in before rain delay washed over the venue. Godsmack were set to go on at 9:15 p.m., but shortly before that time, fans were given a message from the Freedom Mortgage Pavilion that said, "Attention Godsmack and Stained fans, due to severe weather in the area, we are sheltering in place. For those on the lawn, please seek shelter inside the pavilion lobby and wait for further instructions. Stay tuned to our socials for further updates." MMR listeners were quick to get on the phone and call Jackie Bam Bam. Let him know he was hosting You Call It Friday night at the time. However, he nor anyone else were aware of any updates for over an hour or so. Till 10:48 p.m., Live Nation's update said, "Your safety is our first priority. Due to severe weather, tonight's show will not resume. We thank you for coming and for your continued patience tonight. Please get home safe. We'll provide additional information within the next 48 hours. This led to a mixed reaction from fans. Somebody had texted in earlier that there was like a pseudo little riot that broke out.
Really?
But I didn't see anything outside of that. Somebody said like things were being thrown around and so on, but
you got to be safe.
I can't verify that. The next day, Sully Erna promised to make good on the cancellation with a statement saying, "Dear fans of Camden, New Jersey, I just wanted to personally send you all a note saying how sorry we were for not being able to take the stage. Although the band and myself were on standby, ready to play, Mother Nature was, with so many lightning strikes close by, worked against. And as much as I personally wanted to make the announcement myself, Live Nation has policy they must go by when this sort of thing happens. So they made the announcement on our behalf."
I can see where that's, that makes more sense. You don't want the vitriol to be leveled against the band.
Yeah. He continued saying, "That being said, I also want to commend you all for being understanding and respectful to the crew and venue staff and not letting anyone get out of control after the announcement. You handled the disappointment with integrity and class, and for that I promise you all that we will figure out a makeup date as soon as possible and come back to perform an incredible show for you soon. You have my word. With love and respect, Sully Erna." Let's see. The Doors' Golden album has been reissued. The original version from 1968 was released exclusively in Japan and for years was difficult to obtain. It's a compilation of 12 songs from the first 3 studio albums, The Doors, Strange Days, and Waiting for the Sun. Many of the Rock and Roll Hall of Famers' hits are included, such as Light My Fire and Hello, I Love You. 5 songs from the compilation appear on the bonus 7-inch, including the top 40 hits, People Are Strange and Unknown Soldier.
Why was it only released in Japan?
Don't know. The Doors' Golden Album comes in a deluxe gatefold jacket with an insert including lyrics. Only 5,000 copies will be sold, and it is only available online. And then finally, a new feature-length documentary about the making of Elvis Presley's 1968 comeback hit will hit theaters worldwide over the weekend. Is now available for streaming as well.
His comeback? The special?
It's a documentary about the making of the special.
That's right, man.
It's called Reinventing Elvis, the 68 Comeback, and includes additional scenes that aren't in the final film, and that includes 2 new videos as well. The famous black leather jacket era of the King now touts a few songs by other artists, including Darius Rucker singing Jailhouse Rock.
Blowfish, man.
And
Blowfish, man.
And a version of Blue Suede Shoes by America's Got Talent finalist Drake McGillan.
Yeah, that guy's got no talent.
Malignant. I'm sorry, not McGillan. Malignant. So that's okay. They got the Just Got Talent person.
If you watch the, I know, I don't know why, the Elvis movie, the recent one, focuses a lot on this special and how important it was.
Where was it?
What's that?
Where was it? Where did they do it?
They did it in it was the studios at NBC, I believe.
Oh, okay.
The film was released just a couple of weeks before the 40th anniversary of Elvis's death, August 16th, 1977.
The movie highlights, by the way, the fact that Colonel Tom Parker could not, because he had very suspicious ties and his history, and also he was just terrified of flying in general. But he did not. He did everything he could to keep Elvis from performing out of the country. So. And that figures prominently into the movie, but the special, that was a huge turnaround in his career.
Yeah, it was.
The Drake McGillan guy, he has this. He's actually getting a pretty good career. It's turning into something. He has this one song. He kind of sounds like a crooner, but it's like
a Rick Astley.
But like slower and like 50s, 60s type of music.
All right.
And it's being played on like top 40 radio. I kind of like it.
Okay.
It's fun. It's like
Is it McGillan or Malignant?
I don't know.
Is it malignant?
I
Like
don't
a tumor?
I don't care that much, but it's like Pearl Jam's Last Kiss, that kind of song.
All right, man.
All right.
All right.
That's the interviews and news, everybody. Thank you,
man.
Thank you very much. Let's take a break. Come back in a second. Wrap up the program. Get your letter of the day for the word of the week, and let you continue on your Tuesday morning. We'll be back in a moment. Stay there.
For all of the way this could have played out, it played out in the absolute best viral way possible. It's got to be mind-blowing to see that as a journalist, you get information out, you try to get information to people, and yet it's the reporter being sideswiped by a car that becomes a global news event.
I know, it's crazy. I mean, and you're right. The last week, like today is literally my last day at the station. I'm thinking, oh, I'm going to be a big old crybaby going in there and saying bye to all my people that I love here. And now I'm like, okay, I guess I'm going to interview with a bunch of, it's just crazy how things have unfolded. But yeah, I don't know. I really enjoyed my time here, man. And I definitely, it's just, yeah, you're right. It's just crazy how the timing happened. Yeah. And of course my goal is to get to Philadelphia one day. So now as I'm sitting here talking to you all, it's just super unreal. And Pittsburgh's next, but hopefully that's not my last stop.
Tori, what's the station in Pittsburgh where you'll be working?
The station is WTAE. It's the Pittsburgh's Action News 4. It's ABC.
All right, cool. You will officially be the most famous new reporter they ever have.
I just hope people don't look at me. Well, I know they're going to look at me and be like, oh, yeah, she was hit by a car.
It's going to take a little while.
I hope they watch for the story, and not to see if I just get hit by another car. That's
I mean,
hope.
you never know. That station might have planted that lady in that car and made her. Let's hit her in.
That station too. They did call me like right away, the first thing the next morning, and checked on me, and they were.
That's
super
nice.
Sweet
That's
about
cool.
it.
Did they want to have you on for an interview or anything like that?
No. I think he was like, no. I told him I was a little overwhelmed with like the request that I got yesterday. So I think he was kind of, we'll get her when we get her, and it'll all be good. Yeah. So no, I haven't been on there yet. So, but it's kind of a weird situation.
Yes, absolutely.
All the way around. Tori, I know you're a big Eagles fan. Did you see that Lane Johnson actually tweeted at you yesterday?
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
I screamed. I think I was like crazier than the Today Show. And then, I talked to Brandon Graham this morning on WIP.
Yeah.
It's just been a crazy like 48 hours.
Wow.
I love my birds, and that part was like, whew, oh my gosh, that's when I lost it. Honestly, I was like, this is too much for me right now.
That's cool.
Wow. Well, listen, I can't say I'm happy you got hit by a car.
No.
I mean, that's just, there's no way to say, that. But I'm glad you're getting the attention you're getting. That's really cool.
Yeah, thank you. I know, I it's going, I don't know. I guess it's just one of those things. You just take a negative and make it into a positive. Everybody tells me my reaction was priceless, and I don't know, when you're in the moment like that, and the personality and just the person I am, I talk myself through situations, and I think that's what I was trying to do. And I figured, well, you know what, if I keep going on with the report, I won't cry, and I'll just forget about it. It'll be fine. And then, of course, when I was done, the report, it did not. That was the
It didn't
beginning of
mitigate it at all.
Yeah. But that's it. That's what a professional does.
Yeah.
You carry on, man. That's what you do. You're on your
Thank
way.
you.
So that's
Thank
awesome.
you so much. Thank you.
Well, thank you for coming on this morning,
Yeah.
Tori. We know
Oh,
you're
thanks for having
overwhelmed,
me.
but maybe we'll see you in person someday, okay?
You guys are so fun. Thank you so much for everything.
Good luck
Thank
with
you.
everything. Tori York, you guys. Headed to Pittsburgh, hit by a car on live TV in West Virginia.
I hope
Oh
we
my
see
God.
her here. I hope she
I
makes
do
it back
too.
to Philly.
You know?
You know?
Oh my God, she's adorable.
Yeah.
She is. She's great.
She seems as sweet as you could possibly be. Man.
What kind
What it
of
would be.
flavor is it, cognac?
I've never really had it.
Is it a liqueur or is it a?
It's kind of sweet.
It's like Yoo-hoo.
It's a lot like Yoo-hoo, yeah. That's the grossest drink on the planet. Why would anybody ever drink
Shut
Yoo-hoo?
up with that crap. I'm tired of hearing that. Every time Yoo-hoo is mentioned, you guys crap all over.
I
It's
don't.
terrible.
I don't.
It's
Oh,
a chocolate
God.
drink. It's
Poor.
not chocolate milk.
It's not
And
chocolate
that's the
milk.
problem.
Why bother?
It's positioned as chocolate milk. It's a chocolate drink. And I'll tell you what, and here we go again. And I'm going to relive a bad dream. But no, not a dream. It happened to me. It was real. I was
A
there.
nightmare.
Field trip to the Bronx Zoo. My mother was actually one of our
Chaperones.
chaperones. So she puts my Yoo-hoo into the freezer so it'll be nice and cold when we're walking around.
Oh.
What happens? We arrive at the zoo, walking around. It's overcast, little light drizzle. Then comes time for lunch. I sit down. I have my peanut butter and jelly sandwich, and I figured now's the time to take a swig out of that Yoo-hoo. Frozen solid. One kid found out. They all found out. And then the monkeys started laughing and pointing.
They're all going to laugh at you.
They're all gonna laugh at you. No, Mother! My Yoo-hoo is frozen, Mother! They can see your dirty pillows. I actually brought dirty pillows that day. Why would you bring dirty pillows to the zoo? For the animals!
Pennsylvania Department of Agriculture added the calorie pear, or Pyrus calorania, commonly called the Bradford pear tree, to a list of noxious weeds, plants that cannot be legally sold or cultivated in the state.
Wow. So it adds the list that is populated by the durian and other?
Well, no, it's considered invasive. So, so this is these are the semen trees.
What?
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah. So the popular non-native flowering fruit tree naturalizes, spreading from planted landscapes, crowding out other plants, and disrupting native ecosystems.
So the semen tree is considered an invasive species?
Check that, Nick. Double check and make sure the Bradford pear is the one we're talking about.
If you don't know, this is a plant, a tree, I guess,
It's a
that
tree, yeah.
every year emits a smell that many have said, and I agree, smells like semen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's them.
That's okay. So this is it. So it apparently it crowds out other plants, disrupts native ecosystems. The ban on sale and cultivation will take effect on February 9th, with enforcement phased in over 2 years.
I'm surprised because landscapers will sell a lot of these. They'll use them in office parks and people's backyards and whatever. So this is a moneymaker for a lot of those places. I'm really surprised they came down with a ban.
Well, it's a beautiful tree.
Yeah.
And when it does create that scent, it's got these beautiful white blooms. It's just gorgeous.
it looks
I have
gorgeous.
3 of them in my backyard.
I have a weeping vagina in my backyard.
Oh, my goodness.
And it's, well, you know what it smells like, but it's just, it's beautiful.
Okay. Now you got me thinking of Pussy Willows. I wouldn't necessarily categorize this scent as noxious, though. I mean,
it is different.
If you are around a bunch of them, like I have been in proximity to several of them, and it's like overpowering. Now, not noxious to the scent of I can't breathe.
Yeah.
Right.
But definitely like, wow, this is overpowering. So, but it's apparently I guess it's taking up too much space. It's invading the area, and it's not native in the area. So, according to the agricultural secretary, the calorie pear is another non-native plant that was brought to the country for its beauty and rapid growth without regard to its long-term potential harm to our environment and food supply.
I didn't realize it was that sort of situation. Nick, as you rightfully point out, it ends up being used in garden plants.
Oh yeah,
you know,
they're sold a lot.
And
another one that I've heard people complain about because of the smell is the ginkgo tree, and they're really pretty as well. Especially in the fall, they turn like a bright yellow. But people sometimes refer to them as the stinko tree, and I believe like it's only the male of the species that stinks or whatever. But yeah.
We have a butthole bush by our front door, and the flowers are wonderful, but it does.
What does it smell like?
It smells like a butthole.
Is it year round or only in the spring?
No, it's like for 1 week.
Oh,
you know,
you can deal with that.
Is your butthole open?
Don't come over. It's butthole week.
Is your butthole sprouting?
Yes.
Oh my God.
The butthole's open.
What's your
and the scent
You've got to come by.
You've got to come. It only happens 1 week out of the year when the butthole's
We'll sit
open.
between that and the semen plant.
All right, here you go. Here's some big news.
All right.
Kim Kardashian is making it clear, and I have a few Kim and Kanye stories here. Clear to Kanye, wants to set healthy boundaries.
Healthy boundaries.
So, in an interview with Hollywood Unlocked that will be released today, West claims that Kardashian's security team wouldn't let him into her house with their daughter North after he picked the kids up from school one day. Now, a source told People that while it's true that West was not allowed inside the house that day, Kim's security team didn't stop him from seeing the kids, picking them up, or dropping them off. The source continued saying he can no longer just walk inside her home without her permission, and Kim has a right to privacy and is trying to set healthy boundaries. So
she's a lawyer, you know.
Those who have gone through divorces, I assume, deal with this particular issue, which is somebody just walking right in.
That has to change.
You've been doing it for years and years and years. However, if you've been married for a long time, and then all of a sudden it stops there, and you have to ring the doorbell, you have to knock, or something like that.
It might be uncomfortable, but that's part of the deal.
The nature of 93.3 WMMR. And it's called More, and it is from The Warning. Love that song. Love those gals. They were so much fun when they were here. And they were the real deal, man. They brought it.
Oh, absolutely.
And so another band that we're happy to champion here on WMMR.
We are the champions.
Everything that rocks, of course. It's about 10:30 on this Tuesday morning. We are wrapping up today's radio program. Would like to thank you for all your contributions in calling and texting in this morning. And for that, we're going to award one of you a Preston and Steve Show themed tattoo for Tattoo Tuesday. So, let's do it. Congratulations go out to Kelly Paul of Ben Salem, Pennsylvania. And Kelly got a $350 gift certificate for Floating World Tattoo and Piercing. And Tattooing on the Preston Steve Show is, of course, presented by Floating World Tattoo and Piercing. 1729 South Street in Philadelphia. For artwork samples, you can visit floatingworldtattoos.com or check them out on Instagram at Floating World Tattoos. I think we need to do the letter of the day, and I believe, Casey, that's going to be your job today.
Wait.
Are you ready?
Wait.
Yeah,
Oh.
Hey! The birthday boy.
Birthday boy is here, and we welcome him with open arms. Happy birthday, Pierre Robert.
Thank you. I wanted to say how much I can relate with that warning song because I played the new music ID into More that said More, and then I played the song Money because when I looked at the two new music IDs, it's M-O-R-E or M-O-N-E-Y. And so I played More. I played the ID for More, but actually played the song Money. And, of course, the texting screen erupts whenever you make a mistake, which in my case is every few minutes.
Did you feel the need to try and jump in, or did you just let money
I
play
just
out?
let it went.
Yeah, why not?
I let it went, and that's how you got to do.
If you don't acknowledge the mistake, is it really a mistake?
Exactly.
Right.
Because I what I actually was going to say is I planned it that way.
Yes.
To test our listeners to see if they were paying attention.
That's right.
That is a good way to test our listeners.
I run a tight ship.
Yes, you do.
Oh,
sir.
yes, I do.
Always running diagnostics on the audience.
Yes, I diagnose. All right, let's go.
All right, we
come
doing
on,
that?
man.
Sure.
It's
All right,
his
here we go.
birthday.
Preston and Steve on 93.3 WMMR.
Now, the Daily Letter.
All right, and the Preston and Steve show is brought to you today.
I don't know.
By the letter.
Oh, L, as
L.
in letter.
All right, and we have a 4-pack of 3-day tickets to see Jelly Roll and many other artists at Tidal Wave Music Festival. It's August 11th through the 13th, and that'll be on the beach in Atlantic City. Jelly Roll is performing live on Sunday, the 13th. Tickets are on sale now. TidalWaveFest.com. For complete details, you can text Jelly to 39333 for a link to Sarah's recent interview that she did with Jelly Roll and another chance to win a pair of 3-day tickets. So we'll give that away on Friday. It's only 4 letters to make the word this week. What's up on the program today, man?
Another pair of Bruce tickets for the second show coming now just a few weeks away, which is cool. Also, tickets, not tickets, but blocks of 3 birthday boys. Def Leppard for Joe Elliott's birthday. Counting Crows, love that band, for Adam Duritz's birthday. And Jerry Garcia has a birthday.
Yes, he does.
And so, in honor of you, Preston, we'll go with a nice long block of the Dead.
Oh, excellent.
You can break your hippie skirt out and just twirl around the studio.
I was not aware that you and Jerry shared the same birthday.
It is a cosmic coincidence.
That's interesting. Is that part of what made you a huge fan as well?
No.
Okay.
I didn't even know it for many years.
Yeah.
A friend of mine, Rob O'Reilly, took me to my first Dead show at Winterland Arena. And I said, why do they take so long between each song? He goes, dude, that's just the way it is.
Yeah.
I'd never smelled that much pot smoke in my life. But then San Francisco, man. And then the cosmic coincidences continued. And then later I learned he had my same birthday. But then I was on the Golden Gate Bridge once when I was visiting San Francisco about 15. When did he die? 92.
95.
95. So it was before then, and I'm driving across the bridge, and I look in my rearview mirror. There's this big, fat BMW 750, which was the biggest one you could get at the time. And I said, "What? That's an interesting-looking guy driving that with kind of longish hair and a beard." And I keep going on my merry way, listening to Roxy music, and I look back and go, "What is it about that guy?" And I keep going, "All right." I go, "Holy yes, it's the Majesty." And I pulled into the right lane so I could just watch him pass me. I didn't stare.
I swear to God, the only thing that would make that more San Francisco is if he was eating rice-a-roni as he was driving across the Golden Gate Bridge.
He probably did because he's not known to be a good eater. He smoked Camels and he ate junk food religiously.
Well, that's a perfect moment.
Yeah. But it was a very zen moment. So there you go.
Nice. All right. Well, enjoy your birthday, sir.
Thanks.
Absolutely. And
Diagnose.
I would like to thank our sponsors. Preston and Steve Show is brought to you today by Dunkin'. Preston and Steve Show runs on Dunkin'. Also brought to you by Monster Man. It says Monster Man.
Monster Man.
Monster Mania Con 55. And tickets for this weekend available at monstermania.net. I'm Monster Man. Tomorrow on the program, Fox Good Day, Secret Text Word, and a gentleman by the name of Rory, who also goes by the name Cheddar Whiz. He is the Mullet Championship contestant.
Yes.
Ah, nice.
I believe he's 8 years old.
8 years old.
Yeah, wait till you meet this kid. He's going to be fantastic. And his mom, former President Steve Calendar girl.
Oh, wow. Beautiful
They're
thing.
coming
All
in?
right.
Yes.
Nice.
All right, that's it. We're done. Rage on. Have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow, friend. Bye-bye.
Preston and Steve on 93.3 WMMR.
Hey, everybody. It's good to have you.